Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Dehls. And this is now episode 304. In this episode, we are going to rank the best Jonathan Taylor destinations, start our NFL power rankings, Anthony Edwards Team USA performances, and James Harden calling out Daryl Morey. The crew is back. Dale is back from vacation. Drew is back from vacation. First episode back.
We're locked in now. Football season around the corner.
You know what I was thinking, bro? I'm like 230 episodes in. I'm old, man.
You are.
You think you've done 230?
Yeah. 304? I think I've done 230.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, I set the bar at 230 for sure.
There's like a whole football season that you weren't a part of, though.
Might have done 200 there. I'm going to say 215.
Okay. I think over 200, though.
200, over 200 easily.
Definitely.
I'll say like
It should be over 200.
I was going to say 300 at first, but then I thought like,
How many episodes do you think I'll be in for? 150?
well, 175, 180.
Really? I don't know about that.
If you said 300, that means you would have missed 4 total episodes.
Yeah, that's why I'd stop myself immediately like, cap. Nah, maybe like 150 probably. Maybe
Okay.
you might have just cracked 150.
Maybe.
Drew came here when it was episode like 99.
You might have done it. You might have done some things.
When
though.
did you
Okay.
start wearing the white headphones?
Last episode.
2 episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
This is your new. This is the move now.
What
I
happened
hate
was
those headphones.
John was complaining. He was like, they're too big for it. Something was like,
They don't.
something.
They feel.
He's got a
weird for
little
me.
ass noggin.
Yeah, so I was just like, we'll switch. You know, they fit my head perfectly.
Okay.
And now
You
I'm
like
just
them?
here. I do. They
I'm
actually
glad
fit
he likes
perfectly.
them because those headphones are nice.
I hate them.
Those actually hurt me because they
No,
don't fit fully on my ear. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like
these
bothers
just like it's not like they're even here. Those like just kind of dig into like my scalp.
me. Oh no, I'm here. They're like, we're good.
Bro, that's why they have the padding.
It doesn't work.
You have
I
little
wear
ears.
Huh?
the
Little
black
ears.
version of these.
The padding helps a
What?
lot. Just
The black
for
version?
cushioning for your
I have
ears.
the black version?
You like the black versions?
I do.
These are just light. Those are heavy.
Yeah, they are a little bit heavy. Not too heavy though. Now listen.
Hey yo,
What the fuck is he complaining about?
cool.
This guy about heavy headphones?
The
Comes
headphones are heavy.
Comes back from vacation.
like, what
bitching.
the-
What's up with this guy? Like,
They're heavy, bro.
What the
It
hell?
comes back bitching.
You know something I noticed about Riv's headphones though? The Sony ones that
Yeah.
he wears, it's right there. The cushioning around
It's
it
beat
A
the
cook,
fuck
are
up.
yeah.
beat.
Well, he's 200 fucking episodes in.
But like, how,
Nah, I would
how
have
does that
been
happen?
asked
though?
for new headphones.
Yeah,
I would have been
it's-
asked for
you
new
don't
headphones.
even realize it.
I
though.
don't. It's fucking head. I don't
Yeah.
care. I would much rather not wear them and just talk. But you know,
We got to get the in-ear ones at some point. You know, step up in the world.
You think so?
In here.
or just
Yeah.
not wear them. You ever thought about that?
Wait, that's the next step in our evolution? Really?
You could get ones that just go in your ear. Yeah.
Seriously?
Like you
I
know how
think
like
that-
singers and shit.
Oh, yeah,
Same
low-key earpieces. Yeah,
The
yeah.
next step I do think is maybe just not using headphones.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, because this is only to monitor audio.
Facts.
But if we don't need to monitor audio, then we don't need to.
I mean,
have them.
realistically, we shouldn't have to worry about that.
No, we shouldn't.
But
But
we won't.
Okay.
like we can go the entire podcast without the headphones. But for me, I think without the headphones, it feels weird.
It does. Because whenever I take them off just for a second to fix something, I'm like, yo, this
For sure, I think
sounds-
it's over.
It's so
EP
much
is over.
louder with
Yeah.
the headphones on.
Yeah, because
I take the headphones off just to like scratch my ear, and I feel like you guys are talking mad low.
Okay.
Now it's crazy.
Well, you know, we'll have a new setup eventually, right?
One day.
One day.
I don't know, man.
Hopefully.
Get it out.
Well, one day we're gonna have a regular desk here. We're all gonna be facing the camera. It's not gonna be any of these sideways shots. One day.
The sideways shots, they birthed us.
They did,
Good point.
but you got to move on at some point. You know,
Yeah, gotta
Evolution.
You know, mature.
I'm
Grow
with
up.
you.
You know, we're all 30. All
30.
the time.
What do you mean by that?
We're not 30.
Don't
Pushing
fucking
it?
lie to these guys,
This
bro.
shit, it felt
I'm
like
the
They
oldest one here.
They already think that we're old as shit, and we're only 24, 25.
I'm 25.
23.
Yeah, he's 25.
What did I say? 24? I
you said
apologize.
24. Yeah, you fucked
Hey, your
up.
birthday just happened,
Yeah.
relatively.
Nah, that was a
Relatively.
couple months ago. That was a
It
good.
was.
That was a
That's
good
why I
minute
said
ago.
relatively.
Yeah.
It was a while ago, for being honest.
We're halfway to 30, man.
You're halfway.
More halfway.
You're closer to 30 than I
Halfway
am.
would be 15.
Dude, once I turn 30, you're like 7 months next. bro.
Like, well, that's, you're closer to 30 than I am.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. You know, it's cool.
Old ass.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be 30 before I'm 30.
No, he's a grandpa.
Yeah, I'm cooked.
Damn.
Why are you looking
makes-
him up and down
bro.
like that?
Started looking his
I'm
looks.
saying with all these episodes in, we'll be 30 by like 27, 28.
Wait, what
What?
do you mean by
What are you,
that?
yeah, I don't know what you're
Once I
saying.
like, you gotta think, because once like doing all
Like,
these
when you start
episodes.
rounding-
No, I understand
It's
the
just gonna-
stuttering,
it's
bro,
just
because
gonna-
what you're saying right now is
No,
the
because it's
dumb
like
shit.
when you have a kid, right? Your age goes up immediately. Like I have a 4-year-old, so I'm probably already 30 anyways.
Mm.
Life just goes up way faster.
Okay.
Just gotta
all right. You
mature.
know what, bro? You made
Once we get to episode 500, it's gonna feel like
made something out of
we
nothing
owe
here.
this shit. That's how I
We do
feel.
about 100 episodes a year, so
I was gonna
only
say
a couple
we're
years
gonna be
away.
26, 27 at 500.
It's 30. We'll be at 30,
We're
man.
gonna be 27.
I feel like I done did everything I could do, you know?
Not yet, bro. We got a whole lifetime of this shit, bro.
Yeah.
What you mean?
500
We gotta
is
buy a
lot.
house. We gotta do a bunch of shit, bro.
500 is so, that's a lot of episodes, man.
Got to propose, get
200
married.
No, by 500, I want to be out of the basement.
For sure.
2 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's definitely
I
possible.
want a studio in Hackensack.
Really? Like
Yeah.
for yourself?
No.
No, for us.
For
bro.
the side.
Oh, you said studio. I thought,
Yeah.
you know.
Show up.
Oh, no, not like an apartment
This
studio.
is a
That's what I
stew,
thought.
bro.
No, I meant like a
Ah,
office
hey,
building,
I see
You know
what
what I'm
I see
saying?
what
Yeah.
happened.
have an entire floor.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, people work, like, we walk in and we see workers for Pick Us Out. Like, hey, what up? Yeah, got an episode today. Yeah, I'm going to do it later.
Kind of how like when we walk into the Mojo offices.
Yeah. That would be fire. Probably have
Their
like,
office is
There's
tough.
there's a section where our studio would be.
the
Yeah.
office is
Just
kind
the
of hard.
studio.
Yeah, like we've had that opportunity to do shows in New York. It's just like there is absolutely no way I'm crossing
No,
a
we're not going
bridge.
The
to-
commute is annoying.
Yeah,
It's
hell
annoying.
fucking no.
I'd rather just stay 15 minutes away or like 5 minutes away from where I live and go drive there.
Anywhere in
That's
this
it.
area would be
Yeah.
fine.
Doesn't A Boogie have a studio here?
Probably.
I think he
I
does.
thought he has one in his house.
No, Sebastian was telling me that they were building a studio in Hackensack for A Boogie or close to this area. So
There's actually a really great studio down South State Street.
for real?
Yeah, it's down South State Street. It's not on South State Street. It's one of the side streets. But that studio, there's like a Grammy award-winning producer that owns the studio. Yeah,
Do you know who it is?
he's the father of one of my brother's friends. That's how I know of him. And I've been to the studio before.
It's nice.
It's really nice. Yeah, it is.
Bro, I should hit the stew.
Hmm?
I should go to the
do
stew.
what?
Rap?
Who knows, man?
Yeah, like what you mean? Like rap?
I don't know,
Produce?
bro. Should I
Sing?
drive a track?
What are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
talk
would
about?
lock in.
Yeah.
What would you talk about? I'm like curious. What
Should
would
the
you
four?
actually talk about?
I don't know, bro.
The-
Just
the
growing up in
medical
the city,
business?
Medical business.
Imagine
Like, what are
No,
you gonna rap about?
Don't even
Nutrition.
fucking joke about this. Fucking make a medical album.
Like, I just saved some lady life. You know, I was out there with the sticks. What are you gonna talk about? I don't know what you're
Drew,
talking about.
didn't I mean you are from the Bronx?
Yeah,
He
I
has to-
appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
he's
for
gonna
acknowledging
ride
that.
with them for the rest of his life.
He has enough of a story.
5 years. Bro. I was
No,
born and
enough
raised
of
up
a
there,
story.
man.
Born and raised.
You
is
wouldn't get it.
crazy.
You wouldn't get it.
No comment.
Then I come to H-Town, man. Shit got real out here.
What'd you do? What was your block name?
Drew.
'Kay.
That's all I needed, bro. They respect
You didn't have
me
like a
around
code
here.
name? Like
It
Drew.
was 3 when he moved.
I was
you
5.
said 5.
My bad.
I
5.
was 5.
5. So he added 2 years to
There was actually some kid at
If
my.
we're 30, I could tell he was fucking
Yeah.
30.
Yo, but let me ask you a question. How many years you do in the Bronx?
0.
Okay.
There's some kid at my the school I work at. He came in with a shiesty mask and he said his block name was KO. I swear to God.
How old is
Yeah.
he?
7.
7?
That's why I asked him. That's why I asked him, like, what's your block name?
Yo,
'Cause I met
what?
him in Patterson, yeah.
Yo,
KO.
what?
I think KO means like he knocks kids out.
Of course.
I
Of
think.
course.
I didn't ask him because I was just like, I'm done with this conversation.
It's better if you don't know.
Yeah.
What's better, Drew or Drew Skeegan? What you fuck with more?
Sounds like a word I can't use, but
Why?
because it's not allowed. But I would say,
what?
but I would say
I have no clue what word you're talking about. I don't want to know the word you're talking about. I got no clue what you're talking about.
I would just say Drew.
Drew, you don't
Drew.
fuck with Drew Skeegan?
Nah. Sounds real,
there's only a few words you can't say. That's what I'm trying to
That's
think.
why I
but
really, bro. I can't.
It's only
even-
one word I like to say, you know.
No, bro. No,
Yeah.
no, bro.
Couldn't say it, but yeah, Drew. Just stick to Drew.
Okay. All right, bro. Appreciate it.
Now listen, we
Jeez.
have a fantasy league that we're about to make.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be on ESPN because we have voted between all of us
Yeah,
that
Joel's
we
over here
have
punching air.
enough leagues in Sleeper. So let's just do one.
Listen,
on,
if
on
Sleeper
fan-
wants to
on
hit us
ESPN.
up and says, "Yo, only use Sleeper. Here's a few dollars. Maybe we can
They don't
talk."
have to pay me. It's already happening.
No, bro. No. I love ESPN. I'm loyal to ESPN. However, if Sleeper wanted to do some business, then
You're
I'm
open.
happy to talk. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we can't because we're with Mojo Fantasy. We're with Mojo.
Whoa,
100%.
whoa. Is Sleeper the.
Sleeper has, they
Sleeper
got
is fantasy basically.
See, but I'm not talking about all that. See,
Yeah, I know.
that's,
I know you're
that's where
talking about
shit
the
can-
league.
Should
You're
just
talking
get
about
extracurricular.
Season-long
No,
fantasy,
Mojo
yeah,
at the
not
top of the
DFS.
list. No one's ever surpassing Mojo, but just solely on a
season long.
yeah, exactly.
Fantasy,
That's all that
redraft,
that's all that I
dynasty.
care about.
Now what we're gonna do is that we have a Mojo wait list. The link is in our bio. If you guys want a chance to be in our fantasy league, then you have to join the wait list and send us a screenshot on Twitter or Instagram that you have done it, and then you will be added to the list of names that we are going to pick from a pool of people. And to make the opportunity grander, we're all going to basically team up. It's going to be 2v2, so instead of 4 teams, there'll be 2. It's 14-team PPR, so 12 spots will be open.
Are we back, bro?
Yeah, for
The
sure.
tag team champs?
Just gonna be honest,
serious?
1.5.
We're not switching up teams?
Oh,
Oh,
I guess
you
we
want
could
me on
switch
your
up
team?
teams.
I don't.
I
you or Dez, it don't matter.
backpacked us last year.
I'll tell you what, if we're on ESPN, I don't know how much I can say I'm gonna be checking that team.
Nah,
It's gonna be the
bro.
So
only
it's
league that's
basically
not a
Drew
sleeper.
versus me.
That's essentially what it was.
1000%.
Nah, Joel had his moments. I go to Joel every single week. I like, bro, you look at the lineup? He goes, yeah, bro.
Lied my ass off.
Joel doesn't text me a single thing about it.
I'm here for the draft.
No. I'm not
Draft him
placing
here.
blame on him.
No,
Draft
that's
him.
with good rights. With good rights. Don't text me a thing
Rib's
about
like,
that.
I just need to pick one so I can get jetted.
Yeah.
Now I'm not doing the league. I'm like, oh god.
Listen,
We can
that's
pick
the
one
thing.
flip.
I feel like what would be a great thing is that if once we get the pool of people that want to be in a league, maybe we can set up a little group chat,
Yes,
be in
sir.
a live chat while we're
That sounds lit.
drafting with
Do
you
it.
guys.
You know what?
So just
now-
join the wait list and you'll be entered.
It just hit me, bro. Why he said he wanted to switch teams. He wants nothing to do with being on your team.
Well, me and Riv can't be on the same team
No, that's not why. It's just
won't
I'd
happen.
like
So-
I'd like some
Why
I'd like
can't
some
you two be on the
suggestions
same
and
team?
help.
because I'm gonna draft and not do anything else.
Oh my god, this guy's supposed to be
being
Mr.
honest,
Fantasy.
being honest.
He's worse than me. I'll tell you
if,
from the
hey,
run.
if we're on sleeper, I'm locked in all season. ESPN,
bro.
this is gonna be my only ESPN league. I'm not even gonna have the app on my home screen.
You have the app though.
It's deleted right now. I'll be honest with you.
He's lying.
Wow, Corey Davis just retired.
No way.
Yeah, holy shit.
What the? Well, we got McCole Hardman and Alan Lazard.
McCall Harmon
Damn,
stinks. Trust me.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird offseason for Corey Davis because he's been missing because of like illnesses and Corey Davis. And there's been multiple times this year that he's left for personal reasons, but they've never really gotten into detail. Of course, you assume like, maybe something going on with his family or, whatever else, but stepping away from football, retiring, damn.
Hopefully
Hate to
he's
see it.
all right, man. Because
Yeah.
it came out of nowhere.
Damn, that just gave me goosebumps. I'm,
Yeah, that
I'm pretty
sucks.
sad
Only 28
about
years
this.
old, super young.
Shout out to him. Hope he gets better.
For real.
For my Bills agenda, though, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was rumors. I mean, I know there's a Twitter account out there who was saying like the Jets should be cutting Corey Davis.
There
since-
is this Twitter account that knows every single move before it happens.
Oh, that's the
it's-
basketball one.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
basketball one. I was talking about a different one.
Oh,
but there
that
was
basketball one, he was cooking.
Well,
He was.
cutting Corey Davis.
yeah. It sucks because I never wanted the Jets to cut him because even though we have McCole Hardman, we signed Lazard. It's
He's a
like
good receiver, man.
you're one injury away from having Randall Cobb out there playing meaningful snaps.
Woo.
That's not ideal.
Remember the old
He's a
days?
good receiver. Corey Davis just never found his footing with the Jets, but his last year with the Tennessee Titans was really
He
good,
was,
man.
yeah. He was a solid wide receiver too, esque for the Jets. He was just asked to be the one until we got Garrett, and that's not really what his role should be.
Damn, that's ass.
That's unfortunate.
To be honest, I had a McCole Harmon agenda. Shit sucked. He's not good.
Now, McCole Hardman was solid for the Chiefs last year until he got injured.
What was my agenda? He was supposed to get 800 yards. I don't think he got it.
He was very serviceable last season, particularly in fantasy. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not bugging.
Now, while you're searching that up, Drew, we're gonna
Oh no,
talk about
only 300 yards.
Yeah,
But
you
how many
can't.
games did he play?
14.
No way. Not a chance in hell he played 14.
we're gonna talk about stock
8.
up and stock down players. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with this segment, basically after each week in the NFL, we're going to give players that we're higher on
Price
and
went
lower
up.
on after a given week.
Price went the fuck
So
down.
stock up, stock down. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this segment justice if we don't talk about arguably the biggest stock down player in the last couple of years, not just the last couple of days or months.
Zach Wilson?
Oh no, it's
Oh.
Mr. Trey
Oh,
Lance.
oh,
Zach
oh,
Wilson
oh, oh.
made
It's
me
Mr.
some
Trey
money.
Lance. Trey Lance stock down after preseason week 2. I mean, after the game versus the
Week
Broncos,
one was bad.
he played okay, right? You know,
Week
the
2 was
stats
decent.
looked
Week 2 was
okay,
decent.
looked decent, but he's quarterback 3 now, behind Sam Darnold. I was told at this table when we debated, you told me he wasn't going to lose that battle to Sam Darnold. I told you it could very
Hilarious.
well happen. And Sam Darnold's now quarterback, so he's the backup.
No,
One step closer
Sam
away.
Darnold,
to start.
he's a pro's pro.
Sam Darnold's a pro.
Remember that?
Sam Darnold has
Was he a
50
top
plus
3 pick
yards.
too?
This guy needs help.
Third pick.
Fired.
Just like Trey Lance, actually.
Fired.
Listen,
They're
Sam
both
Darnold,
not better than the last pick in the
pro,
draft.
man. I mean, what can I say?
Trey Lance is down 5% on Mojo just from this news right now. So, Dehls, speak on this because you thought he might have had.
Listen,
it's funny, though.
this is strange because we were having this debate. Drew wasn't here about the Trey Lance for Zach Wilson, who's the bigger bust of all time. And me and Riv, we were on the same side. Joel wasn't. And I guess being a QB2 versus a QB3 is the biggest difference in the world. Either way, unless Brock Purdy got injured, Trey Lance was not seeing the field this year, right? Even if you want to say he was QB2 and he's next up in line, I guess you're one step away instead of being 2 steps away. But regardless, it was a failure with the 49ers, right? I don't think I ever sat up here and said that Trey Lance was going to be the future for this Niners team. It was always Brock Purdy. I was pretty, no, of course. But of this offseason, since our last debate as of a week or two ago, whenever that was, I said, this is Brock Purdy's job. We got into this huge Brock Purdy debate because you didn't think he was good. But regardless, Trey Lance, I think both parties have to go separate ways, right? Trey Lance at this point has to go into. I mean, what are we doing here? Trey Lance.
You said, it's funny because you said, you was like, there's no real difference between QB2 and QB3, but if Brock Purdy gets hurt, Trey Lance doesn't play.
It's Sam Darnold.
If he would have won though, and Brock Purdy would have got hurt, he would have played. Now he doesn't play. He has to wait again. That's crazy.
There's a good chance he gets traded.
For sure. It's just funny because the 2 number 3 picks are not better than the last pick in the draft.
Correct.
That's it's a tough. Yeah.
Brock Purdy's better than a lot of quarterbacks in the league.
Cook.
At least 10.
At least
At least 10.
10 starters?
Goodness.
10 starters, give or take. Maybe 8.
Because you count rookies, so they haven't
Maybe
played yet. Maybe like 6, 7 firm.
Yeah, but I think, in all honesty, Trey Lance, listen, he was drafted to be the savior of the franchise. You trade 3 first-round picks. He was drafted to be the guy.
Savior?
What the?
Yeah.
What are we doing, though, bro? What do you mean savior?
Savior of the Niners?
They don't need saving. They
Do you
just
know who's the
need
real
good
savior of that
quarterback play.
franchise? It was Jimmy Garoppolo. He came in, he changed the franchise.
you
changed the culture.
trade 3.
Nah, it's obviously Kyle
Time out.
Shanahan.
I don't wanna say
Hold on.
savior.
No,
But Garoppolo
no,
came
no,
in, they
no.
started winning some
Okay,
games.
maybe savior is not the right word.
No,
but
it
he
isn't.
was
It isn't.
he was the quarterback to get over the hump
Supposed
and
to be
win
the
a
fu-
Super Bowl.
He's supposed to be the future.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just supposed to be the
future
future.
and okay,
No,
savior's too
Savior's
That's
like
way Savior
I'm
is
sorry.
Sam
When you
Darnold
trade
for the Jets.
when you
Zach
trade
Wilson for
3
the Jets.
first-round picks, I'm thinking you are the fucking dude.
No, hold on.
Fuck that. What are you talking
No, I'm
it's
saying
a
the
lot of-
expectation.
No.
Because the Jets are a poverty franchise.
No.
Okay,
No.
Sam and Zach weren't the savior, but they were supposed to be
here's
the
the savior. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. He's the savior of the Jets.
I'll give you one better. The savior is Josh Allen to the Bills. That's savior.
But he's the savior because he's good. He was also, when he was drafted, whenever you're taking a quarterback in the top 7, you're drafted to more or less be the savior.
Future, more so.
If the franchise is poverty,
exactly,
I agree.
exactly. The Niners were not poverty. They went to the Super Bowl. They went to multiple NFC championships.
Okay, I
That's what it is.
understand what
Yes,
you're saying.
yes.
I understand. I'm just thinking, you trade 3 first-round picks, take a guy number 3 overall.
they did a lot.
It's more than just be a game manager, be the 15th best quarterback. No, they want you to go out there and prove you're a superstar. If you're a top 5 future fucking
No,
best
you're right.
quarterback in the league,
Joe
you're damn
Burrow
near a
was a savior.
savior.
Huh?
Joe Burrow was a savior.
Wait, is Patrick Mahomes the savior?
100%.
Patrick Mahomes is 1,000%
The
a
Chiefs
savior.
were
I
not
don't know.
poverty
I don't think
before
so.
Mahomes.
I
No,
wouldn't
but
say he's a savior.
But they were not that good.
But they never made the Super Bowl.
But they
either.
were
Or
constantly in the
AFC.
playoffs.
They never made the AFC Championship.
But they never had the
though.
big one.
That's-
They
the
needed
Niners haven't
Mahomes
had
to
in
get over
years.
the
Yeah,
hump.
they do got 5 though. You can't like calling
know,
the
but-
Niners franchise a savior.
Yeah, but how many in our lifetime do they have?
Yeah, that's true.
That's what
It's
I'm
just,
saying. It's
They're
been a
like
while.
they're historic, so it's like hard
Joel,
to say. You know,
Joel, you may have saved yourself.
Trevor
with that
Lawrence
Mahomes
with the
one.
Jaguars. That's
Yeah,
savior.
that's
well,
savior.
that's also a
Yeah.
generational prospect.
yeah.
Justin Fields for the Bears.
TBD.
Yeah, because the Bears have been poverty forever.
I needed that.
He might be their best quarterback ever.
It's Jay Cutler.
Yeah, it's
And who else?
small.
It's Jay Cutler.
What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, like,
Mike Lennon,
yeah, it's like the rest
You know,
of them are meh.
I actually
Kyle
had
Orton, legend.
Kyle Orton.
Underrated legend.
I actually had some hope for Trey Lance in the offseason.
Did you?
Yeah, early in the offseason,
did.
we had conversations, and We looked at his Mojo stock price, and I said,
It's
you know
also
what?
because he was anti-Brock Purdy. Let's not let that go under the radar.
You are a hater.
And it's not anti-Brock Purdy. He's been realistic about who Brock
I thought
Purdy
you loved
is.
the underdogs, man.
I
Wasn't
do
Joel
love the
the
underdogs.
underdog?
That's wrong. That's not true.
do you
Wasn't
mean?
Joel
He likes
on the
it when they're
last-
here.
Riv, when we had this debate, wasn't Joel saying that Trey Lance should be starting over Brock Purdy?
Yes. I'm also flipping on that debate. I'm no longer on your side.
No.
Yeah, Trey Lance is the bigger bust.
By far.
Yeah, it's
Zach
cut
Wilson
now.
played games. That's the only argument you need to defend Zach. Trey didn't even fucking play.
And also,
they traded XYZ to fucking get him.
When we debated, I thought that Riv was on my side. Riv just didn't agree with my Brock Purdy stance. But Riv agreed that if Trey Lance cannot beat out these quarterbacks, then that's an issue.
Yeah. I said if you didn't beat out Darnold, it's fucking over.
But listen, this is the thing with Trey Lance, and his Mojo stock price was low, so I was, thinking maybe we can buy in because I'm shocked. I did say that if I was in Niners, I would start Trey Lance over Brock Purdy.
That's nuts.
But this is the thing, and this is the reason why they can't do that, is because Trey Lance in the film that he's shown in preseason has just been so disastrously bad that you can't put him out there. He's not doing the simple things that good backup quarterbacks can do right now. So he's in no position to play. So, but for what they gave up to get Trey Lance, I mean, it's not crazy to say that they should have just put him out there to just see. But I understand after these first two preseason games that they don't want to do that.
They have a Super Bowl caliber roster. You can't go out there, and that's
Can't waste
honestly the
Brock
biggest.
Purdy was undefeated, right?
yes,
If-
yes, 8-0, right?
Undefeated.
The-
Never lost.
Never lost. Never lost. He started and finished a game. He won. And honestly, the biggest, I like Trey Lance as a prospect, but the reason I fell in love with him because he went to the Niners and Kyle Shanahan. You're like, you start thinking of all the possibilities that could happen.
That was the best situation.
Actually, he never lost in the playoffs either. He got hurt. He didn't finish that game.
But then
He didn't
honestly, his biggest detriment now is that he went to a
get
Niners
outta here,
team
Riv.
that's going to be competing for a Super Bowl, and they don't have time to sit here and see what Lance has.
Are you hating again?
I'm not hating. You're just such a wishy-washy Eagles fan, man.
Okay.
You just told us that you would have thrown Trey Lance out there into the fire to start after watching a man go undefeated for a season.
It's Brock Purdy.
It's Trey Lance.
It's not that impressive.
just lost
It
to Sam
wasn't
Darnold.
Really, it wasn't
You probably would have
impressive.
started
Sam
Drew
Darnold.
Bledsoe over Tom Brady too then.
This guy was the
Right?
biggest Sam Darnold fan in the world.
That's
Now
what you
he
would have done.
sucks.
No, let's
would've
talk
started
about
what?
it. He would have started Drew Bledsoe over Tom Brady.
Why would I have
Probably.
done that?
Because Mr. Drew Bledsoe, the richest contract in NFL history
Are
at
you
the
calling
time.
Brock Purdy Tom Brady?
That's
might
not
be.
what I'm saying.
He
So
still
what are you
believes
All
saying?
I'm saying is you're saying, oh,
crazy
6th round, he has limitations. Brady had limitations back then too, but of course
Brady is a 10 times better athlete than Brock Purdy even back then.
Athlete.
Yes, he is.
Athlete?
10 times better.
I don't know if athlete
He has
Athlete's
a
the
wrong
wrong word. I think
I don't
athlete's the
know.
wrong word.
You know Tom Brady got drafted into the MLB. He has a arm.
Yeah, but when
Brock
you
Purdy
think when you
doesn't
think
have
of
that.
athlete, you
Think
think
of
of
speed,
mobility.
strength.
Brock Purdy just does not
No,
have
Brady-
even the physical things that Brady had.
Brady for sure is a stronger
Yeah, come
arm,
on,
but,
we're not-
but
we're not-
Brady's more mobile. I mean, Purdy's more mobile than Brady was.
And
Purdy's
also
faster
in
than,
the playoffs,
Brady.
when Tom Brady started his first year, he was good. He had some bad games. Yeah, he had some up and down.
Purdy was good.
Purdy was
but
really good.
But Tom Brady had
Then we go
more
with the butts.
control of the offense.
Okay.
He was
But
Brock
was
Purdy,
good.
like, I don't understand why nobody sees the stuff that he's being asked to do is not really hard at all.
It isn't.
It's training
It isn't.
wheel
It's not.
stuff.
It's not.
It isn't.
It's
But
not.
I said this to you
Gotta
though.
do a job, though.
It's like
Ironic of you to
you
say
know
that
that
and be a
even
Zach
if
Wilson
Brock
fan.
Purdy was healthy, the Eagles would have won that game.
Yes.
You believe that?
Yeah, I
So
believe we
ultimately,
won.
that point is moot. That Brock Purdy was hurt.
No,
for the
That
game.
doesn't make it not a fact,
that's
though.
All Riv said was he still is technically undefeated. He didn't finish the game. That's all he said.
Which is a fact. It's not. That's not. You can't.
The
you can't-
reason
That's
reason
all
why
he said.
the reason why I say you put out Lance out there, and I'm not defending Lance, but one, I didn't understand I didn't know he was gonna be this bad. He's been bad in preseason, he's been bad in training camp. He should not be this bad. That's number one. He should not be this bad. They traded 3 first-round picks to get him. Jimmy Garoppolo is more than fine as a quarterback. If they were going to go from Jimmy Garoppolo to Brock Purdy, there was no point in drafting Trey Lance. And I know that's easy to say in hindsight, but Brock Purdy and Jimmy are basically the same quarterback in terms of just tier and where they are amongst other quarterbacks.
It also
they're
did-
average. They're below average quarterbacks.
Do you not
took
think-
2 injuries to get to
any,
Brock,
At
though.
any point in this whole scenario, do you not think maybe Shanahan sees a little more in Purdy that you don't see? Because he's keeping him out there. He's starting. He watched him play.
And
They
Shanahan
let
says
Jimmy G
it's
go.
not even a competition.
It's not even.
Say-
It's
He has,
Brock
Brock.
he has,
That's
he
a
has to
guy.
melt out there in practice.
Is it a little more? your question is a good question. I think Kyle Shanahan is starting Brock Purdy because, one, Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt last year, and then Brock Purdy had to play, and Trey
Purdy's
Lance
more
got
available.
hurt. Trey Lance has just been so bad that there's just no other option there. Like, who is Kyle Shanahan going to go to right now that can supplant Brock Purdy? It's nobody.
I mean,
The options on the team are
couldn't the
limited.
option have been just keep Jimmy G until he gets hurt, and then you always have that safety blanket in Purdy?
There's no reason to do that if Brock Purdy can give you the same thing Jimmy can on a cheaper deal.
And another
Much
thing,
cheaper.
another thing that comes to mind when it comes to Brock Purdy, the Niners, Shanahan, is that what we've been told is that anyone can go into Shanahan's offense and thrive. But Trey Lance goes out there, he doesn't look that good. Clearly, that's not the case. Jimmy
Brothers
G,
played 3
Brock.
games in the NFL.
Hey, listen, and he had an entire offseason to get
That's
right.
fair.
We saw some preseason action from him. Was not the best tape by any
No,
means.
that
I'm
first
being
game was some of the
kind.
worst for
I'm
safety
being
put out there.
kind. I'm being kind.
Shit, like when you have a huddle and you
And
make your highlight tape.
Essentially. And Sam Darnold, right?
that game out.
Jets, Panthers, now goes to the Niners. That's also the expectation. Hey, you go into Shanahan's offense. He can make anybody good. Even still through all that, Brock Purdy's still the guy out there. So it's a testament. Maybe Brock Purdy is a little bit better than what you're giving credit for. And it's not just the fact that he won games and maybe he still only has he's kind of handcuffed in what he can do.
I just don't like the limitations Joel likes to put on a rookie that can literally get better. You put these insane limitations
on a first year player.
He's a first year player just like any
Last
of these
pick of
other
the
rookies.
draft.
The last pick in the draft, and for him to even just go out there and still be able to do the little things is still good. And then you put limitations on him like he cannot improve this year. I think it's a bit unfair. He's a rookie just like all the other rookies were last year.
For sure.
He can improve
point,
slightly, but the physical limitations he has, there's a clear ceiling of the player he's going to be, the quarterback is going to be.
I mean,
There's a clear ceiling there.
I guess. I mean, physical, you could say
He's
that.
in year one. That's so unfair to say.
But the physical limitations
Yeah,
are
no,
fair.
I'm
Yeah,
with
it's gonna
you.
be
For
obvious.
sure,
But it's like-
yeah. He can still improve, though.
he played at a very, very strong
How much
level
does he
last
need to
season.
improve realistically for them to get to the Super Bowl? It's not
Not
that
much.
Not much, but he will always be. They'll always be at a disadvantage with the other quarterbacks in the NFC. I know that hasn't
but
mattered to
it's-
this point.
it's just-
They have an all-star.
Eagles.
He beat the Cowboys. I mean,
I want to say he didn't play that well, but they
he's-
beat
you
them
know what
without
I
him
mean.
playing
It's a
well.
low scoring game.
Dak Prescott threw interceptions. He didn't play well that game.
Dak
Shocker.
Prescott, he led the
Purdy
league
was
in
better than
interceptions.
Dak.
The 49ers have an all-star studded cast.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to have a
best coaches in the
groundbreaking
game.
quarterback. But this is the thing. Brock Purdy, his statistical output was good. Yes, that is true. You made the point that, well, Kyle Shanahan has been known to get the best out of quarterbacks. Well, he has done that. You know, Nick Mullins played well with Kyle Shanahan when he started. They didn't win a ton of games. They didn't win a ton of games,
He
but
put up numbers.
Nick Mullins' numbers were good. C.J. Beathard's numbers in his second stint when he started with them were very good. Even Trey Lance.
Nick Mullins threw 12 touchdowns to 12 interceptions.
Yeah, but look, having
You said his
an
numbers
even,
are good.
Having an even ratio for Nick Mullins, that is impressive.
And being
because he's not
gonna say,
that good.
for Brock
Yeah,
Purdy
bro.
is impressive. What do we do?
Nick Mullins didn't have the weapons that Brock Purdy had at his disposal.
That's a fair
Trey
point.
Lance was averaging 300 yards per game. Those two games.
And now
rookie year.
also,
Never
yeah,
forget.
this the point I was going to bring. An all-time bust that we're sitting here talking about, discussing in Trey Lance in 2 starts with the Niners had a 97 passer rating. In 2 starts had a 97 passer
talking
rating with
Trey
Kyle
Lance,
Shanahan.
Lance, rookie year.
So Trey Lance, you know, you can say that, yeah, Kyle Shanahan hasn't made him better. It's just right now it is a weird situation where Brock Purdy started and won a bunch of games. So the locker room is behind him. The coach has trust that he can execute the offense. Because Kyle Shanahan, if he tells Purdy, you got to throw it here, he knows Purdy will throw it there, and he will do exactly what is designed.
You mentioned passer rating, 2 games. What was it? 97. Brock Purdy's in 9 games was 107.
He was number 1 in the league.
Brock Purdy, 13
No
touchdowns,
doubt.
4
No doubt. The
interceptions.
numbers are exceptional, but that's the Shanahan offense that's why I don't give much credit to these quarterbacks. And it's not just looking at the numbers and just dismissing
Beathard
them.
wasn't good
It's when
either.
you look at the tape, it just doesn't. It just
He
it's
had
just-
some games.
There's nothing
He had some
eye-popping
games,
about
but-
it. There's really not.
It's just the notion that Shanahan makes all these guys look good.
No.
I think it's a little dragged on. Like these guys look good in spurts.
There's been
but
2
he
people
makes
to
some-
have success
he
with
makes some-
Shanahan. Well, if you're not counting Matt Ryan, only specifically just on the Niners. It's been Garoppolo. It's been Brock Purdy.
Jimmy Garoppolo played at a statistical top 5 quarterback level under Shanahan in a lot of metrics, I don't think anybody would call him a top 10, top 5 quarterback.
Is anyone calling
Shanahan's
Brock
making these-
Purdy that?
He's making
I don't
these
think
quarterbacks
Brock Purdy
better.
is a top 25 quarterback.
Oh, okay. Damn, the number hit me. But the number hit me.
25.
He's one of the
25
worst
was-
starting quarterbacks in the league.
All right, let's really try.
give a damn about
Let's really try. All right, Desmond
the
Ridder.
numbers.
He's one of
Are you
the
including the
worst
rookies?
starting.
I was
Are
going to
you
say,
including-
yeah. No, you're not including
No.
them?
I'll name you the guys
But
right
wait,
now.
why does it matter? Because the top.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't
There's
matter.
a lot of good quarterbacks in the league nowadays,
is.
bro.
Josh Allen, this is no order.
We
but
should do
Jo-
backwards.
Can you just get
the
go
other way
backwards?
around?
The
The
top
other
10
way
we know,
around.
the top
We
10.
know, we know
Let's
the
just
top
do it.
20,
Let's just do
bro.
it from. Let's just do it from the beginning.
No.
Josh Allen.
No, it's going to be so many quarterbacks we name.
because I'm not doing it in the list. I'm just doing it from
Okay, yeah,
teams.
yeah.
So Josh Allen, Tua, Mac Jones, Aaron Rodgers. That's 4 right there. Is Russell Wilson better than Brock Purdy? Okay,
Yeah.
that's 5. Mahomes,
Yes.
Wait,
You
what?
don't have to
Justin
think about
Herbert,
that. Yeah. Keep
7.
going.
Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow,
Uh-huh.
Deshaun Watson. That's 10.
Okay.
I think Kenny Pickett is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy,
Based off what?
based off of how I see Kenny Pickett play. I think Kenny Pickett is better than him.
That one's a stretch.
Purdy's so tough because in this system, I mean, he's been hitting. You mentioned Joel. He's hitting guys that are wide open a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The physical limitations are there, but I don't think it really matters that pure talent-wise, some quarterbacks might be better than Purdy. If Purdy's just going to go into that system and get shit done and win games, it's basically what Jimmy G was doing, except for a lot cheaper.
So we're at 10.
And cleaner.
Kenny
Trevor-
Pickett's a maybe.
Trevor Lawrence.
Better. Yes.
I didn't count Kenny Pickett, so we're at 10 flat. Trevor Lawrence, 11. Ryan Tannehill was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott, Daniel
Tannehill
Jones,
at this
Jalen
point of
Hurts.
his career.
Yeah, but then you look at the situation. Tannehill, when he had those weapons, he was playing at that level.
I know, but Brock Purdy was just as good, if not
Tannehill
better.
can do way more than Brock Purdy.
Really?
At 34,
Yes,
35?
yes, he can. Yeah, he's way more mobile. He has a way stronger arm than him.
Really?
I don't know. Like Tannehill 2019,
We're not
sure.
about to disrespect
2023
Ryan Tannehill for
Tannehill.
Brock freaking Purdy.
I think I'm with Joel
Ryan,
here.
Ryan Tannehill, for them to win a playoff game, had 72 yards.
It's their kind of show.
They have to do much.
Really?
Dak
But when
Prescott-
Brock Purdy doesn't have to do much, it's a fucking issue.
yeah, but I
Nah,
never,
but
I never
Tannehill
mentioned.
Tannehill the year after did have 30 touchdowns. Didn't throw.
No, he had a
double-digit
good
INTs.
statistical season. but
If
so did
Purdy
Brock
stays
Purdy.
healthy, he's going to put up damn near identical numbers.
Y'all
that
gonna
he
hate,
had.
y'all gonna
I
hate
never-
his numbers this
Yeah.
year.
I never mentioned that Ryan Tannehill was the reason they won a playoff game, and who knows? Maybe he takes a step back. We don't know. Dak Prescott,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts. That's all. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins. I mean, what is that now? We're like at the 20s, right?
Why'd you stop
Better
counting?
than Jordan Love?
Derek Carr. I didn't mention Jordan Love because I don't think you guys would all be in agreement, but I think Jordan Love pretty much clears Brock Purdy.
He has more physical talent.
I think
for
he's
sure.
going to be a better quarterback than him.
He has more physical talent. But again, would Jordan Love be in a situation of Trey Lance where he's going to go out there and he's going to miss the easy ones and he's not going to hit the layups like Brock Purdy is? Maybe.
Jordan Love?
Yeah.
No, he won't. He's been doing all that in preseason easily.
I've seen him miss a couple layups.
Nah, he has not. And then versus the Eagles, he came in and lit a spark in
Oh,
that
the
offense.
end
And
of the
It was honestly
year.
historical.
The one drive.
It was honestly
Historical?
that's a historical landmark.
No, yo, what
Packers
are we
fans are
doing?
gonna go back to that moment and say this was the moment we
Packers
knew Jordan
fans
Love
don't
was
give a
birth.
fuck about that moment. They didn't make the playoffs.
Jordan Love
that
is
year.
Jordan Love is going to be really average.
And they would have. What?
It's gonna be really average.
Okay, you want to bet on that?
What are we betting on?
What's average? That's the question.
Like I don't think Jordan Love is gonna come in and set the world on fire,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't think he's gonna be a bottom.
He'll be a game
10
manager.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll be a game manager. He'll have some moments where he, is like, wow, that's a nice throw, but I don't think he's gonna do it consistently.
Why are you laughing?
This is crazy.
Will he ever
What's
be?
your, what's
will
your
he-
definition
will
of
he-
average? What do you think?
I don't think he'll be a top 10 quarterback.
You don't?
He's
don't think so.
No, he's insane. He's legitimately
I don't-
insane.
I
He's
don't
a
think so.
He's
psychopath
insane.
for that
No, he's
laugh.
crazy.
Did you hear that laugh?
All right,
It's equal.
listen.
You're
You're gonna be wrong. It's all that-
Rodgers
that-
is like around 7, 8. Like Trevor Lawrence is at like 8
Now.
Yeah.
You know that? I mean,
Justin Fields is coming. CJ Stroud is coming. There's
Tua.
another guy. Caleb
Daniel
Williams is coming
Jones.
into the league. Drake Mays is coming. There's a lot of guys coming in that are young and talented.
you know, it's funny, Dehls.
Russell Wilson still.
I
got
remember
that.
back to the moment
Geno
where
Smith.
Jordan Love got his first start against the Chiefs, and you guys laughed. You guys called him dog shit. I think that was you, Drew.
He was bad.
You really
He was
laughed.
no, was he
wasn't
good
good. He
against the
wasn't
Chiefs?
That was
It changed the
Chris
Chiefs.
Jones.
It honestly
It was
changed the
Chris
Chiefs'
Jones-
season.
It was Chris Jones' first game back.
That game changed
like
the
you
Chiefs'
do, like
season.
we think Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Every year he's like borderline top 10.
Is he
It's
gonna-
like
He's a great
debate whether
quarterback.
he's
Jordan
top
Love-
10.
That's a great
Let me ask you a
quarterback.
question, bro. Will Jordan Love ever be better than Kyler Murray?
Yes.
That Kyler we saw 2 years ago, I don't know. That was
They playing at that borderline MVP level.
Yes.
I mean, that Kyler, but like moving forward, Kyler, yeah, he'll be better than him.
I think 2024.
You think that's funny?
20,
I think that's
this,
fucking
this,
that's
this,
I think
this,
you're just sleeping on Jordan Love. I think you have no understanding of how good
think-
Jordan Love is about to be.
wait, 'cause
Now, this is how disrespectful I want
this
to
is
get, bro.
funny.
Let's make a bet, you and I.
Tua.
Sam Howell versus Jordan Love. Because
You
I
really
already,
wanna make that
I already
bet?
stole your money on this Desmond Ritter bullshit, whatever the fuck.
Wait,
'cause
hold on,
Sam
hold on,
Howell's
hold on.
going to have a better season than him.
Stole
Let's
my
do it
money.
again.
No,
that's
you don't know who
the
stole whose money.
Taekwondo and
Taekwondo
Ron-
Romeo
Ron-
Dobbs. You should pay up now.
No, you know what's the
You
issue though?
fucked up with that
No, because I was thinking 2 steps ahead. Because I knew I lost that one. I already.
When he made the bet, I said, I already know.
What did I do?
You made another one.
This
What
one's
was the
$50. This the Taekwondo was 20. The Howell
What?
and
Remind me?
and Desmond
So you get your
Ritter
money back.
was 50. I'm already up
What-
30.
what was the Howell
I'm thinking
one?
big brain.
What yard?
I think it was total yards.
Total yards.
That's not hypothetical. Desmond
already
Ritter can have
here.
a better year than Sam Howell. What was the exact
I already
bet?
feel
I'm
good.
actually.
I don't remember.
It has to do with yards. It has to do with
Passing
yards.
yards
Yeah,
only?
something like that. Yards.
We'll see. Desmond
Let's do
Ritter
it.
can.
Let's do it.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Is that really a clearing? What are we doing here?
I like Howell. I like
As
Howell.
you should.
I like
And he's in a
Howell.
way better situation,
His
and I
weapons
trust
out
his
there are
arm
tough.
better.
Well, I don't know if he's in a better situation.
All right, listen.
Arthur Smith?
Terry McLaurin,
He has better
Jahan
weapons.
Dotson,
He has
Curtis
better
Samuel,
weapons.
Antonio Gibson, who's a good rusher,
I mean,
but
he has
even
better
better
weapons.
pass catching
Now,
running
the
back.
Fal- The Falcons have Kyle Pitts,
Drake
Drake
London,
London,
Kyle
Bijan
Pitts.
Robinson, and a
Bijan.
better line.
I'll be honest, Terry's
And a
better than
better-
all
As
of
a
them.
I like
passer,
Arthur Smith more
as
than
a
Bieniemy.
I understand where you're coming from.
Well, you said Kyle Pitts, Drake London,
And Bijan.
Terry's better than all of them.
The Commanders just had a bottom 20 offense.
London
The
could be
Falcons were a
Jahan-
top
This year?
rushing
Not-
offense.
maybe not this year.
Maybe like 2 years.
Jahan and Drake, and I like Drake a lot. You know that Jahan and Drake is going to be a conversation.
Kyle Pitts and London is better than McLaurin and Dotson, in my opinion.
It's
But it's
close.
it's not just
close.
them though. It's Dotson, Curtis Samuel, like you meant. Like it's
Curtis Samuel gets banged up a lot.
Bijan getting
Bijan,
included in
yeah.
this. That's
And
where
then the
I
offense-
yeah.
the
Bijan
offensive
Bijan
line
is where
of
the shit
Falcons.
is dead.
It's the offensive line and the play calling. Yeah, now we're talking about Ritter is in a better situation.
But Howell might get
but
more
it also
opportunity
maybe,
because they're gonna.
situation fine, but in terms of throwing mechanics, in terms of arm, I'm looking at Sam
Having that
Howell.
number one, dope. That
I'm
boy's
feeling
scary,
very
different.
confident in that. So Jordan Love, Sam Howell. Let's get back to the conversation at hand. Let's make another
a lot of
bet.
money riding on Sam Howell this year.
I don't. Oh, listen, I believe
Yeah, he's going to be very wrong on him.
He plays the Eagles twice. And the
Sam
Cowboys
Howell
twice.
will be the reason Eric Bieniemy becomes a head coach.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
okay.
Okay.
Might be a Washington. To be honest.
Yo, imagine. I don't think Ron's getting fired.
Sam Howell plays the
I think they won
Cowboys
6
twice and the
games.
Eagles twice.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And the Giants twice.
So what's
Yeah.
this Howell
He's gonna
Ritter
play
bet
well.
gonna be?
You want to do touchdowns?
I'll bet you the Packers win more games than the Commanders next year.
Okay, but I feel
If
like
Sam
that's
Howell, if Sam Howell is such a good
I
quarterback,
would
and you
do
think
that.
if he's going to give Eric
easy.
Bieniemy,
No, I mean, no.
should
I'm saying if
not.
I'm him, I would do that.
That division's
obviously.
tougher though.
No,
You
but
should
he just
not
told
do
me that
that.
Sam Howell will be the reason Eric Bieniemy gets a
Let
head
me ask you a
coaching
question.
job.
Do I have idiot written on my forehead? Like, bro, he just really just tried
see
to
why
call
he
me an
didn't ask
idiot.
That division's tough.
No. I asked that because it's a fair bet. Because the Commanders, let me ask you, do they have a great defense?
They have a top 10 tough schedule this year.
They have a good front.
Do they have a
seven.
great
The
defense? Do they
secondary's
have a
not
good
good.
defense?
Good
The
defense.
They have a
secondary's
good
not
defense.
but their
Front seven elite.
seven's fire.
If Sam Howell is what Drew thinks he's going to be, is that not a very good offense
No,
with McLaurin and
but they're
Dotson and
comfortably
everybody
the worst
and
team in
the
that.
enemy?
They're comfortably
What
the
am I
worst team in that
saying?
division.
All I'm saying is Sam Howell is going to be better than one, Desmond Ritter, and two, Jordan
yeah,
Love.
Sam Howell
could have a
bar
he's gonna
not
get-
high. The bar's not high.
You just told me
Bar's
he's going to get Bieniemy a head coaching job.
Sam
How do you
Howell
get-
could have
how
a
do you-
better
In order
year
to get a
than
head
Love.
coaching job for a coach,
It's just
you
gonna
have to
mean
have a
be
top 10
successful.
offense.
That's,
Is that not facts? Ben Johnson became considered a head coaching candidate for the Lions because they had a top offense.
If he's hovering around 12, 13.
So if the Commanders have a good defense and a top offense like you think they're going to have, why
was
can't
the
they
Commanders'
not be
offense
better than
last
Packers?
year?
It's because the Commanders' secondary
Not
is
good.
bad.
if the Commanders had like a 28th offense and they jumped to like 14, that's
Well,
a 10 that's a
Heineke was one of the
big
worst
jump.
quarterbacks
Wait, what,
in
what
the league
do
last
but
year.
the Commanders and the Packers? What the roster discrepancy? The Packers are far more clear.
No, it's the
I'm not
schedule,
sure.
the
I'm not-
division. It's different. The Commanders have a tougher road to the playoffs than the Packers.
I agree.
If the Packers win games, it's going to be because of Jordan
They were
Love.
middle of the pack.
The
if the-
defense
if-
is also very good.
Last year wasn't very good statistically
Towards the end of the
across
season,
board.
it was very
Not
good.
even. They were still not.
Sean
The
Gary
rush
missed
defense is
time,
not
too.
good.
So for me,
Facts.
if both these teams are relying on the quarterback play,
They're bottom 10 scoring.
Not us being last.
Both teams are relying on the quarterback playing well to win games.
Definitely.
Like 100%, because the rosters are pretty much complete.
The Packers,
even though the Packers have less, even though the Packers have way less pass catchers.
The Commanders play the Eagles and the Cowboys.
And
Those
the
are the
Giants.
three.
The Giants are
Two
playoff
of the
team.
three best
It's not
teams in the
fair
league.
bet.
How many
just do
games?
passing
How many
touchdowns?
games do you think the Commanders will win?
I don't know. I haven't gone through the
They
schedule.
should
yet.
win 7, 6.
I was gonna say probably like 6. I think the Packers probably around 7, 8.
So we're talking
Why
about
don't we
a
just
1
do
or 2
passing
game
touchdowns?
difference.
We're
You
talking
don't
about the
take bet.
Packers winning
Why
their
can't we
division.
do
The
passing
Commanders have no
touchdowns?
shot.
You just told me Jordan Love can be a top 10 quarterback one day.
You
Let's
wanna
just
do-
do touchdowns.
Let's just do across the board who's going to be better.
There we
Because
go.
Jordan Love will be better across
Why
the
can't we
board.
just do
How are we?
touchdowns?
But how we're gonna do like
It don't
he's better
matter.
in
It don't
completion,
matter.
he's better passer. How are we gonna do that?
We could do. Listen, we're gonna do all the categories.
Can I ask you a
whoever
question?
whoever wins more
I
categories,
like that.
wins
I like that. I like
the
that.
bet.
I like that.
Completion percentage, passing yards,
Okay.
touchdowns, passer rating,
Less
and
interceptions.
we can add less interceptions. We can do all those
I
categories.
like that. All right,
Total
that's fine.
touchdowns or passing touchdowns?
Passing. We're not
Just
doing that
passing
rushing
because
shit.
Howell's he's mobile.
Oh
He's
come
gonna
on,
get some
Jordan Love
passing
is more
yards,
mobile
some
than
rushing
Sam
yards.
Howell. Let's stop.
Oh,
What's just what's
I
the
don't know.
what's the
He had like
disrespect?
Hey,
six
buddy,
rushing
don't
yards
forget
in
our
UNC,
Fields
1,
Jordan
6,
Love
7.
bet.
Oh, I forgot we had
I know.
that. What is it? Passing yards?
It's just TDs.
How much
total
What are we
touchdowns?
throwing on this? You wanna
Total
throw another
Yeah, he's
50?
fucked.
Oh, you got that.
Yeah. Fields gonna have
You want
10
to throw another
rushing.
50?
Probably.
He's gonna have 2
We'll
first
throw
week.
50. Yeah.
And remember they played Green Bay first week.
Uh,
When they played Green Bay first week.
Yeah, they said that's
Chicago.
the second most expensive ticket of any game.
We should watch it together so we
Week
can watch
1.
Fields
I'm down.
outduel Jordan Love.
Yo, we gotta talk to Mojo, see if we're going to this Monday night game.
Yeah, we definitely do got to talk to Mojo about that. Listen,
What
man.
were we talking about?
Stock up, stock down.
No, we never even got
Ultimately,
to-
we
we
was
was-
talking about it's sidetrack because of Brock Purdy. Ultimately,
Because your
listen,
disrespect is
no, it's
sickening.
not disrespect. You just think it's disrespect for some odd reason.
Because,
It's
because
really
I
not.
think
Joel,
he's
this is-
good.
Joel,
really not.
Brock
Name
Purdy.
another quarterback that could go undefeated and you trash talk him. How can you do that?
You know what's funny? Because if Zach Wilson would have done the exact same thing, that
We're
boy
talking
would
about
be
the greatest
all day
No,
about him.
he would be in a Herbert.
Yeah, like
conversation
literally
for
talk
him.
about he's one of the best
You
quarterbacks
asked
I've
that
ever
question
seen.
like I didn't do the same thing with Tua.
What do you mean?
You said, how can a quarterback go undefeated?
'cause you
and
hate
trash talk
Tua.
him? I don't hate Tua. It's,
No, you hate
It's
Tua.
very clear.
Tua didn't go
Tua's
undefeated.
limitations as a quarterback.
What do you mean? Tua didn't go undefeated.
There was a point in the season last year where he was undefeated when he started the games
That's a
and finished
fact.
them.
Ah,
Yeah.
This is my whole thing, and this is my
And
last.
then he's faced hard defenses and he sucked.
Well, this is my whole
Yeah.
thing. This is my last thing on this Brock Purdy shit because the season starts soon. We know where they're going to be at the end of the year, so it doesn't even fucking matter. Dak Prescott's better. Kirk Cousins is better. Jalen Hurts is better. All these quarterbacks in the NFC are better. That's fine. They don't have the limitations. Cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, Brock Purdy's in a perfect system for him. Shanahan loves him. The locker room loves him. The Niners are going to be in the NFC Championship at worst this year. And if they go to the Super Bowl and they lose to fucking Patrick Mahomes, you're not going to sit here and say it's because of his limitations. No, you're going to say because Patrick Mahomes is that good. Because in reality, the last 4 or 5 years, it's been Mahomes or Brady.
That's not true.
It is
when
true.
they lost Super Bowl to the Mahomes, it was because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, for sure. That one,
Right.
yeah, it was because of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Because he missed one of the
But
biggest
when they
throws
went to the
in game.
playoffs, they didn't. Brock Purdy was very fine in the playoffs, and they
He had
played
one game. He
They
played
played
one
in.
game.
They played,
I mean, they were
played
up double digits. Mahomes was Mahomes.
Oh, no, he played two
He
games.
played
You're
two,
right,
I know
correct.
because he didn't have a bye. You
Yeah,
didn't know that.
That Seattle
He didn't
game,
play
he had
well
300
against
yards and 3
Cowboys.
touchdowns.
He was
No, he didn't
bad.
play well against. But he
was-
played all right
he
against
was
the Seahawks.
alright.
But
He had
once
like
again, he doesn't have
220.
to do too much, and that shouldn't be
Yeah.
an issue.
Yeah, but I mean, football is a team game. You know, if you have a star-studded roster like the 49ers, yeah, it's going to make an inept quarterback like Brock Purdy, you know, who's very below
Yeah,
average,
but-
Inept?
better.
Inept.
Inept is nuts.
Very below average.
Inept's
But-
very
but-
below.
okay,
Inept's
but-
crazy.
He's
I
below
think you need to
average.
do a Google search on what inept means because that's a strong statement.
Listen,
Inept is nuts. He went.
This
He
my
was
hot take.
undefeated and said inept.
this is my hot
I'm
take right here.
baffled.
What is it? Sam Darnold's going to start
Sam Darnold's going to start this year. Eventually, he's not going to let go
because
of that job.
because of injury or because of
Are
play?
you bored? What is
No,
this? A
I'm not
Twitter?
bored.
Because Joel, because
Sam Darnold last year with the Panthers are very good. You know what?
Dude, he
Look at Sam Darnold right here. When he got drafted to the Jets,
You know what?
His best receivers were this. Robbie Anderson, Chris Herndon,
Chosen.
Quincy Enunwa, Jermaine Kearse. The very
Who the
next
fuck's
year,
fault is that?
it was Jamison Crowder,
That's your
Robbie
GM's
Anderson,
fault.
Le'Veon Bell. I mean, the next year after that, it was Jamison Crowder, Brashad Perriman.
Okay.
Sam Darnold never had a chance.
Yes, bro,
If he gets a chance with 49ers,
Listen,
he will never
Sam
let
Darnold-
it go.
Sam-
He had a chance
will
with the
run
Panthers
win.
and
Sam
he
Darnold
was
was
the
a
Panthers
Panthers.
coach.
Sam Darnold was
What are you
a
talking
Sam
about?
Darnold was a top 3 pick. He's supposed to uplift those bums. Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft, bro. He wasn't. He's not. What do you want him to do?
And Brock Purdy's not uplifting anything.
He doesn't need to, but he's doing the right thing because them bum-ass third picks in training camp are not better than him. That's their fault.
Sam Darnold just got elevated to quarterback 2.
Congrats.
He's
to quarterback 2.
He's coming for that spot. He's coming for that spot. You know what? Guess what?
Don't victory lap a backup quarterback spot, bro.
You ain't even think Sam Darnold's going to be over Trey Lance.
You're wrong.
Why
are you taking a victory lap over who's going to be
But we all knew nobody was taking Purdy's spot.
Exactly.
But we all knew that. Nobody was taking Purdy's spot. He's the last pick in the draft. Nobody's taking his spot. You can put that bum Zach Wilson over there too. Nobody's taking his spot. I need you to understand that. Nobody is taking Brock Purdy's spot in the Niners. Shanahan is the guy there. The GM is cool, but Shanahan is the guy. He loves Brock. Debo loves Brock. Kittle loves Brock. Ayuk, your guy, breakout, right? Better than Smitty. He also loves Brock Purdy.
Ayuk.
Yeah, he loves Brock Purdy. Yes, he said that.
You on the same tier.
You missed
He
a
is
lot.
on the same tier. Yes, he's on the same tier.
You know what? You think you're slick because you did that dumb shit on Twitter where you was like, all these quarterbacks could go to Philly and they could do the exact same thing. You've been doing this slick shit lately with these stacked teams. You've been hating and I've been noticing it. And it don't just go with Brock Purdy. It go with Jalen Hurts. But I've noticed because you're a Dallas fan. And the problem with that,
I'm a Dallas fan. I'm a Cowboys fan now. What are we doing here?
No. Keep going. He said last year the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl.
He said they would beat the Eagles.
No, I didn't. He said they would beat the Eagles. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I never said that. I never said that.
He said the Super Bowl.
No, I didn't.
He said they were going to the Super Bowl.
He said they were going.
He said they were going to the Super Bowl. And they didn't beat the Niners.
And that's your problem. You like Dak, that scrub, but yet you hate on Hurts. You hate on Brock Purdy. You hate on Purdy. You know what's funny? Dak's first couple years, what the fuck was the Cowboys doing on offense? Super team. Give it to Zeke. Milk Zeke. They get Amari Cooper. They had CeeDee Lamb. He had stacked teams. And what was he doing? Glazing.
What are we talking about?
Now Brock Purdy has a stacked team. Jalen Hurts has a stacked team. What is he doing? Hating. And that's his problem.
What are we talking about? Dak Prescott as a rookie. What did Dak Prescott do as a rookie? Versus the Packers. What did Dak Prescott do as a rookie? Versus the Packers. Versus the Packers in the playoffs. Dak Prescott played flawlessly.
Amazing.
He played flawlessly.
He was.
But the defense let him down in that game. What are we talking about?
We know what Dak Prescott is now. Why are we going back to his
Dak Prescott's a
rookie
great quarterback.
year?
Yeah, we know what he is.
Jalen Hurts
He's a great quarterback.
Jalen Hurts fucking clears and you hate on him.
This isn't a Jalen Hurts conversation.
Yes, it is.
But
he just mentioned Brock Purdy with Dak Prescott.
No, but his issue is you're hating on guys that have
Brock
great
Purdy's not
teams.
near Dak Prescott.
No. And listen, he ain't gonna get me. No, what I said was you are hating on the other two teams in the NFC because they have stacked rosters. You hate on the Hurts. We caught you. It's on Twitter. Everybody got it. It got ratioed for it too. It was nuts. You hated on Brock Purdy, but for some slim reason, you keep glazing Dak Prescott like he's this demon and this god when he's not that. And we've seen that. He just lost in the playoffs. Literally again. To the Niners.
To
shit.
Brock Purdy?
And you know what he's going to do again? He's going to lose to them again this year. And when Brock Purdy has a look. And
Cowboys got better.
No, he won't.
They got better.
I don't give a fuck what you say. When Brock Purdy has a good statistical season this year and know that bum Sam Darnold is not going to start over. When he has a good year this year and they go back to the NFC Championship, I don't want to see you hating again and doing this. If you watch the film, no. I want you to just acknowledge the fact that he's good. Shanahan, look, and Shanahan's a genius. You're not a genius like Shanahan. Shanahan's a fucking genius, so stop hating.
You know, that's the thing, Rich. And that's the thing.
I'm sick of this hating, man.
The Eagles got a stacked roster. Jalen Hurts is legitimately a star quarterback. That's a fact. Yeah, if other quarterbacks were in that position, could they find similar team success? The roster is that great and grand.
You said Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones could go to the Eagles and
So
they
how
would
much of a
definitely
star
win a
are
division
you if
still.
Daniel Jones never plays?
It doesn't mean that you're not a star.
You told me Dallas win the division.
Here's a question for you. If you swap Joe Burrow,
we talking about this
let me ask
past
you a
season,
question.
not moving forward.
If you swap Joe Burrow on the Eagles and you put Jalen Hurts on the Bengals, it's not a question. I believe the Eagles will be great too. Are the Bengals what the Bengals are right now?
No,
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the answer.
They're not the
so
same.
fucking great, bro.
I mean, that's because
I knew that was the answer.
that's because but that's because Joe
Because
Burrow is
what did
a
I
better
do? I
quarterback than
acknowledged
Jalen
that
Hurts.
Joe would be great with the Eagles. You need to acknowledge that
If
he
you're
would
telling
stay
me
with
he's a
the
star
Bengals.
quarterback,
You told me
He's clearly
you
not, 'cause
that's
Daniel
not
Jones
what
could
you
do his
said.
job.
I
Drew.
asked you.
What you said.
Whoa.
Your exact question. Let me talk. Your exact question was: if you put Jalen Hurts on the Bengals, will they be the same?
Yes.
Will they be 2 AFC Championship appearances, winning 1 AFC Championship, going to Super Bowl? I don't believe so. No. Will Jalen Hurts be great with the Bengals? Yes.
Jalen Hurts
he'll
can't beat
play
the Ravens.
well.
He can't beat Tyler Huntley.
He'll play
Can't
well.
beat fucking Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee.
He can't win out of division when Baltimore keeps losing their quarterback.
He gets sacked 9 times and still win a game.
He won't get sacked 9 times. He won't. Jalen Hurts won't get sacked 9 times. Jalen Hurts won't. First of all, so you mean to tell me if Jalen Hurts goes to the Cincinnati, he can't win a division?
It was a hypothetical. I just wanted you to say yes.
He can't win that division?
But I knew you weren't.
What do you mean? Because what Joe Burrow did was so historically great. I don't know why people are so astonished by what they question what he did. Joe Burrow was amazing.
All about Burrow.
Joe Burrow in his second year, he came back from a torn up knee. The worst offensive line in football. Went up against the top pass rushes in football and beat them.
Do we have to
and
talk
went
about
to the
Jalen
Super
Hurts'
Bowl.
story?
Jalen Hurts' story is amazing. We know it's amazing, but he didn't start having that success until they got A.J. Brown in there. Joe Burrow was
until his second year starting.
Joe
oh my
Burrow
God,
was on his way to having one of the best rookie seasons by a quarterback ever with just T. Higgins, with no Jamar Chase. He was already on his way before he tore his knee up. Joe Burrow is objectively a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. So that's why with what Joe Burrow is doing with the Bengals, he is raising their floor and ceiling. Joe Burrow all around. I never said Jalen Hurts wouldn't be great with the Bengals. I think he'd be a phenomenal quarterback with the Bengals. But we talking about,
are they making an AFC championship?
Maybe eventually. I don't know if it would happen this past season.
Jalen
Hurts would be great still. I'm not doubting what he can do as a football player. I don't believe he's a system guy like I do Brock Purdy. I think Jalen Hurts is above that. I always call Jalen Hurts is a star quarterback. But Joe Burrow with the Eagles, I mean, we're talking about the most stacked roster in the NFL. We're gonna do our power rankings on this show. We're not gonna get through all of it today, but I could guarantee you, all of us are going to have the Eagles number 1 or number 2 as best rosters in the NFL.
That's also in due part to Jalen Hurts.
That's in due part to the fact they had the most fucking Pro Bowlers in the league.
Yeah. And also Jalen Hurts is the running game. Joe Burrow, whatever. So boom, you said that Jalen Hurts had a stacked roster in year 3, and that Joe Burrow had to do this historical stuff. Year 2, didn't Joe Burrow get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and then he had Tyler?
He just had Jamar Chase. That was the addition to the offense.
Yeah, so but
not just.
And then in year 3, Jalen Hurts just got A.J. Brown, and then you saw the offensive explosion increase with also Jalen Hurts improving his game. The same thing with Joe Burrow. You saw when Jamar Chase got there, the offensive explosion increased. It's the same process. Jalen Hurts is the run game for the Eagles. That the offensive line is beautiful. Nobody's disputing that. But the run game goes as where Jalen Hurts goes.
Jalen Hurts said 1,300 yards.
Jalen Hurts is the passing game. He is the one who's improved his game every single year. He's improved his mechanics. He's improved his. But he's the run game and the passing game. He does pretty much everything on that offense for them. You cannot sit here and say if you switch them, then the Bengals just wouldn't be this great. No, Jalen Hurts will still be just as great with the Bengals. He's gonna have Jamar, T. Higgins, and literally Tyler Boyd. He may not be as the same in the rushing game, but he will be even better in the passing game probably.
So now with Jalen Hurts being the passing and the rushing offense, Joe Burrow passed for more yards than Jalen Hurts both combined for as a passer and a rusher. You know that Joe Burrow's passing touchdowns alone at 39 was more than Jalen Hurts as a rusher and a passer. So even with the combination of him doing both, Joe Burrow was better just in that one aspect.
I've never said Joe Burrow wasn't better.
But it's more complicated than just passing, rushing equals this.
I mean, of course.
Joe Burrow can read the field better than Jalen Hurts. He's more accurate than Jalen Hurts.
But I didn't say. Okay, I'm not saying Joe Burrow is not better than Hurts.
I'm with you.
Joe Burrow is 100% better than Hurts.
But not as accurate as Burrow.
And me and you are on the same page where, of course, the Bengals won't be as great with Joe Burrow because that team is built for him, but they're still going to be great. My problem is...
I never said that, though. I never said they wouldn't be great.
No. I'm saying as great as with Joe Burrow. They wouldn't be as great with Joe Burrow. They might be a little bit less. But no, my problem...
I need people to understand this context because revisionist history is such a tricky road to walk down because the Bengals in 2020, when Joe Burrow got hurt, they won a total of 4 or 5 games, I believe. Going into that 2021 season, with Joe Burrow's knee being torn up and him healing from that, even with the addition of Jamar Chase, everybody had the Bengals finishing last in that division. Everybody had the Bengals winning at most 4 or 5 games. And they made the Super Bowl.
That's fire.
Joe Burrow, and this is why it irks me. Because we always talk about, if we put any quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in Burrow's situation, they can do the same thing. Joe Burrow is the first quarterback in NFL history selected number 1 overall to make the Super Bowl in his second season.
Can I ask you a question?
Joe Burrow,
were the Eagles supposed to go to the Super Bowl this year?
This season,
Prior to the season
this
starting?
past season,
Prior to the season starting?
I don't think so.
No. Not a chance in hell.
Check the betting odds. Check it.
My whole problem is you're
Because
trying to
the
put dudes
angle-
like Daniel Jones in that position and say they would do the same thing.
No, I never said they go. Listen, Daniel Jones, I think, can have success with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts
It wouldn't
lifts
be the
that
same
offense.
type of success.
It wouldn't be the same.
And that's the
but
whole
I think
issue.
they could still win a bunch of games because the roster is stacked top to bottom. But what I'm saying about Joe Burrow is that Joe Burrow, we did this stat the other day. In 50 years of their existence before Burrow, the Bengals have a total of 5 playoff wins. Joe Burrow already has 5 playoff wins in his first 3 seasons.
That's fire.
So to act like just any quarterback, well, Hurts is not just any quarterback.
Are you ready?
But to act like these top 10, just act like
you ready?
quarterbacks that are below Joe Burrow would just come into the situation and do what he did is just false. It's just false.
Are you ready?
But I think to act like quarterbacks can just go in the Jalen Hurts situation and win 14 games and go to the Super Bowl
Put up
is
400
just
yards
and put
in
up
the
like
Super
it's just
Bowl,
crazy to me
3
too.
touchdowns.
And to lead to be the engine of the rushing game and that's just crazy to me too. Like you were talking about guys that just can't. They don't. Kirk Cousins doesn't even have the same attributes as Jalen Hurts to even do what he can do. Same thing with Jared Goff.
The offense will be different. But
I agree. That's
this
the
is-
problem.
this is
They
my
won't
thing-
win
this is my
14
thing, Rick.
games.
The Vikings just won 13 games.
And we knew
Kirk
that was an
Cousins,
we all
anomaly.
knew it was
We knew that was
Okay,
an anomaly.
but he was comeback king last year. Had the most fourth quarter comebacks in the NFL last year. I think in history he had the most fourth quarter comebacks last year. In a bit.
Blowing teams
No,
up.
smart.
Kirk
I wouldn't want to
Cousins-
hear this either.
Kirk Cousins with the Eagles, yeah, they play differently. But if you give him an elite offensive line, you give him A.J. Brown, you give him Devontae Smith, you give him a great defense. I mean, I think they're still winning 12
I
plus
don't
games.
know why
I
this
don't
shit's
think
necessary. Like you're just doing this just to belittle Jalen Hurts. You're just saying they have a stock
listen. I think
team.
Jalen Hurts is phenomenal. He's
But you
great.
can't. My thing is, you can't think like and maybe football is a little different. You can't think somebody is just primetime superstar guy, but saying you throw 13 other guys in that situation and it can be the same thing.
Jalen, the Eagles could be a great situation, and Jalen Hurts could still be a superstar. Like
The
you
Niners
don't
is
have
a
to
great-
sit here and be like X, Y, and Z quarterback. Like who the fuck cares? The Eagles just paid him like a franchise quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback. He's going to be an MVP candidate. They're going to be Super Bowl contenders every single year he's there. So who the fuck cares if just because their roster is great? Since Howie Roseman is good at his job, we should bring down Jalen Hurts. What Joe Burrow did in Cincinnati is amazing, but also Cincinnati was able to figure shit out. They got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They didn't have that type of duo with the fucking Carson Palmer years. They have his consistently a top 10 defense year after year. They didn't have that for the Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton years. So
Yeah, they did.
Well, with Lou
top
too,
defense?
with Lou too,
The Bengals had a
with
top
his
5
ability
defense,
to change
top 5
shit.
defense 50% of the time with Andy Dalton. The Bengals had an elite defense with Andy Dalton.
But
That's
Andy
that's
Dalton
false.
wasn't good though. He wasn't that good.
That's false. And they had AJ Green, who was a top 5 wide receiver at the time, and they had a lot of weapons too.
And they didn't have
Palmer
AJ Green
had,
plus
Palmer had
a top
Ocho
10,
and
15
T.O.
guy.
for a season, right? Am I wrong?
A season.
Yeah, that was
but
when they was
wasn't even
already
T.O.
past it.
though.
But it was they had Ocho Cinco, they had TJ Hushmanzada.
Palmer had
who was-
Ocho for a while,
TJ
fact.
Hushmanzada was an amazing
Underrated.
receiver when
I'm
he
stat
played.
watching, but Mixon had 1,200 yards and 13 TDs that year.
This past Joe
year,
Mixon,
that year.
what season?
The year they went to the Super Bowl.
Wait, Joe Mixon, yeah. Joe Mixon is a good running back.
He was
We
great
always
stat
2
watching.
years ago,
But
for sure.
this past
No,
season,
it's not
Joe,
stat watching, bro. He was elite rusher
but
that
this
year.
past season, Joe Mixon took a steep decline in all
Jamar
his
had
efficiency.
1,400 yards,
He set the
13
rookie
TDs
record
that year.
for-
T had 1,000. Boyd had 800. CJ had 500.
But that's the thing. We look at that.
Let's give credit to Joe Burrow. Led the league
for
in
sure.
completion percentage
Yeah, like
that
we
year
look
as
at
well.
that. I look at that, and you tell me all those stats, and yeah, those are phenomenally great. I'm never gonna say that Jamar Chase doesn't help Joe Burrow,
Oh,
or T.
no, of
Higgins
course,
doesn't help
of
Joe
course.
Burrow, or Mixon doesn't. They all help each other. But Joe Burrow is able to make the game easier for all those receivers.
And you could say the
and
same
Joe
thing about
Mixon.
Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts with
I
the
can say
Eagles.
the same thing for Jalen
All
Hurts.
right.
I think Jalen Hurts made the game easier for Miles Sanders and their 3-headed rushing attack. I think he'll make the game easier for them this upcoming season. My only knock on Jalen Hurts all of last season was that the competition he faced throughout the regular season wasn't enough for me to just all buy into him. It wasn't until the Super Bowl where I seen, okay, he plays so remarkably great. I gotta just put my stuff down and be like, listen, he's phenomenal. Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback. But with that being said, do I think that he could go into the Bengals situation with no offensive line, a defense that's not as highly ranked as that defense, and make it to the Super Bowl in the
Defense
second year
that's
starting? I
limited.
don't
the
think so.
defense frauds.
Bro, the defense that's limited Kansas City like no other team before.
Rumo, man. Yeah, you're right.
But when I said it, it's like, oh, well, they had a great defense under Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton there. They did have a good defense a couple of years.
They had a great defense.
So also prior to the season starting, there were 5 NFC teams with better Super Bowl odds than The Philadelphia Eagles.
5?
5.
Who's the 5?
So they were
It was
borderline playoff team.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Los Angeles Rams,
The Packers.
the Niners, the Packers, correct, and the Cowboys.
So
Cowboys.
They
were
weren't even
to be
supposed to win the
They're
division.
supposed to be a borderline wild card team.
Nuts. Well, look at them now. Stupid.
But listen, that's a testament to the type of leap that Jalen Hurts took. But if I'm not mistaken, and Riv, you can be a testament to this, 2 years ago, when the Eagles were projected to win 4 games, I was the one telling Riv the Eagles going to be good this year.
I see what you're doing here. Trying to get your get back. You did.
I thought I never knew Jalen Hurts was going to take this type of leap into a true Pro Bowl, All-Pro caliber quarterback, but I knew he'll be good. The playoff game versus Tampa didn't give me any confidence that he'll turn that around. But Jalen Hurts turned himself around. Now, even with the lack of competition that I thought their schedule faced last year, he's still phenomenally great. I like I said, though, I still do think that if you put other quarterbacks in those situations, they can find that type of team success. Because coming into the year last year, Jalen Hurts wasn't viewed as a top 10 guy, as a top 12, 14, 15 guy. There were still a lot of question marks, similar to how there's question marks around Justin Fields. But this offseason, there's been more benefit of the doubt for Justin Fields than there was for Jalen Hurts last year. Jalen Hurts excelled in almost everything. He got better. And I'm not counting on him to regress, because I think Jalen Hurts has a type of it factor that he'll keep working hard and he'll keep getting better. So I'm not knocking Jalen Hurts for nothing he's doing. He's a great quarterback. But I do think that other quarterbacks, even if they're good to great quarterbacks, can be with the Eagles and they can have a lot of success because the team is stacked. That's not to it's different situations than Brock Purdy and Hurts.
But that's still knocking him to a degree. Jared Goff was already with a super team, and they got to the Super Bowl, but he was obviously the limitation. Like that's Daniel Jones had 2 good year out of 4? People were still doubting him coming up to this year. So that's still saying that many quarterbacks is still doubting Jalen Hurts to a degree, because you're basically saying, yeah, Jalen Hurts is good, but these guys can still make this team great. And I think that's downgrading what Jalen Hurts does.
That's fair.
There's only 2 years from 2004 to 2020 that the defense, in terms of points allowed, was better than this past year. But they had some good years.
How many?
You really looked
No, I understand being
like
petty.
5 good
I
years.
understand.
No, but with
he's a
Andy
Ravens
Dalton,
guy.
the Bengals defense was great.
Yeah,
It
from
was.
2004, and there was like 5 really good years.
Yeah, but it never.
That's firm. 5 years is a lot.
yeah, 5 out of what?
16 years.
That might not be a lot.
16 years with Carson Palmer
No,
and
I
Andy
said
Dalton.
yeah, from 2004 on. Palmer came in 2004 to 2020. Burrow got there in 2020.
Yeah, and even with those great years, the Bengals offense always had those weapons, even with Carson Palmer, even if the defense wasn't astoundingly great. And what metric are you using?
I'm just looking very broad points allowed.
No, because you're saying points allowed, there was only 5 times where it was better than this past year with the Bengals.
Well, no, it was only 2 years.
But how many
Bengals,
times was the defense a good to
It
great
was top
defense?
10 5 years.
Top 10, and how many times was it top 15? Because the Bengals, the year they went to the Super Bowl, they were in the top 15 defense, I believe.
Honestly, it was either like they're top 10 or they're like fucking in the 20s. You got, hold on, let me find the year.
Because the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, they were
21,
in top
22,
15.
17, 24, 19, 6, 24. Then they went in 3-year stretches of 9, 8, 5, 12, 2, 8, 16, 30,
What
25,
years were
22.
9, 8, 5, if you don't mind me asking?
2013 to 2011, they lost in the wild card every year.
Yeah, they didn't win a playoff game.
They were losing a lot.
But no, they had some good defenses.
Like
for
the
sure.
Bengals, when they went to the Super Bowl, was the 17th ranked defense.
Yeah. Well, to start the year, if I remember correctly, they were pretty terrible, and then second half they kind of kicked it up. In the playoffs, they were great too.
But with Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer, they had teams that could make it.
Yeah.
With Carson Palmer, one year was unfortunate. He tore his ACL against the Steelers. With Dalton, there were moments like the Vontaze Burfict moment where he hit a Steeler, I think it was AB,
That's when
right?
he popped
AB.
it. That
Yeah.
changed AB's trajectory,
And they
unfortunately.
lost that playoff game because of that. They were going to win. But even with those great rosters that they've had in the past, they've only amounted 5 playoff wins in the last 50 years.
I know. Listen, that's
Burrow
not-
got that
nothing
already.
against
They were
Joe
always
Burrow.
looked at as frauds.
I just
though.
want you
Those
to-
were
I
a lot
just
of
want you to
wild-
respect
Listen, it was
Jalen
nothing
Hurts.
against Burrow because, again, like I said, if he would go to the Eagles, he would find himself a ton of success.
I think if Joe Burrow
all
goes
I
to the
was
Eagles,
doing was
they win.
crediting Hurts. They win.
The Super Bowl, yeah.
They win this year against Mahomes.
Why didn't they
Yes.
beat the fucking Rams if he's that great?
You're telling me that Joe Burrow.
Jalen Hurts was fucking godly.
We've
What
had
more do you want to
we
do?
had conversations about this. Joe Burrow does not have a playoff game the way that Jalen Hurts has against Kansas
not
City.
one.
But the
not
combination of all Joe Burrow's playoff games are better than Jalen Hurts' playoff games.
Well,
That
that's
doesn't
not
matter.
the
Joe Burrow.
But you're
does not have
saying
one
that if
game
you
won
want
in
a
that
Super Bowl,
if you want to have Jalen Hurts Super Bowl game, number 1, okay, but then number 2, 3, 4, 5 are all Joe Burrow.
but
That's
you
what Gabe's
just
been talking about
you
right now.
literally just told me he would have won the Super Bowl.
So we
yeah,
have
I
to
do
go about
believe
that.
so.
There's not a single
That's a
game in
bad
Joe
game.
Burrow's
More
life
precise,
that's
no.
better than that
For
Jalen Hurts
sure.
game. Not a single
For
game Joe
sure.
Burrow's ever played that's better than that Super Bowl game.
Joe,
you don't think
Jalen
he-
Hurts,
Very few
LSU?
quarterbacks
You
in
don't
the
think national
history of the
championship was
game
like
have
that?
a good
I'm not
a
talking
game
about
as good
college.
as
I'm
that
talking
one.
about just in
Jalen Hurts
NFL.
has been in 4 career playoff games, and one was before the breakout, and the other one was when they were up 30 against the Giants and
You know, Joe
30
Burrow's
against the
had like
Niners.
2 to 3 400 plus touchdown, 400 plus yard games with 3
In
to
the
4
playoffs?
touchdowns.
I'm talking about the
No, I'm talking
playoffs.
about just games.
Yeah, I
in
don't
general.
care about the
He's
regular
had those
season.
games
I'm talking
in
about the
general.
playoffs. Where
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts did shit that not very few quarterbacks have done. And you just said,
No,
yeah,
Riv,
if you plug
Riv,
Joe Burrow,
you forget they tried to stop the run, so they just let Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
do
and
what
then he
wants.
just
Forget-
carved them up, you know.
because they went to the game plan saying we're going to let them score 35. We're going to let Jalen Hurts complete 70%
think
of
Burrow
passes.
would have did that.
Oh, I don't know.
They still would have won, but they won.
The Chiefs let them do that.
Do you
Don't
remember
forget.
that Mickey Mouse 75-yard touchdown against the Rams? That
Oh, you mean when Tyler Hurley
that-
dove in
no,
like
that
this?
no, bro. I'm talking about against the
Super Bowl.
Rams when T. Higgins egregiously interfered with Jalen Ramsey, grabbing his
Burrow would
face
have
mask.
put up 140 yards in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, so we're
Shout
just
out Joe
taking
Burrow,
plays
man.
away. So
No,
we're gonna
I'm
take.
not. I'm not.
Hey, Joe Burrow.
So we're
I'm not,
taking
bro.
plays
You're great,
away.
man.
Legend. I'm
You're
just
a
saying.
legend.
Here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about Mickey Mouse plays. I just want to make sure we're understanding
It's
that he
funny
got
how
75
in these-
extra yards and a touchdown. I believe that was the only touchdown he threw the game.
It's
Oh,
funny in
he
these
didn't throw more than one?
discussions. It's funny in these discussions we never use context as
He
to
actually
like
threw 2
the,
interceptions that game. I looked it up. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. That's really
In the
cool.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Wow.
Joe Burrow
Not-
threw 2 interceptions.
In the Super Bowl?
Oh
Actually,
no,
didn't.
I'm looking at the Kansas game. That was the one we just lost. That one, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You mean the one where Chris Jones was in
Yeah,
his face
that
all game?
one. Yeah.
You know how many times has Jalen Hurts been pressured the way Joe Burrow was pressured just in one playoff game in his
He's too
entire
good to
Eagles
get
career?
pressured.
No, he's not. It's just that he has too good of an offensive line.
He also has
You
legs
know it.
that can move, you know, so that would help.
Yeah, but if a guy's right in front of your face, coming in the middle in the interior, taking out your center,
Coming right
there's
in
not
your
much you
what
can
now?
do.
Oh, he was going crazy.
If Chris Jones dominated that game, that's a you tip your hat
No, he
to a
did get
great
sacked
player.
7 times.
Yeah, because they could not protect, and it wasn't
Hate that
sacks.
for him.
It wasn't sacks where you look at it and you say, "Wow, Burrow is holding on to the ball."
Nah.
It's sacks where you say
right.
Joe Burrow did not even have a chance to read his first read, to let a route develop. So I love how we just leave those context stuff out
Absolutely.
for Joe Burrow.
Sounds like Trey Lance week 1 of the preseason.
You need help.
Oh, get out of here, Dehls.
need help.
Well, to be fair, Kansas sacked Hurts twice. Kansas City.
You have Jason Kelsey versus Chris Jones as opposed to who? Alex Kappa?
No. I was just saying he
Alex
got
Cap
sacked
isn't
twice.
bad.
Alex Kappa's not
He got sacked
Jason
twice.
Kelsey.
He's absolutely not
Yeah,
Jason
yeah. I
Kelsey.
mean, listen, we're talking about he sacked Jalen Hurts twice, but the offensive lines in front of both quarterbacks are completely different.
Maybe it just didn't matter because just how great Chris Jones is.
Jalen Hurts has 5 Pro Bowlers on his offensive
And can't
line.
Chris Jones beat all of them? Sacked
Yeah,
him twice.
he's one of the ones for sure.
Yeah, Chris Jones. Yeah, that's
So if
why.
Chris Jones can beat the Pro Bowlers, of course he's going to beat
Chris
Alex
Jones
Kappa.
beating anybody. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Good
listen,
point, Riv.
Chris Jones is phenomenally great. That's why last
Listen,
year,
Brody, 71% completion rate.
4 touchdowns,
Yes.
300 plus.
No, bro,
300
but
yards.
bro, the rushing touchdowns were at like the 1 yard line.
Ah,
That's
who
really
cares?
not that.
that was
impressive.
Mickey Mouse touchdowns. Honestly, there was.
Hilarious.
That was Mickey Mouse touchdowns.
How'd they get to the
A
one?
QB sneak.
How'd they get
the
to the
rushing
one?
game? You know, shit. It's
funny
How
coming
many
from,
yards did Miles Sanders have? Who led the team in rushing?
Probably this guy, you know. It's just funny saying Mickey Mouse coming from a guy who his team always wins a Mickey Mouse division, you know. If Lamar is ever healthy at one point, do the Bengals even win the division? You know,
AFC North is a Mickey Mouse division now.
No, he's saying that they've won in a Mickey Mouse fashion.
Lamar has got hurt.
because
the
Lamar
last 2
has
years
left
they've
the,
been first place.
You know,
Got better.
Johnny gets lucky all the time, but you know.
Interesting way to look at that,
Who
Riv.
am I? You know,
Riv,
who
that is-
am I? you
Wasn't
know?
Dak Prescott injured this past season? He missed like
Eagles-
Didn't
Weren't
they?
the Eagles
Were they?
the one seed?
Wait.
The Eagles won
Wasn't the
14
Cowboys rooting for Cooper Rush and actually wanted him to play over Dak?
Yo, you know
So
what?
it
now
actually
that-
didn't
games.
matter.
They won games,
Wow,
but they
that's-
lost.
Oh, so
with
they
Cooper
still
Rush
won
too.
games.
Their
Does
last 2
Baltimore
they
win
lost
games
with
without
Cooper
Lamar?
Rush.
Not often.
Oh, okay. Didn't
But
Joe?
they're-
Oh, okay. Didn't Joe almost lose the top? You know what? Let me stop.
Cooper Rush, I believe, went 4-2 with the Cowboys. Or I mean, it would have been, I think, 3-2.
Yeah, a
something
lot better
like
than
that.
we expected.
It was something like that. But if Dak Prescott's in those games, you could
They
say
go 6-0?
They go
They go
undefeated.
6-0.
Yes, they do. Because one of those games was versus the Eagles.
They would have lost.
One of the games, Cooper Rush when they faced the Eagles. I mean, Dak Prescott's in there. They beat them.
Dak almost
No
lost to
doubt.
Gardner fucking Minshew. Stop.
But he beat him.
By a thin fucking
He
hair.
beat the defense.
It's because Gardner
He beat the
couldn't even.
defense.
We had a last play and Gardner couldn't get down the field. Gardner, Jalen Hurts would have.
You think
Stop
so?
it.
I don't think
I mean,
so.
Lamar would have won the
And
division.
I don't think so.
Hey, wait. So let me ask you a question. If Lamar plays
what's
that
the
playoff
playoff
game.
game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lamar
what's
plays
that
that
playoff
playoff game.
game?
Does Joe Burrow go back? Does he go play
That's
Buffalo?
another
Yes,
Mickey
he
Mouse
does.
win.
He does.
Fucking
Yes, he
Tyler
does.
Huntley.
Fuck that. If Tyler Huntley doesn't dive in like an idiot like this, do they win?
Probably not.
Mickey Mouse, huh? Mickey Mouse
rich.
career, if you ask
Bro
me.
loves talking about context, but never talks about context.
Mickey Mouse career.
I mean,
man.
I was the one here batting the drum at the table that Chris Jones was one of them ones, and you guys laughed at me.
wasn't here for
What do you
that.
mean
He
laugh?
was laughing at you.
When I told you that he was the best defensive player in football last season, you guys laughed. You guys told me no, he was not.
No, you're saying that you said he was the best defensive player. I said I'm gonna still take Aaron Donald.
He is the best
that
defensive
all right
player.
with you?
Last season, he was the best defensive player without a doubt.
Really? Because
Nick
Nick Bosa
Bosa?
won it.
No, Chris Jones was better. All respect to Nick Bosa. Chris
I'm
Jones
pretty sure
was better than him.
This isn't basketball, so when you win defensive player,
Like,
you're
low
definitely
key, low
the
key.
best.
That I'm with Riff here, bro.
It's but
You
to
think
be,
so?
To be
So
fair,
Jaren
usually-
Jackson is the best defensive player in basketball.
I just said, okay, I just said
did just
this
say it.
isn't
But
basketball.
award doesn't always mean you the
No,
best.
that's
though.
what
but
I
his
said.
words,
Yeah.
but 9 out of 10 times in the National Football League,
They get it pretty right.
they get it
But
almost
to
spot
be
on.
fair, usually if you lead the league in sacks, you have a high percentage
Yeah,
of
Chris
We're
winning.
Jones
splitting
plays
hairs. It's Nick
defensive
Bosa and
tackle.
Chris Jones.
Listen, Chris Jones is in a very small
we've
conversation
seen a
with
defensive
Micah
tackle win
and
Defensive Player of
Watt
the Year
and Bosa
multiple
and
times.
Donald.
Yeah,
like
they're
there's
all
like
elite.
5 guys that are just like on a tier above the rest.
I mean, ultimately, listen, I love when all three of you guys are against me. Because the last time you guys were against me, the Chiefs won a
lost.
Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
Oh,
Chiefs
oh.
won a Super Bowl.
I'm
The
just
last time
add 'em
all
all.
three of you guys were against me, I was right about the Chiefs
Wrong
being
about
the
Dallas.
Bengals and the Eagles.
He was wrong about Zach Wilson.
About Zach Wilson that's a biased pick. You know, that's not a real take pick. That's a biased pick.
Oh, my
Take
God.
it over
Yeah.
a pick.
Oh, but
Bro.
then I say that about the Lakers
then when
winning
we-
65 games.
But when
I'm
we
an
pick the
idiot.
fucking Eagles, it's not
When I
biased.
picked Trey Lance,
No, we called you an
that's
idiot for
right.
saying Rick Carlisle was coach of the year. That's all we say.
I was a year too early, man.
I called you an idiot for saying
Rick Carlisle is
No,
a
we called you an
historic
idiot
coach.
for saying 65 wins.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
But you also didn't even
my
fully
point being
believe in that.
biased, right,
Yeah, you
about
didn't.
Lakers. That's what I'm saying. You guys didn't
He's
give me
nuts.
that pass.
Well, you,
no,
'cause
I
you
know.
was standing on it.
Of course I
you
did.
wasn't
I
on
love
no-
my
yeah.
guys.
You're nuts.
Year after
I
they
can't
make
wait
the
for this year,
WCF.
man.
You know,
Jalen, this is fucking
respect to
Jalen
Mahomes
Hurts
because
year.
he's the only Mickey Mouse quarterback you like. So respect
He's a
him.
Mickey Mouse
Only
quarterback.
No,
nine.
he's the only non-Mickey Mouse quarterback you like. You know, Kirk, Mickey.
Whoa,
Dak,
respect Kirk. Respect him.
Dak, hilarious. Funny. Joe Burrow. Okay,
Oh, you think so?
yeah, he's cool.
Oh, you want to really
Zach,
disrespect Joe Burrow?
fuck.
Where'd you put Joe Burrow in your top quarterbacks?
He's 2 for sure.
Okay.
I told you. If we,
2?
Yeah, yeah.
I was
better
waiting-
than
I was waiting
Josh?
for like
What did I
6.
say? I said before the game, I was like, if Buffalo loses today,
Yeah.
he's going down. No lower than 3 though. That other guy, the guy
I can,
you like,
if
is not
my
bad.
if my quarterback's Mickey Mouse, he's number 2. I'll take it all day because number 1 is the GOAT Mahomes. So if number 2 is basically number 1, it's pseudo number 1.
Well, number 2 won't win a ring, so it doesn't really matter.
You don't think so? I think.
Well, I
he
mean,
can
if the
win.
Bengals and the Eagles script, the Eagles
I mean,
will beat the
listen,
shit out of
when
Cincinnati.
you have, you think so?
Oh no, I know. Like I
That's
know.
the matchup we
Yeah,
need.
that's
No,
this
not-
no,
year.
that's
We
no.
not
need-
That's
we need
actually
Eagles
gonna get
Bengals.
bad for you.
No,
That's not
no,
happening.
no.
That's
would
gonna get
happen
bad for
because
you.
the pressure that they're getting
You
on Joe
scared of
Burrow
Chris
would be
Jones.
crazy.
Chris Jones provides more impact
Jalen
than all them
Carter,
motherfuckers
Jordan
combined.
Davis, Fletcher Cox,
Cox,
Brandon Graham,
Graham.
Hassan Reddick. You was scared of Chris Jones. You know what?
The issue is that they didn't get any pressure on Mahomes. That's
Yeah,
the issue.
Mahomes is him.
But the thing is, they're getting
Oh
pressure
no, we're
on
getting
Joe
there.
Burrow. Correct.
Alex
they're
Kaplan
getting
shit.
pressure
That
on.
shit,
Yeah.
the shit not moving me. We're getting there for sure.
Jonah Williams.
I pray to heaven, God, that the Bengals get to the Super
Maybe
Bowl
you
this
might
year.
get there, but Joe Burrow has shown before, even when you do get there, he'll win the game. He's
lost.
5-2
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
when he plays
He's
Tennessee.
5-2 in the playoffs.
And the
When he
two
plays
losses
the
to the
Raiders. When he plays
He has a
Derek
winning
Carr
record.
and
And
Ryan
they're 5-2 in the
Tannehill.
playoffs.
Fucking Derek- I
What do you
don't
mean,
care
Derek
about
Carr and
that.
the Raiders? You mean the team that you thought was gonna beat them?
Yeah.
Did Derek Carr play that
so
game?
you can say all them
Hey,
teams,
you
but
thought
all
they were going to beat him
win.
too.
With the Raiders game?
Yes.
The Raiders. I switched my tone with the Tennessee Titans though. He picked.
I'm
he
just
picked-
saying, don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
He picked. No. He picked
Good
against the
save.
Bengals for both.
He was cooked.
For both, he picked against the Bengals.
You did. You definitely did.
He didn't want to see the Bengals win.
Hey,
He's a Ravens
For all
guy.
three,
I was
actually.
again. Super Bowl finally got it right.
Bro did a meet with Boston.
Just we gonna keep going.
We just
Gonna
keep going to this shit go. I get it though.
Listen, but I love it that you guys are all against me because ultimately my stock up guy, we talked about it a little earlier, is Jordan Love.
Okay.
And Jordan Love,
This was the actual
I mean,
topic.
I-
Yeah, we finally got to it almost.
Finally got to the show.
see, I don't know if, I know Drew, this guy's wishy-washy.
He's
wants,
right. No, he's right.
He wants to now be he wanted to be on a Jordan Love train. It was taken off.
Yeah.
Then
we made our money. We made our money in Mojo.
Then he ripped apart his ticket. He got off the stop.
He's right.
And now he wants to take another train when mine is already far ahead of his, and we know it's going to keep on going full speed.
What do we mean
black.
by this?
Because you taking Sam Howell. You know that Jordan Love is better than Sam Howell. Let's be real about this. Now, Jordan Love's stock up is up. Stock is up right now. Jordan Love in the preseason, man. I mean, I understand it's just a preseason, but all of training camp, he's been good. He's been limiting his interceptions.
I've been hearing inconsistent.
Yeah, I have not been hearing that from the big reporters I've been following. But versus in joint practices versus other teams, he's been good. There was one against the Patriots, the second practice, where the defense had their offense figured out. The Patriots are going to be a great defense this upcoming season. No, so for me, I don't take too much away from that. But then in the preseason, Jordan Love is picking apart the Patriots defense. I mean, with swiftness, he's making he's making throws to the middle of the field. The way the ball comes out of Jordan Love's hands is special. He really has a cannon for an arm. The power, the velocity he generates from his throws is remarkable. And I've waited through orgasmic. And I've waited 3 years.
You had a wet dream about it?
I've waited. Yes, I have. I showed Jess the other day a picture. A video of Jordan Love's throw, and I just told her, "Look at this."
With the ball in his hands.
Yes, with the ball in his hands, letting him rip, slow motion, letting it zipping on the line to Romeo Doubs. Jordan Love, looking at him play now, you can tell that he's been improving. The Packers feel like Jordan Love is ready. That's why they made the call to trade Aaron Rodgers, and I think Jordan Love is going to be very good in his first season in the NFL.
Top 10, right?
I've waited. He's going to be eventually one day a top 10 quarterback. I think he'll have a great season, though. I think after this year, we're not going to have questions about Jordan Love being the quarterback for the Packers moving forward.
I hope not. They have to pay him.
Listen,
you better be as bad to get a top pick either.
Listen, stop lying, Dehls. I know you don't hope not. I know that you hope that he fails and he falls.
I don't want
because I know
fail.
that you don't like Jordan Love like that.
I don't want anyone to fail.
Stop pretending in my face.
I don't root for
Stop
failure.
pretending in my face.
That's not who I am.
Jordan Love is going to be good. And I can't wait because I've waited 3 years for this moment. I've waited 3 fucking years for this moment.
It's in your hand?
So I see it. Oh my God.
It's right in front of him, bro.
I cannot wait until week 1 when they beat the Bears. Jordan Love has a good game.
Justin Fields
They're going to beat the Bears. Oh, you think
1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah. Justin Fields going to have a better year this year.
Listen, he's like top 5 in MVP.
The Justin Fields love lately has been coming on to me. You know
welcome to the party. I can't. You talk about you've been waiting for 3 years, man.
Nah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for the Bears season.
I'm excited, man.
I'm excited too. I think Justin Fields.
You know what? I figure I'll go next about my stock up because ironically, it's Sam Howell, the guy who we made a bet early on in this show already. We're an hour in. I don't know how long ago that was. That being said, Sam Howell, of course, stock's going up against the Ravens. 19 for 25, 205 total yards, 2 touchdowns, 123.4 passer rating. This preseason so far, 75, basically 76% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns. He's been awesome, and they named him QB1. There's a vote of confidence now with Sam Howell. Stock's going up. And with Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, who I believe will have a breakout season, absolutely. It's also Curtis Samuel. We have Antonio Gibson, who's great in the receiving aspect of being a running back as well. Eric Bieniemy being in charge of the offense. Sam Howell's price is only going to go up.
I like that. Mine is there's a couple backup quarterbacks I really like that I've been paying attention to. You have one that has a chance to start at some point in this season, one that doesn't. Dorian Thompson-Robinson of the Browns. He's going to be the backup. We know Deshaun Watson's there, but what he's been doing, he's the one that doesn't have the chance. But the one that is promising,
bringing him up
Aiden O'Connell of the Raiders. I know they signed Jimmy G. They gave him a decent contract, but what he's shown in the preseason is this is basically what Jimmy G does, except you're not going to pay him 90% less. He's been spectacular so far this preseason. This last game against the Rams, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 128, completing 70% of his passes through those first 2 games. I'm not saying that it's going to be his job, but at some point in the season, it's going to be his job, whether Jimmy G goes down to injury because, we want him to stay healthy, but he misses games every year, or the play just isn't there, or neither of those two. The Raiders just suck, which I think all of us are projecting. They want to see what the rookie has. So those 2 young quarterbacks have really shown me something this preseason.
Let me ask you, bro. Stock up, Brock Purdy?
Stock never dropped.
It never dropped, but I feel like it's
stock. He's going to throw 30 touchdowns.
Stock up,
30.
You think so?
He threw 2 a game every single game.
He's going to throw 30 touchdowns this year.
13 touchdowns in 9 games.
You want to bet on that?
I don't. Okay. I'm not that confident.
25's comp.
25 for 20. 20
No,
easily.
25. 20 for sure.
Yeah, I think he'll. 30 is definitely, Debo's, as long as Debo's healthy.
That's his ceiling. 30.
Kittle's
That's not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
CMC is gonna have another great year. As long as because you got a couple guys in there that's a little injury prone sometimes. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as they're healthy.
Shit, Brock got hurt last year.
Who's your stock up, Riff?
My stock up is some guy in New Orleans, man. Now Alvin Kamara's gonna miss some time.
Missed 3 games.
The backfield is a little crowded. Watching the game, I'll be honest, this one play moved me. It was a wheel route.
That shit was
Kendrick Miller
tough.
moved the shit out of me. I seen the video, had to go see what this guy is talking about. I like him. He wasn't efficient on the ground, but just his athleticism was obvious. Him in the pass catching could be good. And that's what they like out there because he kind of reminds me a little bit of Alvin Kamara in that sense. So I think with the backfield being a little crowded, Kamara missing some time, they're going to rely a lot on these other guys. And I think Kendrick can come in. He can be the bright spot that kind of jumps out in the backfield. So I think he's one of those guys for me because I think with the Saints, they need an injection of youth. Their roster's a little bit on the age side, so they're going to need to find some young talent. And they already have Chris Olave at the wide receiver spot, so they're going to need eventually a running back. Kamara's 28. He's getting up there in that age, and Kendrick Miller could be that one guy.
Another stock up sleeper name, Juwan Johnson, tight end. Derek Carr and him have had a very strong connection in camp so far. He seems to be one of his favorite targets. Obviously, Olave is going to be the guy in that offense, but Juwan, someone to look out for.
Stock down. I got Marcus Mariota, just because he played bad with the Eagles against the Browns in the preseason game. It's over for Mariota. He just got benched. Right now, he's fighting for a backup quarterback position, and I don't think he's good enough to be a backup. He's just too erratic, too injury. He's too turnover prone, and he's injury prone as well.
For sure.
So for me, I just stock down as Marcus Mariota, but I wanted to give a shout out to another honorable mention stock up, and I have 2. It's hard to pick between these 2. But
My brother Jalen Hyatt.
I'm going to go with the one that I pick. It's Tank Bigsby.
Oh, yep.
It's
Tough.
Tank Bigsby. He's the stock up guy. I think
I
the
saw Peterson
Jaguars
say that he's going to get more opportunity as the season goes on.
I think the Jaguars will have a 2-headed dragon in the running back position. It will be Etienne and Tank Bigsby. And Bigsby looks like the real deal. He looks amazing.
Yep, we got to remember that was really felt like an Urban Meyer pick, that Travis Etienne selection. Not that Travis Etienne will be the 1A, but with Doug Peterson there, it's not like he drafted him to be the bell cow workhorse guy. Bigsby will get some work. If I had another honorable mention for stock up, it's your guy, Javonte Williams.
Talk to me.
Torn ACL, LCL, PCL. This is basically the same injury J.K. Dobbins had last year. Yeah. We saw him try to come back at the beginning of the season. He didn't look right. Had to get another surgery to clean things up. He was out another 6 weeks and then kind of looked like himself, in November, December. Javonte came back in 10 months. It took J.K. like
that's
14,
legend.
15
legend
months.
Activity.
And not only is he back, but he's playing in preseason games. So this tells me he's damn near 100% ready to go. He'll be out there week 1. Picked up Samaje P. Ryan as well. Should be a 1A, 1B situation. Stock down. It's hard to take away a ton from the preseason, but if I had to pick one, I don't love what I'm seeing in Carolina so far. Week 1, listen,
He's
you're
really
going
doubling
up,
down.
You're going up against the Jets, defensive line that would. There are some guys on that Jets second unit that would star in some teams. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald. You got Bryce Huff there, Michael Clemens. There's some NFL starters who are going up. But when you're going up against those Panthers number 1s, they were destroying them. And in the second week, I thought the offensive line held up better. I know there's that clip going around of Kayvon Thibodeau just getting around the left tackle and getting Bryce. That's not what it was the entire game. But there was some times where Bryce looked a little indecisive, a little hesitant. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm sure things will be okay. But I had to pick a stock down. Don't love what I'm seeing through 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying, Rip. That's all I'm saying.
You better be safe around me.
I didn't like this.
Question before I tell you my stock up, my stock down.
Well, stock down. You already gave your stock up.
No, I had a sleeper stock up.
Oh, hot, bro.
Yeah, I
nice,
fucking
bro.
No, I do. Elijah Moore.
Mm-hmm. Stock up.
Yo,
okay.
You saw that play against Denzel Ward in practice?
Is that it happened today?
Well, it happened. I saw it yesterday. He had Denzel Ward covered him perfectly. Deshaun put it in. Elijah got it out.
He didn't take.
The catch was fire. But yes, Elijah could have a big year. He needs to.
Yeah.
Him, DPJ, Joku.
It's unfortunate, man, because DPJ had a solid season last year.
He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Elijah Moore's just better than DPJ.
That's up for debate. Here we go. Oh, question.
Respect that.
Here we go.
Is a stock down candidate Jerry Jeudy because of how bad Russell Wilson could look again. Asking you two, not you.
Sure.
You're gonna,
Anyone could be a stock down. It's you have
I'm not,
to make the
I'm not saying
make the
no,
argument.
I'm asking for you guys because Russell, we were very I think me and Joel, we were very adamant Russell didn't look too good, and then he kind of doubled down. So, it's a double question. This is more for this table.
You make the stock down argument.
No, I'm just
everyone.
asking.
I mean, listen, Jerry Judy's always been kind of overrated. So,
and you sent his little
if his
stats.
price is a little,
Too
I
high.
like it too much, I think it's stock down.
That's not my stock down guy. I was just asking.
curious.
My stock down guy is Trey Lance. Yeah. He got benched.
Hit him while he's down.
Yeah, he got benched again. Getting benched twice is nuts.
was never starting.
Getting benched for the number one guy is understandable. You're the number 2 guy. You walk into the preseason training camp. You're number 2. Fine. Getting benched again.
He got demoted.
For another guy. Please stop talking.
Stop trying to make it sound better, bro.
You can't get benched if you're
When you
already
were
benched.
when you were talking about Bryce
Let
Young,
him sound incorrect, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's just grammatically incorrect.
When you were
It's
talking about
bothering.
Bryce Young,
coping.
when you talk about Bryce Young, did I speak? I didn't say a word.
Is that grammatically incorrect?
Don't care. We're on the show. This is
saying.
not English class.
Just saying.
Who cares?
Dang.
We're here.
You can't get benched if you're benched.
Well, he got benched again, and it's funny because
He slid down the bench a little bit
got
more.
demoted.
yeah, okay, he got benched again because I feel like the QB2 guy, he stands up. He's next to the coach. He's on the sideline,
Sam Darnold.
standing
He
up,
got
getting
promoted.
ready. The third guy sits down. He
No, bro,
relaxes.
it's like when
Did
the
Sam
second.
did Sam Darnold get more benched?
No, you wanna
or
get-
less benched
here, you know
because
what
he's the
I'm-
2 spot
No,
now?
Sam actually got up.
Riv,
So he got less
He got
benched.
to the
Does that
second
make any
bench.
fucking
Riv,
sense?
He has
Riv,
to beat us.
Riv,
That's promoted and demoted.
Bro,
That's what I'm saying.
No, let me help him out. When the second unit was out there, let's say Trey Lance was in the game. Shanahan said, "Hey, Trey, take a seat, man. Sam, go ahead.
That's
You're with
nuts.
the second unit. He got benched again. Yeah. Sorry,
you're not
bro.
even with you're the third string. Who
Listen,
the fuck is
and
that?
This is a prime example of how numbers don't tell all because Trey Lance was 12 for 18, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Darnold was 11 for 14, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Kyle Shanahan said, Darnold,
No, Lance
you're
looked
better.
horrible.
Second game he was better. Wasn't great, but he was better.
I do think he needs a different scenario.
Guys played fucking
It's easy
4
to
games
improve.
in 3 years.
It's easy to improve from horrendous.
There's a lot of teams out there that could use him, or maybe
Think so?
Yeah,
The issue is he needs to get on the field, and if you're just gonna put Trey Lance as a backup, that's not it's not gonna help him.
You know what's the issue with Trey Lance right now? This is the biggest issue with his career. And it's unfortunate that it's this way. We know that if Trey Lance was healthy, he would have started the entire second season. And I thought that he would have been good enough to the point that he wouldn't have gotten benched or demoted like he is doing now. The issue with Trey Lance now is any team that's trading for him has to start him immediately or else. Because there is no way Trey Lance sits again. Is he going to go to Minnesota and back up Kirk Cousins for a year or two after he's already been sitting for 3 years?
Bro, Baker Mayfield sucks, and Kyle Trask is no joke, and Desmond Ritter is not that good.
You can say Trey Lance. You could say Baker's not good, but Trey Lance is not better than Baker.
I agree, but at the same time, the Bucs ain't gunning for shit.
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt to just say, "Hey, fuck it, maybe he's the guy." Yeah.
I think it can hurt because
Tampa?
Yes, it can hurt because Todd Bowles became the head coach there. If Todd Bowles doesn't get
Bowles is a
results,
sitting duck, with
he's
all due
going to get
respect.
fired. Yeah, but he doesn't view it that way. Todd Bowles wants to
guess.
win games,
Yeah.
and if he sees Trey Lance and
thinks-
Baker Mayfield and Baker Mayfield's better, he's not going to just put Trey
Baker
Lance out
Mayfield's
there to
better
lose.
by
I'll
like
be
a
honest.
small margin.
If
No, he's not.
If Todd Bowles
He's
wanted to
way
win
better than
games,
Trey
he shouldn't have gone to week 1 with Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield. You're not going to win a lot of games with them.
I feel like the gap between at least the one of the worst starting quarterbacks and one of the worst backups is pretty substantial.
What's the gap in wins though? It seems like 2 wins regardless. Like I still think the ceiling is 4 wins, 5 wins regardless.
I mean, but I'm just saying that I don't think it's realistic that the Bucs would just get Trey Lance. I think even the Falcons. I don't think
There's
the Falcons.
there's no spot. There's
Yeah,
no
there's no spot in the
team
NFL.
out there, barring injury, which could happen at some point, that
Yikes.
Trey Lance gets traded to and he's going to start week 1. There's no way.
Even the Titans, who their general manager is the old. I forgot
Niners.
what he used to be for the
Yeah.
Niners, but
Personnel.
their
or something.
GM used to work for the Niners. The Titans just doubled down on potential
Day 2
quarterbacks. They drafted Malik Willis last year, and they just drafted Will Levis. They aren't even going to gun for Trey Lance. So I think Trey Lance is in a position right now that the only way he can revive his career is if he goes and plays immediately. I don't think he can sit another year because I think it's just too much sitting.
He hasn't played football in 4 years. Like, he has not played consistent football since 2019, 2020, right? Or no, 2020 was his last year. Sat out 2019, excuse me. 2020 sat out.
This is the guy they traded for? Yeah.
He hasn't played consistent football back-to-back weeks, started finishing game in 4 years.
He did have 40 touchdowns, no INTs.
What
Shit
team?
was nuts.
That was fluky.
Mid-league?
North Dakota State, yeah.
Isn't that Wentz school?
Yes.
Wentz.
Nah, 48-0 is crazy.
I knew
It
that.
was
At
nuts.
that school, North Dakota State, in their conference, the FCS, they're the juggernauts of the conference.
They are.
So Carson Wentz won a championship with
He
them.
got Christian Watson drafted.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Christian Watson got himself drafted. Christian Watson was a fucking standout every game there.
He
Easton
was,
Stick,
bro. That tape was fire.
Yeah.
Easton Stick was there?
Easton Stick won a championship with that
Fire.
team too.
Hey, you win, man.
He was a 6th-round pick. You know, Trey Lance, that was always the issue with him, missing an entire college season and then sitting him 1 year. That was always the issue with him. And then
And you break your ankle.
I thought Mac Jones should have been the pick all along. Just saying.
Purdy's better than him.
Justin Fields should have been the pick.
Justin Fields should have been number 2.
For sure.
Purdy's better
Purdy
than him.
draft. Purdy's better than Mac.
Yes.
He should have been number 2 before the draft.
That's what I'm talking about, man. He's not better than Mac Jones.
He's 1,000% better than Mac Jones.
1,000.
Purdy. Maybe 1,000 would stretch. 45.
They're kind of the same guy.
No,
They
they're
are.
not. No, Mac Jones is way better.
My stock down. Ironically, you brought up Baker Mayfield. My stock down. Kyle Trask. This guy was supposed to be the succeeder of Tom Brady. Of Tom Brady, for sure. When Brady came in, Kyle Trask got drafted. He was supposed to be the protege to Brady, learn some things, pick up the offense. Baker Mayfield now takes his job. It's over. If you're a Buccaneers fan, you're hoping and praying that you lose enough games that Caleb Williams comes to town next year.
Jonathan Taylor is given permission to seek out a trade. And the betting odds, these are the top 5 teams. The Dolphins sit at plus 250, the Bears at plus 400, the Ravens at plus 700, the Broncos at plus 750, and the Cowboys at plus 750.
I read this report that the Dolphins don't have money for Jonathan Taylor.
It's tough, bro, because they're gonna have to pay Waddle eventually.
Tua
They're
too,
gonna
right?
have to pay Tua eventually. You
Unless
just
you do a
brought in
one-year
Jalen
rental.
Ramsey. That he's gonna cost you money unless you restructure there. Javon Holland's also someone that you're gonna have to pay top dollar. Christian Wilkins, another guy that you're gonna have to pay top dollar for. There's a lot of Bradley Chubb now gets into that equation that you're gonna have to give him some money as well, unless they gave him a contract when he signed. I'm blanking off the top of my head.
I could check. I don't.
But there's players that you're gonna have to pay, and it definitely gets pricey. However, Jonathan Taylor, trading for him makes a lot of sense for the sole fact that you have Mostert, you have Devon Achane, who you did draft, you have Jeff Wilson, guys that are injury prone. Devon Achane, I get it, he just got drafted, but he's already dealing with the injury himself. Jonathan Taylor, you bring this guy into your building, he changes how we look at this offense. This offense is already one of the best offenses in the game. Now you add the rushing aspect of things. Mike McDaniel, his strength. This offense becomes, on paper, in my opinion, the best offense I've seen in my lifetime.
It's up
I
there.
never thought I'd see an offense, talent-wise, better than the Killer Bees. I tweeted this out. With Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jonathan Taylor, Tua at the helm, it's special. This changes how you look at the Miami Dolphins.
You know what's
Bradley
even,
Chubb did sign 5 years.
Okay, I thought
110
so.
mil.
I
So
thought
the
so.
Dolphins 2023 have 13 mil in cap space, but 2024 they're already 32 million over.
You know what it looks? You know what looks just as special? Maybe not just as, but close to special. Josh Allen,
Bills.
Stephon Diggs, and JT. That's a
You're not going to give that up.
Huh?
Every running back that becomes available,
just
Rivers
like
at the forefront.
just like every
Bills.
opportunity you talk about Zach. You got to keep talking about it.
I respect this because anytime a quarterback became available for the Broncos, I'm like, yeah, we're going to get Kirk.
I do think.
Yeah, we gonna
Kirk
get
Cousins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Would have been great for you guys.
I do think, I looked at the spots. Chicago seems cool, but I like their running backfield right now. Herbert, Deontay, they just drafted Roshan.
Bro, you're not a James Cook guy?
Huh?
James Cook, bro. You said Bills. You're not a James Cook guy?
I am, but I think he's better in the pass catching department as opposed to in the run
He
game.
averaged over 5 yards a carry last.
He's good, but he's not like a workhorse,
That's what they say, bro. But wait till he gets to work.
No, he's good. I like him. Don't worry. I
right,
really
just
do like
James Cook is definitely someone I'm rising on.
He's
I'm glad you've seen the light, bro.
I'm definitely.
glad you've seen the
rising on
light.
James.
You don't care
James
about
Cook
the
is cool.
190-pound thing?
He's almost 200 now.
Yeah, it's just the work he's been getting with the ones in the preseason has moved me. He's
Cook
been
is
getting
good.
almost all of the work.
I like Cook.
He's
man.
definitely.
Damian Harris is hurt too, and at this point, fuck it, James Cook.
I
Go.
think Chicago and Washington seem intriguing for me. Chicago, because you can probably build the greatest running room ever if you have
Chicago's
Fields.
on my list.
You have Fields, you have JT, you have
Roshan
Roshan,
Johnson.
Herbert, Deontay Foreman. That's probably the greatest running room of all time,
Listen,
bro.
all those other guys are great. JT's getting 80%.
Oh no, for sure. But
Roshan?
I think Washington.
Roshan look like JT.
Washington's also a cool spot because
build-wise.
it can relieve some pressure off Sam Howell. You know, you can have JT out there along with Scary Terry, and that's another one that could help that team. The other teams though, to me they don't seem like they have the money to give JT.
Yeah, I have 4 teams. Number 1 is Miami, which Drew talked about. That offense would be silly. Number 2, I'm surprised you didn't mention Rip, Philly.
I don't think we would do it.
I don't think so, but Howie Roseman.
We was in the Derrick Henry talks for a little bit.
You were. Howie Roseman is known though. Went out traded AJ Brown.
Fuck it, right?
This time last year.
Don't shake your head now.
This time last year is when he traded for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It was the end of August addition to camp that he came in. Obviously, a big part of that defense.
He doesn't want to be called CJ anymore?
He's gone.
CJ,
so it doesn't even matter.
So I'm wondering.
Call him whatever.
God could know because I've seen people start calling him Chauncey now.
Hey,
Listen,
they want to bring in JT.
If Miles Sanders had 1,313 touchdowns.
JT's having 2,000 yards.
Chicago is on my list, but the last one's the Chiefs.
Yeah,
they get
I
a
have them on my
chance. They
list
get a
too.
chance to right their wrongs.
do
And
this no
that
more.
2020 draft, they took Clyde at 32 with Jonathan Taylor on the board, and that was a fuck up. Now they have a chance to right their wrongs.
My guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Love Clyde. Now Andy Reid, somehow Andy Reid made this offense better without Tyreek Hill. I can only imagine what he could do once Jonathan Taylor gets there.
I don't know if he made it better. He just
Statistically,
made
it was better.
Yeah, it was better.
100% better. Stop.
Fuck him.
But listen, the Chiefs.
That was my top 3. I have Chiefs at 3, Bills at 2, number 1 Dolphins.
The Chiefs are heading into strange waters though because they didn't pay Tyreek,
Chris.
and now you got to pay Chris. And
Chris already said it. I'm sitting out till week 8.
Oh, you're
fucked,
buddy.
I think Chris Jones is legitimately so much more important than Tyreek Hill was to the Chiefs. If they lose Chris Jones, it's really over. Like the defense is going to fall off such a gigantic cliff that I don't think Mahomes will be able to consistently propel them. It'll be a really bad defense.
Other twin in Kansas City is going to be a top 10 corner this year.
Trent McDuffie?
Yeah, I call him other twin.
CJ's the first one.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I like Trent.
Or Fields.
Fields is twin number 3.
Okay. Yeah. Triplets.
Yeah, we're here.
CJ Stroud.
I don't look like anyone in
Fields,
the,
and
in the NFL.
Yeah, and don't forget, you can't forget God tier Jettis. That's
You kind of look like Tua.
we're here.
Tua?
A little bit.
Wow.
No shot in hell. You look like Tua.
I don't
You
think
actually
so
look
either.
like Dallas Goddard, whatever.
Dallas Goddard. He looks more like Tua than Goddard.
No, he doesn't.
Tua's way too brown.
Goddard he does not look like Goddard.
The beard, bro. I'm telling you.
Maybe a little.
I'm looking it up.
You know,
mixing the
what you
drill
guys
shit
just, everything you guys just said just reassured me that you guys are
What
some
the
haters.
fuck? I do not look like this guy.
see?
Joel looks like him more than I do.
Yeah, actually, it's Joel. It's Dehls. Damn. Who are haters?
You guys are haters, man.
To who?
Because these are my top 5 destinations for Jonathan Taylor.
He's gonna say the Chiefs at 1.
Number 5 is the Chicago Bears. Just because of the rushing attack, Justin Fields.
I want to
with
ruin
JT,
this TikTok so badly.
We
What
know,
the fuck are we haters for?
This is why. Let me get to number 1. This is why. Number 4, and Dehls, don't you dare peek at my computer screen.
Oh my God,
Number
is he saying the
4
Jets?
is the Miami Dolphins for
4?
Jonathan Taylor.
Let's listen
Because
in.
the passing attack is so they pass the ball at so much that I think if you put a running game in there, then actually no, scratch everything I said.
Thank you, because that was
The
about to be
reason-
a terrible statement.
The reason why I'm low on JT going to the Dolphins is because the offensive line is trash. That's exactly
3
why.
of the 5 players are good.
That's why I'm low on him going to the Dolphins.
3 of the 5
line
offensive
is
linemen
trash.
are good. Their offensive line's better than the Jets.
What?
Yes.
Teron Armstead's injury prone, and who else is a good
Connor
lineman?
Williams, Robert Hunt.
Connor Williams is not even better than AVT. What are we doing
Huh?
here? No, he's not.
ABT's our best offensive lineman, to be fair.
Number 3, I got the Baltimore Ravens. I look at Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins is always injury prone. If J.K. Dobbins was reliable, I would love J.K. there, and J.K. doesn't have to
name.
come in.
Good
But
name.
the Baltimore Ravens are number 3.
I like that.
And my goodness, they would look amazing with JT. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. Got to,
Okay, so number
got
1's
to
the
give them
Chiefs,
a
and
shout out.
we're
shout
haters
them
for
out.
this. Oh, we mentioned them.
Just so
What? I'm not looking.
just so I don't get Dale Sheen over here. You guys are haters because you didn't mention the one obvious spot, the best spot
Yeah, the
for
team that
Jonathan
beat us.
Taylor. It's Dallas Cowboys, baby. Dak Prescott,
Jerry
Tony
Jones has
Pollard,
already said he doesn't want
Jonathan
him.
Taylor, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup.
What the fuck
I'm
was
talking
this?
about, what is the biggest question mark with Tony Pollard? What is it?
Can he be a
Durability,
workhorse?
right? Jonathan Taylor comes in. They can
I know
share
why
a
he's doing
workload.
this.
They can be efficient. Dallas Cowboys top 3 defense with that offense.
I need
what are we
anything.
doing here?
I need anything to save me from my Cowboys take to win the Super Bowl.
If the Cowboys, I never said they won the Super Bowl. I said
this year. They'll
make it out the NFC this year for sure. 100%.
Sorry, they're not going to win it. They're just going to go to it. What a great fucking
Dallas Cowboys are going.
Cowboys are going to be good, man.
Dallas Cowboys are going.
Conviction.
This is the year. This is the year. And it would make it much more the year if JT goes to the Cowboys.
They're good every year, Drew. That's the fucking
They have to
problem.
beat the
They're
Eagles
good
or the
every
Niners.
year, Drew. They're good every single year, Drew.
Not like this.
It does not matter.
Not
No,
like
but they
this.
added Gilmore.
Cool,
That's huge.
cute,
Brandon Cooks
awesome,
is huge.
incredible.
You want to know a stat,
Smitty,
Riv?
AJ Brown,
Oh, you guys
Slay,
are your guys are
Bradbury.
better.
Come on.
Jalen Hurts is better than Dak. Yep.
You want to know a
They're
stat,
putting more on
Riv?
Mike McCarthy.
Of course,
Lost.
Drew,
Last year-
Joel, of course I didn't say Dallas.
Last
I'm
year,
an
the
Eagles fan.
Cowboys were
After Gilly called you out, now you're repping.
Oh, I'm standing on what I
Got his
said.
ass.
last year.
I was a Joel Embiid fan.
The Cowboys versus man coverage, man defense. Well, not versus. When the Cowboys played man coverage, they were the worst defense in football. That was because outside of Trayvon Diggs, you don't have another cover corner. Getting Stephon Gilmore now makes the Cowboys a team that can play much more man coverage and be effective when they play it. So I think the addition of Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks on offense, which last year they needed another receiver that can beat man. And I do think that Gallup is going to have a revival this year. I think that Michael Gallup is going to be healthier. He's going to look faster. You're going to see a notable difference this year from last year. Jalen Tolbert, let's be serious.
We have an update on the JT situation.
I did see something.
So the Colts gave JT a deadline until Tuesday to find a suitable trade. 6 teams have inquired and 2 have made offers.
What are 2?
Don't know.
Oh, they didn't say. Fuck.
But all I'm saying, number one,
you do know
JT to the Cowboys.
I don't know what you've been doing for the past 3 days, probably playing Madden. But Jerry Jones has said he's good. He's not in the sweepstakes. You do know that, right?
Jerry Jones could say that, but he could be doing something else behind the scenes.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
You know,
just letting you know. That's
they got
number
Deuce
one.
Vaughn, bro.
When this Dallas thing fails, I can't wait to laugh at you.
You mean how the Carson Wentz thing failed? Yeah, I know.
This
will not fail.
He's literally at home with a ring on his
Because you want to know why?
And Dak is still chasing a
because
ring.
Dak Prescott is a great quarterback, and he's going to prove it eventually to everybody
When is he
that's
proven in the
casual.
playoffs?
Dak is a great quarterback.
I agree. When is he proven in the playoffs?
He's proven it a couple times.
Against the Packers, he was
Seattle
great.
Seahawks,
Against
he was
Seattle,
amazing.
What
great.
year was that? Oh, okay.
Not everything
It was
happens
2016.
every
Seattle
year.
was an
Was it?
inferior team, were they not?
Nah, Seattle was supposed to win that game.
Which game? Sorry.
That was
versus Dallas?
That wasn't rookie Dak though. Rookie Dak, his first game.
Oh, that
only
was
game
after Seattle beat us.
Yep.
With Josh McCown. They beat us by 4
No,
points. Yes.
I don't think
Wentz
so.
got hurt. Please don't tell me it's that game you're talking about. That Seattle team was nothing.
I don't think so, bro.
That was when Russell backpacked?
No. 1 second.
Yeah,
No.
you do that. Back to
Dak
you.
Prescott has played well in the playoffs, though.
He's okay.
He has.
That's because
No, this was the wild card round. That was round 1. They
Okay.
beat Seattle.
So
I mean,
wrong
okay, so versus the Niners, Dak Prescott didn't play well.
I mean, he's
going to
play the Niners again.
Okay, I know, but I
Dak
think
wasn't
he'll be better this time
amazing.
around.
This was an Ezekiel backpack.
When
Dak-
is it not?
137 yards, a touchdown from Zeke on 26 carries.
versus the Seahawks.
Yes, and-
Dak had the game-winning rushing touchdown.
and
though.
Dak.
The one you like,
I'm
you know,
Mouse.
It's
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse.
Mouse.
Did you see that touchdown?
I did not.
Dak Prescott fucking front flipped into the end zone.
Was it how many yards?
It was like a 20-yard run.
Okay, that's fair. I
Well,
like
he
that.
had 6 rushes for 29 yards.
Oh, that was his only good one.
It's not a scrambling quarterback.
I know. Listen, buddy.
Dak passing was 22
Oh,
of 33.
before you go, this is what I was
226,
gonna say.
touchdown,
Tell me.
90.
Versus the Niners, he didn't play too well. I
He was
think,
dog shit.
Well, this year with better offensive weapons, and Pollard got injured halfway through that game. That definitely hurt their offense.
sure.
I think he'll be better. But Dak Prescott versus the Bucs was flawless.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Hilarious.
They had a good defense, though.
Yeah, but they weren't
Their
good.
defense was good.
They weren't a good team.
Yeah, but he picked them apart. That was a phenomenal performance.
Yeah,
But, you know,
okay.
ultimately, quarterbacks, when they enter the playoffs, you know, you have some great games. You have some mediocre games. You're playing the best competition.
Tampa Bay was that.
Tampa Bay wasn't the best competition. I'm just saying that was one of Dak's great playoff
Let
games.
me tell you something, Joel. That he's gonna play the Niners or the Eagles again,
And he's going to beat them.
You do know. So
this time
at
around.
one of these points, he has to be flawless against one of them.
That will happen.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Maybe not flawless, but
he
get
has to
it
be
done.
great.
He'll do enough. He'll do
Enough.
enough.
Didn't you pick Tampa Bay against Dallas?
He sure did because
Yeah.
of Tom Brady.
Then
So Dak
then they beat
Prescott-
Tampa Bay. They were going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's all right.
Dak Prescott, listen.
This guy is crazy.
Listen, I love Dak, man. I really do love Dak.
I hope so.
I do love Dak. It's hard for me to trust him fully, but You know, this year is the
This
year
is
I
the
go all
year.
in. And you know what, Dehls? Sometimes when you go all in and you believe wholeheartedly, you manifest and you make things happen. You speak it into existence. Okay. So last year ain't happened because I was 50-50, you know. I was texting Pierre on the side like, man, I don't want that to mess it up. Like, you know, but I was telling you guys, they'll do it. This year, 100% confident on and behind the scenes.
So you're a fraud.
I'm not a fraud.
You just admitted you're a fraud.
No, I admitted.
You actually exposed yourself.
I admitted that I have to spew confidence when it comes to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys in front of you and Eagles fans.
You just admitted that you texted Pee Wee behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm scared. But up here, you're lying to the fans and saying they have confidence.
People, man.
Lying to our people.
Nah, I'm not lying. I'm just joking. That was a joke.
A little jokey joke.
No,
that was a joke.
He needs help.
We got him.
But listen, Dak Prescott in the playoffs, 63% completion percentage, 63. 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 260 yards per game, 92 passer rating.
Wait, that's
He's
all.
good.
That's his career?
That's for his career, yeah.
He's getting milked by that Tampa game. He had 4 TDs and 0 interceptions. It's milking it. Insane.
So other than that, it's 7-5.
Yeah, he's milking because he had two interceptions against the Niners.
Yeah. I mean, Dak Prescott's lost twice against the Niners. This past year and the year before. But this is the year he won't do it.
All right.
If he faces them,
can I take the field? Do you take the Cowboys?
I'll take the field for the Eagles. I mean, I'll take the Eagles. Y'all can have the field.
Eagles, the Cowboys?
No, you can have the fucking field. You can have any Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks, Detroit. You like Jordan Love, you can have him too. Green Bay. Who else you like? Kirkio, you can have too.
There's only 3 teams that can make it out the NFC.
Well, that's why I said you can have. There's what?
So you can have.
There's 16 teams in the NFC. You can have 15 teams.
Seahawks?
You can have 15 teams.
You're telling me I can have 2 teams and you'll have the Eagles. There's only 3 teams that can legitimately make it out the NFC to the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you, you can have 15, but you believe in 2.
Why?
Because they don't have any. They don't have
defense.
The defensive line
getting
stinks.
Jamal back. They just got Bobby.
The front 7 is
Brooks
a bit,
has got
healthy. The trenches for the Seahawks, both offensive and defenses, is not good. And
what? Trenches.
Offensive line, defensive line.
The groundwork.
The offensive line should be better, but Charles Cross last year is one of the worst left tackles in the league. He allowed a lot of pressure. Abraham Lucas was good. The interior is average. Playoff teams that win in the playoffs.
I'm happy that Cross was asked because that was our pick.
Teams that win in the playoffs Spoon being asked to. Gotta have a great offensive line or great defensive line, one of the two. Unless you're Joe Burrow, then you can get it done without the offensive line.
Get what done? Losing?
No, make it Super Bowl and win 5 playoff games. When the team for 50 years before that only won 5 total. That's
Andy fucking Dalton.
That's what's
bro. What the fuck?
They got an AFC Championship trophy, by the way. That's getting it done, baby.
Yo, you're sick.
Luna and Romo needs a fucking statue.
Shit's hilarious because Hurts has that in his second year.
I mean, he does. He needs a head coaching job.
Sounds like me with the Larry Bird trophy.
For sure. I get it.
Soon to be champ.
Yeah. So you can have the field. You only believe in 2 teams, but I'll give you 15.
So you have a 33%.
So you're taking the Eagles, you're giving basically the Cowboys or Niners?
I'll give them everything.
Listen, I'd rather just take the best straight up.
Cowboys or Niners?
The best
Cowboys
is Eagles versus everybody. We literally are better than everybody.
I mean, listen, I'd rather say I don't want to root for the Niners.
You don't have to. I'm giving you a better chance of winning the bet. Because if you just pick the Cowboys,
I'm fine with the lesser chances.
So you want to go?
I just want Cowboys and Eagles straight up.
Cowboys and Eagles straight up.
Who goes further?
Well, let's do total season wins.
I just bet you on a division. I think the Cowboys win a division.
Let's do division head to head, and then who gets farther.
Okay,
that's fair.
So who wins more categories?
Yes,
that's what you want to do it on.
Yep.
But if like one team goes further in the playoffs, does that supplant everything else or no?
No. We could do categories.
Nah, Riv, I'm just being honest with you, bro. It should just be whoever makes it farther.
We just do whoever makes it farther. Why are we doing this whole division head to head?
He said division.
Who makes it farther?
It's gonna go through one of us.
Yeah, like you guys at some point, if one of them go in the Super Bowl, probably gonna have to play each other.
Dallas, baby.
I mean, because what if we don't? What if one of us plays the Niners and we lose?
Then the other team went further and they win.
That stinks.
I actually texted Pierre and I reassured him. I feel bad for that. I told him, y'all got this.
You lied to him.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I hate that for
you. You did lie to him.
New York Jets. Now, Aaron Rodgers came out with this quote in a recent interview. He said, I don't plan on this being a one and done. I think we're going to be competitive here for a long time. I'd like to be able to play a few good years here and then hand it right back off to Zach.
Dolphins
and let him go for the next 15. And then it'd be a really special 18 to 20-year run of great quarterback play.
You must have been over the fucking moon when you heard that.
He clearly
quote.
didn't watch the Jets for 2 years.
Now, Aaron Rodgers making this quote.
It's the only reason that it's a topic on the show.
Of course, there's always this. It's been a Jets topic straight 3 weeks.
It brought tears to my eyes when I read this.
You're about to cry again.
Knowing that Zach Wilson got a chance at reviving his career, goddamn it. Aaron Rodgers is going to give us some special years. I mean, this year's going to be special. We're going to win a division.
No, this brother is teary-eyed.
He's crying.
Next year is going to be special, too. But you know what's going to be even more special, Dehls?
No, there's a legitimate tear in it.
When the quarterback that we drafted with the 2nd overall pick gets mentored by one of the greats who's a good friend to him, too.
There's a tear coming out of his eye.
When Zach Wilson becomes the Jets' starting quarterback eventually down the line, I'm just embracing those emotions right now. It's going to be 18 to 20 years of great quarterback play with Zach Wilson.
Fuck.
God damn it. Zach Wilson has a chance still. He has a chance.
Oh my God!
You know what? I tell you what. I can respect and appreciate one thing and one thing only: the dedication this man has shown to Zach Wilson, and I respect it because I really get on him, and I'm very critical of him that he refuses to pick a side. But damn it, he's picked a side, and it's Zach Wilson's, and I respect that. But
He really just cried.
let's just take a step back from that. Listen, I've been there.
I love it.
When the Broncos drafted Jerry Jeudy, I cried.
Really?
I was gassed.
That's a tough cry.
But if you're a Jets fan, this is all you want to hear. And I say that because you don't have to worry about Zach Wilson playing quarterback for you for at least 2, maybe 3 more seasons. That's the blessing. Now, in that process, if Aaron Rodgers, on top of it, plays high-level football, you guys are winning playoff games, potentially a Super Bowl, best-case scenario. But this is absolute best-case scenario. Aaron Rodgers delivers you the championship that you've desperately needed since the 60s. And now, on top of it, he helps mentor Zach, and that pick becomes actually useful to you. This is a dream come true for all Jets fans. What Aaron Rodgers tried to sell to Jets fans is a dream. The best-case scenario. This would be amazing. But if I'm a Jets fan, I take this at face value. Aaron Rodgers is going to be my quarterback for 2-3 years. And then after that, Joe Douglas just has to find a solution afterwards. But for 2-3 more years, kick my feet up. I can go to sleep with the idea that my quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. So this is great if you're a Jets fan because you don't have to worry about Zach. But in the process, if Zach Wilson can be your potential franchise quarterback because Aaron Rodgers is good at his job as a mentor, then if you're a Jets fan, you're through the moon. But let's stay more surface level, more realistic. You got an all-time great quarterback for 2, potentially 3 more seasons.
2.
That's huge.
You know that 30 years going to be handed off to Zach. A dream without a plan is a wish. A dream with a plan is a goal.
Mm.
You know,
The Jets got a goal.
I like that one.
we got Magic Johnson up here. We got Larry Fitzgerald up here. We got legends, man. And Aaron Rodgers basically telling you guys he's going to stay. That's good reassurance. It's like a monkey off your back. You know he's committed to this team for a couple years, and that's something good. You guys got an elite defense. You got young talent. You got a solid wide receiver that's emerging as a superstar in the making in Garrett Wilson. So you guys got talent, and then you could potentially get Devontae Adams later in the year, which would be huge for you guys. So this is huge. You know, quarterback committing to a team at his age who still is going to play at a high level is great for you. And then he mentioned that he's going to mentor Zach Wilson. So that's something that you want to see, of course, because Zach is probably still going to be on his roster. I just find it funny just that you cried. Like, it's just insane. Like, the amount of love you have for Zach is deep, man. It's deep.
I teared up from a preseason pass, the 50-yarder.
It's that bad for you.
I love it.
It's like you can't even go watch highlights because, like, he doesn't have a lot.
The Titans one is really good.
It's one game.
You should watch it.
I don't want to watch it.
You should watch it. It's a great highlight.
He actually
tape.
sent me a screenshot of the Lions and Jets game from this past year where he completed 50% of his passes for 300 yards, to be fair.
I had
yards,
this conversation with Joel yesterday. They don't talk about it. One of the best passes last season was from Zach Wilson against the Lions. That crossbody over the middle of the field to Elijah Moore.
Yep.
Was that on 4th down?
Yeah.
You're going to look it up right now.
Nah, bro.
was a great
That
throw.
legitimately is one of the best passes by a quarterback all season long.
He just needs to put it together. He just needs to get the little things down because he got the big things down. Gotta get the little
He's just
ones.
too flashy. He tries to do too much. He's really just in his head way too much.
He's shown growth this preseason. I think
Yeah.
I definitely think
has.
This, especially the second game.
Stop it, you sicko.
Or excuse me, not
need
the.
help.
Wow, that was a crazy dive.
No, he needs help.
Yeah, outside the first game against the Browns, only played a couple of drives, but week 2, week 3 of the preseason, because the Jets had the Hall of Fame game, he was definitely doing the little things. He was saying his check downs,
week
the
15
easy throws.
versus the Lions.
Yeah.
He played well that game.
324.
That's all it comes down to. He refuses to hit the checkdowns on a consistent basis. Don't just take what the game
not
gives
even
you.
He had a
That's
really
inaccurate.
nice throw against Carolina to Allen Lazard on
Yeah.
third down. The Aaron Rodgers quote wasn't surprising to me. If you were following Jets beat reporters, Connor Hughes, basically the second the deal was made, he was saying that this is not a one-year deal, right? Rodgers is going to be here for multiple seasons. My guess is 2. Possibility
Mine
there's
too.
3 years, but probably 2.
Hopefully, too.
I would
Zach for the
I would
third.
love for Zach Wilson to learn under Aaron Rodgers. He becomes the next franchise quarterback, but in 2 years, Zach Wilson has to get paid. Right? In 2 years, they'd have to take up his 5th-year option. You're going to have to pay Zach Wilson $20 million.
That could end up being
Could
20.
be a cheap deal.
for
Why?
a 5th-year option, yeah.
Oh.
5th-year
Unless you
option, number 2
restructure it,
pick.
right?
That's what I'm saying. You can.
Or
I don't think
decline
you,
and
I don't,
or
yeah, you could decline.
and structure
That's
something.
basically what the Packers did with Jordan Love. You could decline.
And the
And,
Giants.
yeah.
Give him a better,
Yes,
a
yes.
different
Well,
offer.
one
Well, they
bit
just
them in the
declined.
ass.
They just declined Daniel Jones.
Idiotic.
Yeah, but the Packers declined and just gave him a 1-year extension for around 20. But if Zach Wilson can develop to be that quarterback, that would be great. But I don't know if the timeline is going to work out because it wouldn't make sense. Is Zach Wilson, number one, going to want to sit for 2 years?
Yeah, for sure.
What other option does he
He just
have?
played. He
he-
got put through the ringer.
Yeah, I know, but I also think there's some part of him. He's a competitor. He wants to play. I understand. Learning behind Aaron Rodgers is invaluable. There's no other experience you could get that.
If you're the Jets, what's the
Bless
you? If you're the Jets, what's the lowest round draft pick you're taking for Zach?
Like, you give me a third. That's easy.
I don't think
If a
any
team
out
offers
there-
you a third for Zach Wilson, you immediately
A fourth
accept the
even.
deal.
with what he can be in the future.
Oh my
no.
But it's what he can be, but you're also going to have to pay him like
What
that.
our
then.
third round picks history isn't that good.
I know. I'll take the shot in the dark.
If I'm the Jets and you offer me a fourth, I'm
That's why I said
also
fourth.
immediately accepting.
I'll be
A
honest, this
fourth
game is
round
fire.
pick.
He's
What
cooking.
game?
The
Zach?
Lions game. He's cooking.
He played well. I sat in the front that game.
You were oozing?
Yeah.
Which game is this?
Versus the
game,
Lions.
week 15.
Oh, yeah, no.
Our
he's a
defense let us
dogging.
down.
Yeah.
For the first time all season.
Yeah.
Really,
It's just
the only time,
ridiculous.
damn
Yeah.
near.
Tight end got off, right? He broke a tackle.
fourth
House
down.
call.
50-yard.
Bugging.
Touchdown.
Okuda is getting big. I don't know why he's out here.
Listen, I hope it works out. I would love for Zach to be the next guy. I'm
Listen,
not.
I
I'm just
hope-
not holding my breath. All
You
due
gotta have
respect.
hope, Dehls.
I got hope, just not holding my breath. I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket.
No, don't put your eggs in the basket, but you know,
Just a few
Put
eggs.
your meat in it.
yeah. Put your what?
Just putting a couple eggs.
This episode is our first time doing NFL power rankings.
I love this.
We're
are
going to
2
be
hours
doing
in.
these for the next couple
Handful
of
topic
episodes. 8 teams we're going to go by this. We're going to go 8 teams each episode. This one will be 32 through 25. So let's start it.
Are we
NFL
each-
power rankings.
Are we
We're going
each
by
going to
one,
go
right?
32, 31,
Yes, please.
30? I just know you like to be different sometimes, so I'd like
I'm
to
not naming
clarify.
these.
You
wanna
want to
do
start
that?
at 25, I bet.
Got your ass.
I'm not
You
naming
wanna do-
8 straight teams.
You want to name 4 straight?
No, Can we just
Just
do
go one by-
32?
can we just go-
real quick
We don't have
summary?
to. We don't have to
That's
talk
it,
about it
please.
for too long.
Yeah. We're mostly talking about you.
Hey, yeah, that
It's really you.
because
Couple
we're
bullet
all
points.
on the same
We're here.
agreement.
31.
We're here.
Couple bullet points. 30.
wanna make sure.
Couple
Maybe we
bullet
can give a little
points.
face like
That's it. All right,
yeah,
so
that's it.
32. Who do you have? Arizona Cardinals.
32, I have the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals.
There we go.
Arizona
Yeah,
Cardinals.
Ah,
Here we
look
go.
at that.
Quick dialogue. Their team is not good.
Kyler
Without
Murray will miss
Kyler
a lot of
Murray,
games.
it's over.
Who's starting? Cole McCoy or Clayton Tune?
Oh, here we go.
Cole McCoy.
Cole McCoy.
Cole McCoy is a
Cole
legend.
McCoy.
He should start.
Legend.
But watch out for that quarterback
Texas
battle
legend.
I was telling you about. man.
Quarterback.
McCoy.
I'm trying to tell you.
Colt McCoy.
Here we go.
It's just a,
So now we're talking
he's
too
a
much
good,
about the Cardinals.
He's a good
You want to talk
backup
about a pro's
quarterback.
pro. You want to
He
talk
is a
about a
pro's
pro's pro.
He's
Colt
a good
McCoy.
back quarterback. And also, watch out for Michael Wilson, rookie
sir.
receiver.
I told you about
Who'd
Michael
you,
Wilson.
who'd you tell, Riff?
I'm fucking crying.
did.
So number 31,
He did 24.
how
Huh?
I did
He's
my power rankings
Guys, Joel's talking.
My bad.
was I ranked rosters. I think the Cardinals have the worst roster in the NFL. That's why they're at 32. The next worst roster is the Rams at 31. I have the Rams at number 31.
The Rams are
My
a bit
power
higher. I
rankings.
have the Bucks at 31.
Okay. I have the Texans.
The Texans at 31.
You know what's fucking funny about that, Riv? You were giving me shit for it.
You were.
I didn't want them at 32.
Well, they're not 32.
They were never at 32.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Well,
forgot.
all I said was the Cardinals are in a prime
be
position
honest.
to get the first and the second pick.
I forgot. No, you know what fucked up? I didn't know they didn't have their pick. That's what kind of fucked up my whole thought process.
Listen,
That's got nothing to do with this year.
I think
I
Will
literally forgot
I
why
believe
I-
Will Anderson will be a good player. I do. But I don't think it was worth trading your first next year knowing
What's your thoughts on Twin?
I think he'll be solid. I still believe in him. Sure.
Might be a bit rough rookie year.
Yeah,
the
for
weapons
sure.
aren't there.
Relax.
The OC isn't proven.
John Mechie and Tank Dell?
And Tank Dell. Yep.
Tank Dell is good. I love
weapons
him.
Really what
aren't
it is
there.
Dalton Schultz. That
Schultz
should
should
be
be-
CJ's best friend. And Damian Pierce, of course.
They brought in Robert Woods too.
Devin Singletary also showed they could be
Yo,
active in the
we
pass
here.
game. No, you're not here.
They got a couple.
You're
key
here is
pieces.
4 wins.
You know who's
5.
better than Dalton Schultz?
Talk to me.
Jake Ferguson.
No, he's not.
He's not better, but he's a good
He's decent.
replacement for
You know who'd
Dalton.
be better than both? Dalton Kincaid.
Probably.
Okay.
A first round pick?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
All right, so my
first
31's
pick.
the Texans. You said that the Bucks are
I have
31.
Bucks at 31.
I have the Bucks at 30.
Okay.
You have the
So
Texans
just-
at
I have the
30?
Texans at
okay,
30.
I thought so.
Number 31, I said already the Rams. I'm actually surprised you guys think the Texans are worse because the Rams
The Rams are terrible.
they just have 3 players.
Yeah.
They really
That's the
just
thing, though.
have
Their 3 players are
players.
like overwhelmingly OP.
They're mad good.
I mean,
the Rams
yeah,
20.
that can be
Good as
true.
nuts.
Offensive line
Elite.
stinks. Cam Akers, there's optimism.
There's no other.
I
running
do
back
believe
there.
that Matthew Stafford's still a great quarterback. I mean, I get it. He just was injured basically the entire season, but with Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, there's
these
success.
really
to be
these,
had.
but we're gonna do 8. But these bottom like 5 teams are all terrible.
Yes.
So I had the Rams a bit higher because of the. I trust Sean McVay. I trust Cooper Kupp. I trust Aaron Donald. And if Matthew Stafford is healthy, he should be better than most of the other quarterbacks in this bottom 5.
I agree with
If
that.
you're going to give me shit because I didn't have the Rams at 31 as opposed to 29, I don't
Okay,
know.
that's fine.
Number 30, I have the Colts.
I have the Rams at 30.
Where are the Bucks?
The Bucks are better than all these teams roster wise. Pretty easily.
He's a bigger
to me.
guy.
Roster
It's not
wise,
just-
I
It's
added
not big.
coaching
I
into
mean,
this whole thought process.
I'm not even talking about quarterbacks.
no.
I'm
you're
just
right.
saying which teams, if you plug and play a quarterback into there, can have more success. The Buccaneers have a better roster than
But it's
the
not
Rams,
just-
Cardinals.
No,
and
But it's not
Colts.
the thing is,
plugging.
they
That's not
had
how that
Brady.
works.
They had Brady and didn't go 500.
They had Brady, but then you're bringing in a different offensive coordinator that's going to run a different system because Byron Leftwich
In
didn't
year
run a
one, it's
system.
not going to be as successful.
Byron Leftwich didn't run a system that helped the offense at all.
But
I
this
thought he
is-
was one of the worst.
This,
play
Hey,
this
he's
is
doing it
pow-
how he
but
wants
this
to
is
do it.
power ranks. This isn't just like
Yeah.
who's the team in a vacuum, the quarterback. This is just power rankings.
Well, yeah, I think the Buccaneers will be better than the Cardinals, Rams, and the Colts. I do. What group on the Colts is better than the Bucks? Quarterback with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Would take him 1,000 times over
Go with the
1,000.
quarterback.
Baker Mayfield.
No, but
Okay,
I
so
don't
you're
think
counting on a. So okay,
I don't think the roster's bad. I don't think the Bucks roster is terrible.
Offensive line where the Colts isn't good. Tampa Bay's is not good.
I can't. I can give you Anthony Richardson. Whatever. The defensive line for the Bucks is better. The linebacker
The Colts still
linebacker play
have a
is
solid
better.
They
defensive
do have
line.
a solid defensive line.
The secondary is better overall. The Colts have 2 players on a defensive line that move me.
DeForest Buckner.
It's DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart.
Quiddy Pay's a good player.
Quiddy Pay is all right. He's not better than Shaq Barrett.
Yeah.
So the Bucks have a better defense overall. It's just offensively, yeah.
Listen,
the
both these
offensive
teams
line.
and
suck.
Shaq
I
Leonard
don't-
too,
I don't-
and that's
So who you
another
guys have at
piece of the
This
defense.
is 29?
I have
30, I had the
Colts
Rams.
at 29.
I have Rams at 30, Bucks at 29.
I have the Colts at 29 as well.
I have the Texans at 29. I think they're a better roster than the Colts.
I can understand where you're coming
They're the
from.
same.
Close.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
saying.
these bottom teams are all pretty terrible.
They are. It really
And also,
isn't
the
much
Bucks
argument
have
to be
Chris
had.
Godwin and Mike Evans still. So
Yeah, but again,
So
it
to
wasn't
how long?
enough last year to even go 500.
So how long?
maybe.
I think Tampa's-
one of them's getting
one of them's
moved.
traded at the
One
trade
of them's
deadline.
Maybe it
Maybe
depends.
both.
It depends.
I can see that whole team, bro. I can see that whole team by week 7 just
Not both.
Blowing it up.
I'll say this, not both, because let's say they're in competition to get the number 1 overall pick. You want Caleb to have at least one.
Mike Evans is probably the one that leaves. Godwin's a little bit younger.
And just like every team in the NFC South, the Buccaneers are going to have an easier schedule, like every team in that division.
That's true.
So I think not only is the roster better, I think they can finish with a better
I'm
record
just not a
than all
big
these
Todd
bottom
Bowles
teams.
guy. Who's their
No, I'm
Who's
not.
their OC this year? Who are they
David
bringing?
Canellis. He was a quarterback coach for the Seahawks last year.
Okay.
Played a big part in Geno's year. Number 28, I have the Raiders. I have Raiders 28.
I have the Rams at 28.
I have the Rams at 28 as well.
I have the Colts at 28.
Given the Raiders just still are not going to have a good defense, they're 28 because much like the Bucs, they have some groups that are really good. The Raiders have weapons. They have Josh Jacobs, Devontae, Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer.
Is Josh Jacobs going to be there week 1?
He might not. And then the offensive line is good. So they at least have some groups that are good.
Cole Miller, I guess.
Offensive line was solid. They were pretty high ranked in win rate for both rushing and passing.
And Max Crosby is he's a superstar.
I got Cole Miller in Madden.
He's good.
He's dog shit in Madden.
What's the overall?
87. He gets destroyed.
That's valid.
No, he gets destroyed every time, bro.
Yeah, I have the Rams at 28. Like I mentioned, the offensive line's bad. The defense, outside of 2 names, you're probably not going to recognize anybody. But when it comes to all of these teams, they have a superstar head coach. So I will take them. These
Sean
bottom
McVay.
teams, yes.
Okay. Number 27, I have the Buccaneers at number 27.
That's where the Pats come in for me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Oh, I'm not crazy. I have the Pats in this list too.
Yeah, I definitely don't have the Patriots too far away from 27, but at 27, I have the Raiders.
I have the Raiders as well. I don't believe in Josh McDaniels.
We have the same list so far?
We had a couple the same. We had the Raiders the same.
Just
and
the
Colts
difference is
same.
the
You guys
Texans
are
and the
sleeping
Bucks.
and making a list together?
Yes.
Exactly.
What else?
Wouldn't you
a
like
lot
to know?
more. But like you said, Joel, I like the weapons room enough. But I think their defense is going to be so bad that this weapons room is not going to be good enough to overcome that.
Yeah, secondary's not good.
I just think the Patriots are going to lose hella games in that division.
Quarterback is a question because you don't even know if Jimmy G is going to be playing for an entirety of the season.
Ain't no O'Connell, man.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
And
And Josh
O'Connell will
Jacobs
start.
also not reporting as of right
Sometime
now.
this season.
And also, you got to worry about Josh Jacobs, JT if he stays, all of these guys. They just need to play, I believe, 8 weeks to accrue a season. So they could play 8 weeks, have an ankle sprain, and sit out for 2 months if they wanted to. So a lot of these guys that are on these contract years who might show up week 1 doesn't mean they're going to be playing in week 12.
Number 26, this was hard for me with 26 and 25. But number 26 is the Chicago Bears. I got them at 26.
Okay.
I mean, with them, it's obvious the strong points. Justin Fields, DJ Moore. The offensive line is going to be better. Darnell Wright was an excellent pick. I think he's going to fix their offensive line issues.
Did you
especially
guys
at tackle.
see Darnell Wright accidentally took home the conditioning for the wide receiver?
Yeah, clown for that.
And obviously he bodied the conditioning for the offensive line. Bro, off that alone, my brother jokingly said that to me. He's 100% right. I'm in. Darnell Wright is going to be a dog.
I believe
And then
he has an
defensively,
ankle injury.
this defense is not good. The Bears defense is going to be one of the worst in the NFL. And for me,
Always fine.
given their offensive numbers last year, they were great on their first opening drives, but after that, they went down a cliff. You know, how much does DJ Moore elevate that when DJ Moore has been unable to elevate poor offenses in the past? So for me, that's my question mark with the Bears. I just think from a roster standpoint, this roster still isn't a well-built roster. They're getting there, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
I have the Raiders at 26.
I have Washington at 26.
Bears added Ngakoue, TJ Edwards, Tremaine.
It's not good.
But
all right.
It's been on like 8 teams.
you need to add talent. They tried to do that. Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, solid additions. Jalen Johnson, kind of disappointing up until this point for sure. Eddie Jackson, respectable NFL player. Obviously past his prime at this point, but still solid.
Jaquan Brisker's good.
Okay, there you go. Well done, Riv.
Locked in.
I like it on my Bears, man. I like it on my
Definitely.
Bears, man.
But I think what allows me to be higher on the Bears compared to you is that I believe in this offense. I think this offense is going to be very exciting, led by, of course, Justin Fields and his ability to rush, but also his progression as a passer, DJ Moore. Now, it's something about young quarterbacks adding that high level. I mean, I don't want to consider DJ Moore elite, but that great to elite level wide receiver addition, and it drastically improves or aids their development. I firmly believe this offense is going to be great.
I'm here.
So
1,400 yards.
But for number 26, I have the Carolina Panthers. I just don't believe in this team as a whole. I think that rookie season, Bryce Young may have a little bit of difficulty, but that does not cloud my judgment on what I believe that he can be potential-wise. But this year, it's a matter of if this defense can stay healthy. J.C. Horn, obviously, we understand that there's talent on this defense. It's just a matter of if they can stay healthy. I believe in Brian Burns, of course. Derek Brown, thank you very much. They have a solid front seven. It's just a matter of can this team put it together, especially with a rookie quarterback, also a rookie coach for the team itself. Obviously, Frank Reich has a ton of experience, but his first year now going to Carolina. I think that this isn't their year, potentially next season, year after that, but I got them at 26.
I think the reason I didn't take the Bears is because I see a ceiling for that team. It's probably a long shot, but there's a world where they could win the division. Justin Fields is able to take that leap. If the defense is just good enough, they could find a way into 9-ish wins.
Yeah, Washington at 26.
I do have Washington at 26. I like Sam Howell. I think he'll have a solid season, but I went through their schedule. First of all, I don't think any of us at this table, especially you, are they going to finish higher than fourth in this division?
No.
You're a Giants guy. That's the only team they have a chance for. And I think
They have
the
a chance to finish.
NFC's so ass. They could come. They could, maybe. Who knows? Wild card.
And then I went through the schedule, and outside of week 1 against the Cardinals, Sam Howell is going to be the worst of the 2 quarterbacks in every single matchup.
Yeah.
So it's just hard to win a lot of games in the NFL.
There's a lot of talent on that offense.
It's not gonna be. He's gonna be okay, man.
He'll be fine.
I love claiming a quarterback and forcing Joel to hate him.
No, it's
my
not.
Favorite.
It's just I have never spoken about Sam
favorite.
Howell. I don't think so.
I mean, not many people have had reason to. It's just a matter of if you watch this tape over in UNC.
I like this.
I did. I used to be a very big Sam Howell fan at UNC.
Yeah.
The year before he came out, he was looking like a first round pick.
That was I love Sam Howell, but
I thought for a 5th round, one of the best values of the draft.
Oh my God! And he went to a great situation because he's already in position, which he is already the starting quarterback.
25. Who you got?
25.
And this is the last team that we're going to be doing, just so the fans know.
I told you that it was a toss-up between the Bears and this team. It's the Panthers at 25.
Okay.
I think the Panthers overall, they have a good coaching staff.
Yep.
They have a good offensive line. It hasn't shown in the preseason, but I'm just kind of banking on what they showed last year and the entirety of the season and not just in the preseason. And the defense is going to always be solid. It's going to be young, hungry. I think the Panthers are defensively kind of a brewing giant.
Agreed.
Nobody talks about them, but they have a lot of talent, and it's just going to take maybe 1 or 2 more pieces from the draft that really takes this defense to the next level. But the defense, I see a vision. And the offense, if the offensive line will be good and Miles Sanders is productive, the receiving core won't matter as much because it's Bryce Young's rookie year.
But they've taken a huge hit with the injury bug to start this offseason. You have not start, but as this preseason has gone on, DJ Chark now caught an injury. Terrence Marshall's having, I believe, some issues with his back. He's injured, of course.
Don't even matter. Mingo here.
Mingo. And Adam Thielen, those are going to be the
reliable.
two for real. But hey, the good news with Mingo, if you were on the Mingo hype train, is that he was running with the ones immediately, first week of preseason and the second week of preseason. It's been those same 3 guys.
I told you that, though.
Yeah, you did. You're a big Mingo guy.
It's been DJ Chark, Adam Thielen, and Mingo. So
listen, man, I try to tell you guys some things. You just don't listen to me.
Miles Sanders, I don't know if you said he's dealing with an injury as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
So he had some soft tissue.
I was going to say, I thought it was, hamstring or groin, one of the two.
It might have been groin. 25, I have the Patriots.
That's disrespectful.
It's probably, listen, I get
You're
the
the
Bill
one
Belichick.
that was saying that Bill Belichick could be fired after the end of the season.
There's a world.
It might be a little disrespectful.
That's disrespectful,
but
man.
I
Is there a
don't.
world they can't be the 25th best team in the?
Nah.
You don't think they could win like 6-7 games this year? That's what they were around last year.
I think they're like a 7. I was just doing some more homework on the Patriots.
Yeah, good.
And listen, man, the defense is going to be great. That's for sure. Not enough to compete for this division because the Jets and the Bills defense will be better.
Let me ask you, you have your list done already, or you just went to 25?
No,
and
I just
stopped?
went to 25.
Okay, I did. I did a little bit past 25. Figure you're you. I wouldn't have been shocked if you had past 25.
I was thinking about going all the way to 1.
I know you did. Yeah. All right, just because you're saying that's disrespectful, I would be stunned if 2 episodes from now we're hearing the Patriots. No, next episode we're hearing the Patriots come from your list.
The Patriots are in the teens, though. I think that they're in the
teens.
Are
they
the
better than the Browns?
in the low teens. So like
let's not spoil
19.
this.
not
You mean
so
high
like yeah,
teens?
like 16 to 19. That's where I figure having.
16.
16
They're
is
not better than the Steelers. They're not better than the Browns.
Nope.
I think the
They're the worst
Steelers and
team in
them
their
are
division.
in the same tier. I do.
Wait, they're the worst team in the
Steelers
division.
and
though.
them.
They are.
The Patriots.
Yeah, I think the Patriots and
Oh.
Steelers. There's a case where it's a similar tier. It is.
The offense is just so underwhelmed. Like, I get it. The defense is going to be good. The offensive line should be good.
Yeah,
You
Devontae
brought in-
Parker's been putting together a good camp, bro.
Joel,
I've been
can we
hearing.
do a quick
Year 9 Devontae Parker.
quick axe?
Sure.
Just real quick. Are they better than the Dolphins?
No.
No.
Are they better than Cleveland?
No.
Are they better than Buffalo?
No.
No.
Are they better than Kansas City?
No.
Are they better than Baltimore?
No.
Are they better than Chargers?
No.
Are they better than the Jets?
No.
Are they better than Cincinnati?
No.
That was just the AFC. That was about 8 teams.
That was a lot.
I mean, yeah, those all most of those.
And
teams
I
are
didn't
gonna
add
compete for-
maybes. I just was like, are they better than the Jaguars?
No,
Okay, so that's 9 teams. Okay. Are they better than Seattle?
they're in a similar tier with that.
What?
Yes or no? I don't want to hear tears. Are they better than Seattle?
Let
How
me
many
think about
games
it.
are the Patriots winning?
This is actually shocking coming from you.
The Seahawks? This is
Somebody's
what you have
keeping
to think.
count. We're at
No,
9?
here's the thing. He's doing this for dramatic purpose, and I respect the fuck out of this. That being said, there's no thought that needs to be put into this.
That was we're at 9.
You're
right?
just looking
Around
at
that.
brand names with the
No,
offensive
I'm not.
personnel.
Last year they were supposed to be bad, and they made the playoffs. Why
Their
are they going to
offense
get
is pretty good.
Oh,
worse?
yeah, I know. You had them winning 2 games.
I had them almost winning 0.
No, for
Listen,
sure.
this is the thing.
Yes
the
or no?
Seahawks.
Answer the question then.
Let me just talk about the thought process behind it.
Should be none.
The offense will 100%.
Fire.
The Seahawks have the weapons on offense to be better and they have a higher ceiling, no doubt. The running game for the Seahawks last year was inefficient. Kenneth Walker was one of the worst running backs at gaining consistent yardage. He had great breakaway ability, but just gaining consistent yardage
Didn't you say
on a
Kenneth
down-to-down
Walker was
basis.
better than Brees Hall?
He did.
Listen, there was a moment in time where Kenneth Walker was doing something special, but he's a breakaway back. On a consistent basis, he wasn't picking up yards. The gap in the offense, I think that there's a similar gap on defense. Like the Seahawks may have players that you recognize their names. Oh, they got Bobby Wagner. They got Jordan Brooks is coming back healthy. Bobby, that was a fake ass all-pro. Tariq Woolen, Tariq Woolen is really their only good corner that I trust for sure.
Not a spoon guy yet?
He's been
he's a
underwhelming.
rookie,
Just
but
as a reminder, the Patriots won 8 games last year. That was against Mitch Trubisky in week 2. They smoked Detroit, who was a good team. Jacoby Brissett in week 6. Zach Wilson twice. Sam Ehlinger, Arizona, and Miami week 17 without
I think
Tua.
Kyler was hurt at that point.
Yes. That is who they beat. They did not beat Detroit and Cleveland. 2 solid wins. I'll give you that. But outside that, it's a lot of backup and bad quarterbacks.
I mean, I know, but what I'm saying is that from roster perspectives, I don't think that, like I told you guys in the beginning, I'm ranking rosters. Offensively, the Seahawks, their strong points are the receiving game, but offensively, the Patriots have a better offensive line than them. I think in terms of just a more consistent runner, Ramondre is better and has earned the right to be named better than Kenneth Walker at this point. Defensively, the Patriots have a better defense without a doubt than Seattle. I don't think it's a question.
So
no doubt.
Seattle are they better than Seattle, yes or no?
This is hard, man. It really is hard. Name me another team. I'll come back to this.
Saints.
No.
They're better than the Saints.
Washington.
They're better than Washington. Detroit.
That's 10. Atlanta.
Yeah, this one was hard for me.
That's the thing, man. If the Patriots were in the NFC South, I would pick them to win it.
The
Unfortunately,
Falcons
they are not.
They are not. I think the Patriots are a better team, a better roster than the Falcons.
Giants.
Nah, the Giants.
That's 11. Green Bay.
That's close.
It shouldn't be close for you.
If he's going to be top 10.
It should not be close for you. You're getting to that end point.
Yo, Green Bay or Seattle?
Green Bay.
Really?
Oh my God, bro.
Green Bay or New England? Pick, please.
I'm gonna pick Green Bay.
12.
San Fran? Draymond Jones.
San Fran.
13.
Getting
Philly.
Jamal Adams back. Adam Bobby.
Draymond Jones as your 4th defensive lineman is good. As your best one is horrible.
I'll be honest, he might have them at 16. So Philly, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And then Dallas.
Dallas, of course, yeah.
Minnesota.
That's close.
No.
He might have them earlier than 16, bro.
I'll take the Vikings.
Thank you.
So that's
But also,
15
there's-
flat.
There's so many teams in that tier where I might have the Patriots at 25, but the difference between 25 and 19 is
so
not.
marginal.
It's not going to be a big
So
difference.
marginal.
It's just, listen, this is the thing, and I don't feel like people give Mac Jones this benefit of the doubt.
I disagree with this.
For one, before I get to Mac Jones, like the defense for the Patriots, Dietrich Wise is one of the most underrated players in the league. He's a really phenomenal defensive lineman. Judon is one of the elites right now.
He was great last season.
Jelani Tavai, people don't know this, but he was drafted by the Lions with a very high draft pick. He was a complete bust for the Lions. He goes to the Patriots. Jelani Tavai has been really, really good for the Patriots. He's been one of their better run-stopping linebackers. He's been good for them. And the defensive lineman that the Patriots just drafted, Keon White, really impressed me, man. Christian Barmore is good too. Their defensive line is good. They can stop the run. They can get after the pass. And then in the secondary, you have Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, Adrian Phillips, Jalen Mills, Jonathan Jones, Christian Gonzalez, Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, if he stays out of trouble. They have their defense is legitimately good.
They got talent, but it's on the wrong side of the ball. They signed Zeke when Dalvin Cook was available.
Apparently Zeke has been pressing in camp.
There's a difference, but you have to understand what the Patriots are using Zeke for.
It's also to relieve pressure on
Dalvin Cook doesn't make sense for the Patriots. Zeke is somebody that they're going to use short yardage situations to get 1 to 2 yards. Dalvin Cook has never been that type of running back.
No, but it's going to be underwhelming.
But it also will aid Ramondre, who towards the end of the season ran.
Zeke, I don't think he can handle a huge workload.
I agree.
He said they won't be good in those situations with Zeke in like short yardage situations.
Disagree.
No. I said the signing overall is underwhelming.
I don't think so.
The offense overall is underwhelming. The weapons group is underwhelming. Mac Jones is fine, but if you're not going to give him great weapons, he's going to be underwhelming.
You didn't give him great weapons as a rookie, and he was good.
And they lost 40-0 in the playoffs.
They made the playoffs though.
For sure.
Team was
for sure.
I mean, it's the Bills.
They lost to
Josh Allen
2 years ago.
Josh Allen in that playoff run was, historical.
I understand, but that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to go up against those type of opponents week after week after week.
Miami got better.
You look at the schedule. The first 4 weeks is Philly, Miami, New York, and Dallas. Then
could be
weeks 5 through 10, they get a bit of a break. New Orleans, Las Vegas. Back-to-back Miami, Buffalo, Washington, Indy. But to close the game, the Giants, Chargers, Pittsburgh, KC, Denver, Buffalo. I get it. I think we're thinking of two different things. The roster on paper is probably going to be better than a few teams, but this is a 6-win team to me.
You're talking about, listen,
that schedule is crazy.
That schedule, I don't know about 6.
This is the disconnect right here. Dehls, you're talking about what they're going to finish with. I've already been vocal in saying I don't think the Patriots are going to have a good record because this schedule is tough. If they exceed expectations, would I be surprised? I would not. I just want to make that clear. I would not. But what I told you guys from the beginning when I did the power rankings, I'm ranking these rosters from top to bottom. I think the Patriots have a really good roster. And while
I just see the upside just seems so limited. The floor is high, the ceiling's low. That's why there's a few other teams like Chicago who I say the floor might be lower than this New England team, but if Fields hits, the ceiling's higher.
Yeah, but just real quick exercise. If Justin Fields was on the Patriots, would you not say that, that's a far better situation than the Bears? Just overall roster-wise, everything.
Yeah, they don't have the weapons, but the offensive line's a lot better.
And that's where I kind of go off these power rankings with the ranking rosters.
But it's not like the Bears' offensive line. We've gone over it.
No, it's not. It's getting better.
It's getting better.
But with the Patriots, and this is the thing, people don't give Mac Jones the benefit of the doubt. Last year, they hired Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to call plays.
They want him to fail.
They wanted him to fail. This year, even if the talent boost wasn't much, the play calling difference is going to be so much more better that I think Mac Jones is going to have a great season. I think Mac Jones will play really well.
No, I agree. I just don't think it's – and again, I'm talking about wins. You're talking about roster on paper. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't look at all these teams and say, this is the record, this is where they rank. I'm also just said, these are the rosters, and I think the Patriots, they have a middle-of-the-pack roster. I don't think they have a below league average roster. I think their roster is league average. So to me, that's around the teens area. I don't know if I'm gonna have them 16 yet, but probably like 16 to 18, 19 range. That's where they are for me.
Where do you guys have at 25?
Ironically enough, I have the New England Patriots.
Carolina.
And who do you have?
I have the Panthers.
Right. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I think that was just a disconnect. We're all ranking it differently.
Those NFC South teams were hard because I was like, 25. I was like, they could win the division. So it's tough.
Was 25 was interchangeable with the Bears in New England, but I feel like I like what matters more to me, which is offense, more with Chicago. That I decided to lean that way.
I just think the Panthers could have a better record than
but
the
it's
Pats.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have a worse one. They did their prediction. They won 7 games, I think.
Oh,
Panthers, yeah.
But
he had him, not him. He had him win the division.
That made 8-9. But the Pats,
8-9.
the Pats schedule, bro. They have to play the Dolphins twice, the Bills twice, and the Jets twice. That's just alone in the division. They haven't beat Josh Allen like 2-3 years. They haven't beat Tua.
No. And this is the year where
the year where you telling me that this. Not saying you telling me, but I'm saying this is the year I'm supposed to just expect them to go in there and rock shit up. I don't know.
No, but I get it. On paper, the roster is fine.
They're gonna get.
It's an average roster.
It is.
It's not nothing crazy.
And it's an average roster, not in the AFC. It's probably one of the worst rosters in the AFC.
if they was in the AFC South, they're competing with the Jags to win the division.
That's
I
the
think-
worst division.
I think
arguably the worst
Not an
division in football.
insane statement.
I think the Patriots and the Titans, like roster wise, are
I agree.
neck and neck.
They're
I was
Yeah.
actually just about to ask you because I don't have the Titans too far away from where I have the
Yeah.
Patriots.
I'm gonna have, yeah.
Okay, because I mean, spoiler alert.
That's a fair
I got
point.
the Titans at 22.
It's a fair point,
Yeah.
but
So,
they're,
I mean, it's
they're
not
the
that far
best
away.
division in football. you
Yeah,
know?
for me, like I said, I've ranked these teams off of, what's just the best teams, the best.
But how can you do that
rosters.
without ranking, without adding coaches in it?
Oh, you can add coach. I mean, if you're adding coaches, then Bill Belichick should not be.
No, I'm saying like, how can you do the roster without the coaching? Because some of these rosters are gonna get like Tennessee is gonna get uplifted by Mike
Well,
Vrabel.
Yeah.
I moved. I was gonna have Tennessee where I had the Patriots, but decided, hey, you add Hopkins,
And I'm sure
that's gonna
70%
aid
like-
Tannehill. Their rush defense
Yeah.
is one of the best. Was the best last year, I believe. It's just their secondary is so damn horrible.
But I just think Tennessee, you can't like
And their
like
offensive line's still
Tennessee is
bad.
an example, but you can't like rank them without thinking Mike Vrabel
Vrabel.
because
Fair
he's
point.
gonna make everybody
But
better.
they did choke the division last year. It was theirs.
Yeah,
Sometimes it matters.
Downs.
Sometimes it does. Like I don't think it matters for the Rams. I don't care that Sean.
Yeah, no,
McVay's a
yeah,
coach.
that's
their roster's just too
I have them
bad.
as a 30th. They're a 30.
Yeah,
The
like
Rams
their,
suck.
their roster is just too bad for me to rank them any higher.
But I think,
where
yeah,
rank
I'm with
them.
you. Like some teams, like Panthers, I think the coach could uplift them a little bit more. Titans, Belichick, of course, just their offense is like it's not good. Like the run game is gonna be good, but that's not really what carries you in the football
it's
nowadays.
Devontae Parker, Juju, Hunter
Devontae
Henry.
sucks.
It's
He doesn't
some ugly
suck.
names.
Devontae sucks.
He's
He's-
good for what they
oh,
need him
And
to.
he's. I'm not.
I don't
just
think nobody
going-
should need that.
I'm just
in
going off
like,
what
in
I've read.
offense.
Devonta Parker has had a really good camp
Congrats. I hope he
That's
kills
They
it.
just gave him
huge.
30 mil, so he should be.
because Juju gets added to the mix. Juju's not a scrub.
Now watch when he has to play Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard.
It's not going to be great.
I figured twice.
That's why Ramondre will eat.
Cook.
The thing, man, is that the criticisms on Bill Belichick are fair when it comes to offense.
Yeah.
Defense, he's been
That brother knows
drafting.
what's up.
He's been drafting a lot of speed in recent years, and I wouldn't be shocked if in the next couple of drafts, they're building up one of the league's best defense again, because he's changed his entire approach to how he's building it, and he's added a
Like
lot of
Thornton.
speed on it.
But it's never going to be shit until he gets the offense
Come on,
going.
man.
Yeah, I think the Patriots.
He might not be
offense-
there in 2 years.
Yeah,
They
The-
went 8-9 last year. The division.
The Patriots offense is
That's
the Patriots offense is legitimately, you get one big time receiver in there, it changes the dynamic of things.
So D-Hop should have went there, man.
That's a possibility. That would have been great for them.
If he went there
I
now,
don't
we were
think
talking about
D-Hop-
16.
I don't think D-Hop is a top one. I don't think D-Hop is a true number one right now, like anymore.
My thing
I don't
is,
think
they
so.
went 8-9, and their schedule got harder,
Yeah.
like 10 times harder.
And they also got better just with the offensive play calling.
Who?
The
But the
Patriots.
play calling could be there, but if their
Hopkins
weapons
missed,
aren't there,
What, 8 games last year?
No, his numbers are fucking nuts.
1,000? Not a true one? Bro.
I don't think he's a true one no more. I don't.
that's irrelevant. The play calling got better, but their offensive weapons just outside the running game is still
it's
not
just
there.
such a strong statement to say, and we just move on like that.
We already discussed
The issue with Hopkins is, I think he's not a top end.
a
one
lot of the
anymore.
targets and receptions were manufactured because they were quick screens, and
Because you
passes and
manufacture them for DeAndre.
you manufactured them because the quarterback play was garbage. But for me, like, I don't view DeAndre Hopkins in the same lens as I view other top receivers right
No,
now. I
no.
don't.
Maybe low end ones though.
That's what, I think he's a low end one. At worst, high end.
I mean,
two,
when
but I
I'm-
just don't
when
think
I'm talking about,
his
like,
numbers.
DJ Moore or DeAndre Hopkins?
How the fuck you had to use him?
Because he's a one.
I know, but that was
You
just.
think he's a true
was
one?
just-
We said low end one. I named you a low end one.
Well, I just said true.
you
number one
believe he's a
receiver.
low end
Pride
one?
D Hop.
DJ?
It's
Yeah.
close though.
Yeah, he's a
Pride
low end
D-Hop.
one.
Okay, he wasn't a big fan of him. I
No.
think I forgot that.
I'm not saying that I wasn't a big fan of his. I just believed in Deontay
Do you
Johnson.
think Hopkins is better than Terry McLaurin?
No,
Yes.
Right now, he's not.
I would take DJ. I would
you
take
think? But I feel like Terry
DeAndre
is
Hopkins
like
still.
between high end and low end.
Yeah,
I think no.
That's
I
where
think
D-Hop
McLaurin
is,
is
I
a
think.
high end one. He just hasn't had the quarterback
He's not a
to
high-end
do
one,
anything.
man.
I think he's in the middle. I think he's
High
in the
end,
middle.
high end one is the top of the top.
You're
So
right.
I think it's only like
You're right.
eight high end ones in the league.
Yeah.
Listen. It's the high end ones.
Like
is
Waddle is
easily-
like the bottom of the high end ones.
The high end ones is easily Stephon, I said Stephon
Stephon
Diggs.
Chase,
Stephon Diggs, Jamar
Jedders,
Chase,
Cup,
Jedders,
Tay.
Cup. Yeah, those are the ones.
Like Waddle was like the bottom end of like, all right, this is where you kind of like high end one, but you kind
I
of
feel
start
like
getting low.
it's unfortunate to Waddle to T. Like we understand their talent. We know that these guys, if they were on a team that they didn't have Tyreek, they didn't have Jamar Chase, that these guys are capable enough to be ones. Waddle and Higgins.
Think T Higgins?
For sure.
So can Devontae Smith.
Smitty as well. That's another one.
So can
but it's like,
Ayuk,
but
too.
it's an unfortunate tag that their
like
wide
Ayuk.
receiver twos
I like
on their
Ayuk is
team.
like that.
Can you consider them ones? It's like talent wise, yes, they're ones,
Oh no, Smitty's a 1.
but on their team, they're 2.
1A, 1B.
You think Hopkins is better than Waddle right now at this point?
I would take Waddle.
I think he's better than him though.
Waddle's better than Hopkins right now.
Probably take Waddle.
I don't know.
The speed's crazy.
Personally, I don't think Waddle's better than McLaurin. That's just me though.
Yeah, that is just you.
I would take Waddle.
I mean, Terry McLaurin.
I haven't heard that taken a while.
I mean, Terry McLaurin is an elite receiver, man. He just
Scary.
doesn't have
He's
the
really
quarterback
good.
play.
He's really good.
So if your guy Sam
people
Howell's the
love
guy,
Terry McLaurin.
DJ Moore never had the
we'll
quarterback.
see.
McLaurin's gonna have a really good season.
oh, we'll see. Hopefully, I hope for McLaurin's sake.
McLaurin just got an injury too,
he'll
but
put
he
up
should be okay.
turf toe, yeah.
But that's my hype is with Jahan. I believe in the skill set of Jahan. Jahan's a big play guy.
Terry McLaurin was
Amazing
cooking
route
all
runner.
pro corners.
No,
as a
oh
rookie.
my God, for sure. Terry's great.
So is Darnell Mooney.
So is DJ Moore.
it's not.
We're here.
I know you know that Jalen Ramsey. Clip.
That's the one play. Darnell Mooney's overrated as fuck, bro.
Overrated.
Who overrates?
I
You
think
just
he'd
be
be a good
lying.
guy.
Who
I
overrates
thinking
him?
he's like.
He's good. He's okay.
He's a good wide receiver too.
I think he's a solid 2.
I think he's a 3. Good number 3.
well, you
overrated him.
he's a Gabe. He's in the Gabe Davis tier.
you overrated Gabe
He's
Davis.
better than Gabe Davis.
No, I
he,
did.
he
100%.
wipes Gabe Davis.
He's way better than
He
Gabe Davis.
wipes
Gabe
he's
Gabe
better,
Davis
he's
can't
better
do-
than Alan Lazard.
easily.
Clears Alan Lazard.
Mooney.
Of course he is.
Okay.
You overrated
Well,
Alan
you
Lazard.
love both of them. That's why I'm asking.
Well, Alan Lazard is good for specific things.
Here's a good question: Tyler Boyd or Darnell Mooney?
Tyler Boyd.
I like
That's
Mooney.
tough.
I like Mooney's explosiveness.
Tyler Boyd's really good. I think I'd slightly lean Mooney though.
I hate him, man. Mooney gonna have a breakout year.
We gonna see, man. We gonna see what this Bears offense
Yo, Mooney or
is.
Pickens, bro?
Ooh.
Pickens.
Okay. Just
probably
want to see where
lean
your heart
Pickens. I'd
was.
probably lean
Ah,
Pickens.
come on.
Just want to know where your heart was.
Pickens or Olave. Give
Oh,
me
man.
Pickens.
God, John needed a lap after that shit.
So on to the last 2 segments of the show. We're gonna talk basketball.
Sir.
James Harden called Daryl Morey a liar. This happened a while ago, and he made a video. He was in China, and he talked to a camera, and he said, Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
And they fined him for that, right?
They fined him $100K for it, and the NBAPA is disputing the fine
Yeah.
because they don't think
Why
he
did
violated
they
any
fine him?
rules. Yeah.
Like,
I
what's
thought the original issue was publicly demanding a trade was the reason why he got fined.
I think they're rescinding it, or he's fighting it or something.
He's
That's
fighting
what-
it. They're appealing it for sure.
Here's the thing
I fuck with it.
with James Harden.
What he did.
Absolutely.
Morey stabbed him in the fucking back.
All the NBA has done is heighten and really emphasize player empowerment. What he did was vocalize his situation on a public scale. You're allowed to
Man,
do
he's
that.
not even in the country.
And you're 100% right. Morey stabbed him in the fucking back. He lied to him blatantly, said, I'm going to give you a max contract at the end of the season. Did Harden fold towards the end of the season that would make Morey think that he shouldn't? Yes, you could argue that, sure. But in the regular season, what he put forward was a fringe All-NBA performance. He was very,
Then
very
he opted
good.
in thinking
Correct,
Morey told me they were
correct.
going to trade him, so he opts in. He could have opted out.
Correct.
He opted in thinking he was going to get traded. They told me he was going to get traded, and then they're like,
Lied
they're not going to
again.
trade him.
Correct.
Like, I understand Harden doesn't deserve the max. I agree. Harden does not deserve the max.
Yep.
But if you and Morey, they have a different type of relationship than most GMs and players. They've been with each other for a long time. So y'all have this relationship where y'all supposed to tell each other the truth, not lie to each other, and you blatantly lied twice to him. I would feel a type of way, just like I don't think James Harden is wrong for it. He did play like shit. He's wrong for that, for sure. 100%. Nobody's denying that. He doesn't deserve the max. Morey's not wrong for not paying the max, but he's wrong for lying to him lying to him and going behind his back. And I think that's what Harden's really upset about. And I understand it.
Here's
Or-
the thing, Riff.
Yeah, go ahead. No, it's your guy.
Here's the thing, Riff. You're absolutely on point.
This was
And,
gonna say you disagree.
you know, thank you, Dehls. This the thing with James Harden is that although down the stretch he folded in the playoffs, ultimately he won 2 games for the Sixers. His performances directly led to 2 games. If Embiid plays like an MVP, then they can go to the
Easily.
Eastern Conference
Or if they
Finals.
could stop Jason
They could
Tatum.
go to the finals. Yeah, I guess so. And come on, Dehls. We're talking about James Harden here.
My bad.
Come on, what are you doing? James Harden, I don't think he deserved the max either, but he took the pay cut last year, $15 million, because he thought he was going to get paid.
Would have never been me.
I'm unsure about the situation of whether or not he opted in because he believed he was going to get traded. I think he opted in because, it's $35 million. No other team on the market was going to pay him what he was going to get paid this upcoming season by Philadelphia. I don't think any of the teams he wanted to go to, the Clippers are at the top of the list. They can't offer him more than the mid-level. I don't even think they have that available to them. So for me, I think he opted in because, it's not the max, but I'm going to still get this $35 million because anywhere else I go, I'm looking at a Russell Westbrook type contract for 1 year. So I think he opted in for that reason. I'm shocked that Daryl Morey did this. They've had a relationship for a decade now. Daryl Morey traded for James Harden. He believed in him. And I'm shocked because this was the Sixers' best path going forward. There's no path to title contention if James Harden is not a part of the picture. If you just have Tyrese Maxey and Embiid, that's a team that's going to be a first-round exit. James Harden, if you bring him back with the core they had, with the additions they made getting Patrick Beverley, which I think is a huge addition, with Nick Nurse and his ability in the past to get the most out of certain players that used to underperform in the playoffs, like Kyle Lowry, it could have been something.
Nice pro Nick Nurse talk, man.
I'm always pro Nick Nurse, man. He's had a great journey in career.
Oh, wow.
I'm also pro Doc Rivers talk, too.
Oh, no, I bet you are.
So, for me...
have you ever heard
Doc
that?
is
No, bro, have you
nuts.
ever heard that? Have you ever heard anyone ever say that in their
Nobody's
lifetime?
ever said pro Doc.
So, for me,
except his
this
son.
is... So, for me...
I don't even think so, bro. He traded him. He traded his own son.
It's because he had a great season with Doc before that, though. Austin Rivers can hoop. Let's respect Austin Rivers right now.
Can he?
He's one of the best high school players.
I guess he could hoop. He's in the NBA.
Oh, but listen,
sure.
I'm shocked because he lied to him, and I'm shocked because the Sixers have no path forward to compete if Harden's not on a team, and they can't replace him with someone of equal value.
Oh, you're saying because you're not a believer in Maxey, right?
No, if they trade Harden for freaking Terrence Mann and Norman Powell, let's be real about this team. There's a ceiling on it. So this was their best path forward. So I'm shocked that Daryl Morey did this to James Harden. Should have just paid him.
If we're being completely honest about this team, sure, there's no path to a championship without James Harden, but there's also no path to a championship with James Harden.
If Embiid stays healthy, there is.
Embiid was healthy last year.
Enough.
He was not. He was not. When you needed him most, he was not healthy.
He would never be healthy. Unfortunately, his body is not built to be healthy for an 82-game season and then the playoffs. It's just, I'm sorry. Unfortunate, he's not one of those players. It's just not, that's what it's going to be.
Okay, if he's not one of those players, listen, that's fair for you to say that. Daryl Morey, knowing he's not one of those players,
I have a suggestion.
And he gets injured in the regular
Trade
season.
it all.
Portland wants to keep Dame, right? So if they want to keep Dame, I have a superstar big man on my roster that wants to win. Send Joel Embiid, big ass, to Portland.
Portland's
keep
not trading
Dame.
Scoot.
Keep Dame. Give me Scoot.
Shaden.
Give me Sharp.
Yeah.
You can even keep Simons.
They're not giving him Scoot.
They're not giving him Scoot.
I'm just
but
saying
that's
you
not
gotta
a terrible hypothetical.
You got to start thinking outside the
you
box.
get Simons and Sharp for Embiid.
No,
Keep
Scoot.
Simons.
No, he
Get Sharp.
Scoot and
Get
Shaden.
Scoot.
You need money to work though.
Give me Nurkic. This shit done in a year too. I'll
Interesting.
allow you
Yep.
to keep Simons. I want those two young players for my
Okay,
backcourt.
you would need
Some
Simons.
picks.
You would need Simons to make the money work.
Because Embiid's making a fucking 40-50 mil.
Figure it out.
You would
Give me
trade
Jeremy fucking
Simons.
Grant.
You would trade Simons, Nurkic, and Scoot for
Not
Embiid?
Scoot too.
If
for Portland?
I'm thinking of it from Philly's perspective. I'm thinking of it as like it's not gonna work. Harden is, and I'm reading.
I don't know. Dame and Embiid would be.
And
That
I'll
would
lit.
be such a fun
Jeremy
second round
Grant.
exit team.
That'd be awesome.
I read.
Second round
I'm,
exit, maybe.
I'm
Maybe
reading
first.
it now. Like James Harden said that Morey promised he opted in because Morey promised he was going to trade.
I know.
And they didn't. Like it's beyond repair. Harden is not coming back
no,
at any
he's-
point.
no.
So you are in the situation where like it's either you send him to the Clippers, but if you send Harden to the Clippers, that team isn't going to be good enough to compete. You're just going to waste away. Embiid is going to eventually axe out anyway.
Does James have a no trade clause?
I don't think so.
No, he doesn't.
So
have
then
enough.
what's the issue? Just trade him wherever you get the best value.
Because there's no value.
There's no value for
there's
Harden.
no team that's going to trade for James Harden.
Don't the
knowing
Clippers not
that
want to
he
give
might
up
not wanna
Terrence
play.
Mann? Isn't that the
I
report
don't
that they
know.
don't even want to give
I
up
think
Terrence Mann for
they're
him?
hung up on picks. That's what
It's
that's
the picks.
that's
The Clippers don't have any picks. So it's like
If I'm the Clippers, I don't want to
Listen,
trade my
I got a
picks either.
suggestion, man. Trade James Harden to Minnesota.
Oh, it's always
they don't have any picks either.
fuck no.
Yeah, you're cooked. You traded all of them for Rudy fucking Gobert.
Trade Cat.
Oh, and then have Cat and then be. That shit's awful.
That sounds awesome.
No, it doesn't.
It wouldn't work.
That sounds cool.
Listen,
It wouldn't
you'd be
work.
lying.
Just be cool. It's like in theory, like
You don't
Cat and
even
Embiid
like
on the
Cat.
same team. I mean, I don't care for him. I don't dislike him.
How would it work though?
Same
I
way,
just don't
did you think that Anthony Davis and Boogie would work?
It barely worked.
But it didn't.
It barely worked.
It was
They were
cool,
playing
but,
cool basketball. though.
Yes,
Yeah, but it
but
barely
they
worked.
gotta
It was like
win.
30
They made the
games.
They didn't have
playoffs.
good role
Boogie
players
got
around
hurt.
them, though.
I know, but they still made the playoffs.
Yeah, but Boogie got hurt before they made the playoffs.
I know, but they were still playing cool basketball. It was cool basketball.
If you get James Harden, what if you don't trade Cat? What if you trade somebody else?
like, who?
How are you gonna make
Gobert?
this
Like
money
Mike
work?
Conley?
That's not happening.
They're gonna be hung up on the picks.
McDaniels would move, and you'd rather eat shit
Mike
than that
Daniels
happen.
would not move.
That's
If
what I'm
it's,
saying.
He's untouchable,
if it's
huh?
a 1 year for Harden,
Yeah, he's untouchable.
McDaniels is untouchable. Bro.
For James Harden, for sure.
Nah, for James Harden, I'm not
Harden,
moving
done.
McDaniels.
I'm telling
But
you,
he's
like,
not
if
touchable.
Harden goes, you have to move Embiid eventually. You might as well move him now.
No, if you trade Harden, Embiid has to follow suit.
You got to trade him.
For sure.
You gotta
And I would
trade
think
Harden
about
and-
trading Maxey. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you.
Edwards.
Nah, Maxey needs to be your cornerstone.
I
He's not a
listen.
cornerstone.
He's not though.
I love Maxey. I love him to death. Love his game. I think he's an extremely good
He'll never be
complementary
a
piece.
one.
But he won't be a one, and you have to pay him next year. Why not just start over, completely over with
Nah,
other
you
young
need
players
one,
on a
though,
rookie
and
deal?
he's young.
If
You
you're
need
gonna get a
one,
lot
he's
back
young.
with Embiid, you're gonna get a young player
For
back
sure.
with Embiid. You don't want to hold yourself to that Maxey deal.
Just one deal though. It'd be one deal, one player that you're playing a lot of money.
I think I'd be good. I think I would trade everybody. I would trade anything that
Like,
holds
what's Maxey
any.
making? He's gonna make what? Maybe
Maxey's
30.
gonna
Probably
get
get
an
100 mil.
extension.
I'm asking you a
He'll get
question.
100 mil.
Is he
25
making?
to 30.
That's what I'm wondering.
He's gonna get.
That's a great contract.
He's gonna get a Desmond Bain contract.
That's
40?
great. No, Desmond's not making 40, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Why would Maxey not get that?
Because he's not Desmond Bain, bro.
He's
He does-
not Desmond
he's in the
Bain.
tier though.
No,
He's gonna
he's
get
not.
No,
Yes,
no.
Desmond
he
Bain
is.
is a-
Tyrese Maxey is in that tier.
Are you going off that athletic list? I see. He's not in that same tier.
No, I'm
Desmond
going off
Bain's
the
better.
fact that he gave Toronto 35 in his first playoff game.
Desmond Bain's one of the best 3-point shooters in the game.
I
bro.
agree.
He's a good defender.
And he's a really good defender.
Maxey's a solid defender. Just small.
That's what it is.
Maxey played really good against Boston.
He did.
Maxey's a good playoff performer. Why are we acting
Maxey's
like
good.
it's not an insane gap? Like Maxey's gonna get it back.
Maxey is also one of the
You
best
just be
3-point
hating on
shooters
Desmond
in the
Bain,
game.
bro.
Huh?
Just be hating on Desmond Bain. Can't allow that.
I'll tell you what, man.
He's right, but this
Making a
had
good
nothing.
point.
That has no correlation to this conversation.
You know what? I appreciate that honesty right there. He just admitted that you don't
So
fuck with
you think that Desmond Bain should get? Do you think that Tyrese Maxey should get 40 mil?
I think he will.
You
I don't
he
think
will?
Bain should have got 40 mil, but I think he will get that max. I think he'll get that extension.
I think Maxey's deal is probably looking at that 30.
And pause. I think Bain is better than Maxey.
Yes,
I think Desmond Bain is a better.
yes.
But I don't think the gap is like he's like Bain isn't the 8th best shooting guard, and Maxey's
Here's
the
the
14th.
thing, and I
Like,
get it
close.
that it's not their fault that this is the contract they agreed to, but Brunson's getting paid at $25 million. Hero's going to be getting paid probably a little bit more than 25. I don't know if they gave him an extension off the top
He was
of my
getting paid
head.
30.
So that's going to be the exact price range
Those
that
were
Maxey's going
2-3
to
years.
get.
That was 2-3 years ago.
But if I'm the
That was last
76ers,
offseason, I think.
it was
No,
the,
not Hero.
no. Last season was Brunson. Obviously, that's 25. Simon's got 25. That was an amazing contract by the Portland Trailblazers. If I'm the 76ers, I tell Maxey, hey, bro, listen, you're an amazing offensive, solid offensive player. You have amazing potential as a scorer in this league, but as of this point, you're not worth $40 million. He's worth 30, max 35, max. I'm being generous.
No difference between 35 and 40.
Yeah, he
That's $5
agreed.
million.
Tyler Hero agreed to it October 2nd, 2022.
2022.
What's the contract? He's getting
27,
4
29,
years, 130
31.
mil.
Yeah, it's 27, 29, 31, 33.
All right.
Maxey will get more than that.
that is going to be the money that Tyrese Maxey gets.
No, he will get more
Damn,
than that.
all getting paid more than Jalen Brunson. That's
It's
crazy.
a steal. It's the best
The
contract
best
in the NBA.
contract, yes.
Best contract
Yes.
in the NBA.
Yes, well said, Joel.
When you get that text and you wake up and they say Tyrese Maxey has signed a $40
I'm gonna
$40
throw
million
up.
contract, I'm gonna be like,
That's how most players get paid, though.
All these young players are gonna get
You know
paid.
what better
Contract
player,
Holy shit.
Fred or Maxey?
Maxey. Right
Fred or
now.
Max. So you're taking Austin Reeves over Fred VanVleet like super easy?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the conversation?
Fred VanVleet or Maxey?
Maxey.
Okay.
Fred got 30.
Fred got 40.
Huh?
Fred got 40.
Yeah, Maxey is
Yeah.
now eligible to sign a max 5-year contract.
I
Really?
think Fred has just dropped
Does
off.
that have the number?
No, does not apparently.
Max 5 years, though. That's going to be way more than fucking 30, probably.
I can see him getting 35.
I can, yeah.
Plays hard, good shooter, Great in transition.
I guess. I guess you're right, Rev. You won. Sorry. No, he did.
He's eligible to receive 5-year, $213. Oh my God.
That's 40 plus.
These young players are gonna get that money. It's happening. We're done.
All right,
the league is locked in. He may not get. We'll probably get in between us. Pause.
But that's what I said. 30, 35.
30's not in between. I'm saying in between Hero and Bane. So he'll get like 35. He'll get 35.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
He'll get 35.
That's reasonable.
And I don't think you should stick yourself with a number 3 on the championship team.
Okay.
And that's me being realistic about Maxey.
Uh-huh.
I think you should just start the shit over.
Okay.
Might as
New
well.
process.
Tobias.
Here's
He'll be the
the
cornerstone.
He's
thing,
another guy
Rev.
that got to go.
Nah, he stays.
I got a bone to pick with Rev right here. I got a bone to pick.
We haven't talked basketball for weeks. What do you have the bone to pick?
My bone to pick with Rev is that when you went and we did the hot chip challenge, that's on Patreon, by the way. Mm-hmm. Before that we had an argument about Anthony Edwards and Paul George. We had a discussion. I just think you were a little bit too disrespectful. I say unfamiliar with Anthony Edwards. And now that in Team USA,
you don't watch Timberwolves games.
Your coach Steve Kerr called him undoubtedly the guy. I mean, Anthony Edwards is showing out against the top stars in the league.
You mean the Puerto Rico?
With the top stars. No, against Germany. Yeah. Respect
Franz
Germany,
Wagner
actually.
and Moritz Wagner.
Franz Wagner's good.
Top star. You said top
Then
star.
I'm saying.
At camp.
No, within the team.
Oh, okay.
Team
You
USA.
all right, you fucked me.
Within the top.
What now? God.
There are some top NBA players on this Team USA team.
For sure.
And Edwards is undoubtedly the star of the team. I just feel like you be sleeping on Ant, man. You do.
Here we go.
Here we go. Once again, Dehls, I thought we had a great discussion in the Patreon. I thought it was a very nice back and forth, a little banter. We gave our points. Of course, I knew you were gonna bring up the FIBA. I'll be honest, for him to be the best player in that room is expected. I don't think there's anybody like. Shout out to him. He's one of the upper, but there isn't a Jason Tatum in that room. There isn't a Luka in that room. There isn't a John Moran, SG. None of those guys that are either ahead of him or the tier he's getting to. I think those guys like Brandon Ingram, Hallie, those are guys that were in his tier or the tier he was coming out of. So it's expected that he has that mentality. So it's expected that he's kind of the guy in that room. I don't think you should use FIBA as the as the counter argument to what we're saying, but I just think
I don't think that's what he's doing. What I think he's doing is using what we just saw in the regular season and in the postseason.
He literally just spoke only about FIBA.
No, but then it only adds to his argument
34 points
that he was
amazing
against Germany.
I do think
Steve Kerr stamp.
I do think Steve Kerr stamps a lot of guys.
Like who?
Not Kuminga, apparently.
He stamped Reeves.
Well, that's obvious.
Austin Reeves is a good player, man.
Solid.
He was one of the most actually insane. The 180 he's done on Reeves is got to be studied.
That's a 180. It looks like a 720. I do
that
think
just means I'm back at the same point. It's 2 360s.
Oh fuck.
540.
There we go. Right here. Thank you. I do think and you tweeted this, so I'm sure you'll agree with me.
What?
That the Ant hype has been getting a little bit too overhyped.
Is he not the face of this shit? MVP.
I don't think he is.
Jason
I don't think he's the
No,
face. I don't think he's the face.
That's not what I meant.
No, what he meant was he's not. There's no more gatekeeping Anthony Edwards. That's what he's trying to do.
I don't think there's never been gatekeeping.
No,
though.
It's the number one overall pick.
It wasn't gatekeeping. It's just
He's like, oh man, I'm not the only one that loves Ant anymore.
I mean, we've been.
Bro, what
I've
number
been
one overall?
that's exactly what I was.
Hold on,
I read that shit and I was just like, bro,
Relax.
That's not how I
this-
took it. Maybe I fucked up.
nah, bro.
Nah, you did fuck up. That's not how I meant
Oh,
it.
so you said some bullshit.
I meant it in how. I mean, for 2 years now, I've been hitting the Anthony Edwards drum. I mean, as a rookie, I was hitting the Anthony Edwards drum. I've always seen this type of potential. These debates we were getting. Oh, you think Anthony Edwards could be as good as Jason Tatum? You think? Remember, you were saying, oh, there's no way he could do that.
Still a long shot.
I'm glad that
It's not a long shot.
Better than Jason Tatum is a top 5, top 3
Or
player
in the same
world.
tier. Yes,
but
he
Anthony
can
Edwards
be
can be that.
Yeah, but
Now
I'm saying it's still a
people-
long shot as of today.
that. I'm saying
Long shot?
No, it's
Tatum's
not.
like a top 7 player in the world.
No,
Anthony Edwards
absolutely.
could be that.
He can
Anthony
be.
Edwards left out last year, probably top 20.
No, you know what? Here's the difference, and I can level because that's what I love to do. I'm with you. Tatum's already that. What we're saying can
Tatum
be.
still can
he hasn't
grow.
done it yet.
Tatum's 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
No,
like,
Tatum's a young goat. He's amazing.
Yeah, but I think Anthony Edwards is going to be in.
I'm
that
not
top
saying. I'm
7
not saying.
range, though.
I'm just saying it's a long shot
But
at,
what I'm
right
saying,
now.
What I'm saying though is
They
that
have similar skill sets.
No, they
Timberwolves
don't.
Except obviously
fans-
Tatum's just better right now. What's the difference? They're both
Tatum's more finesse. They don't have this similar skill sets at all. Actually,
Well, I don't
finesse in what way?
They have similar skill sets.
Edwards is not far
scorers.
away, bro.
Tatum's just bigger.
and is more aggression, rim. Tatum's more finesse, jumpers.
And can play himself into the top 10 within the next 2 years.
We've seen it. We've seen that type of ascension from other players.
He's special.
2 years.
Like Trey Young put himself into the top 10 conversation at one point in time.
John Moran put himself.
John Moran also
Wait, you mean the
did
conversation or actually like us coming to an agreement he's top 10? Because there's a difference between the conversation. I
he's
don't think
top
none
10.
of us believe Trey Young was a top. Well,
No.
let me stop lying.
No.
I don't think us three believe Trey
now
Young
he's
was
not
a
even a
top
top
10
10
player.
player.
What do you mean? Trey Young, after that year that they made it to the ECF,
Top 10?
he was definitely
He was in the
that
conversation probably.
Devin Booker.
ECF push was
Devin Booker's probably
pretty
one.
crazy.
Probably one is that because he's
at this
still
point
hovering.
now. Yeah, at this point for sure.
Here's the thing with
Gotta
Ant
respect
is
him.
that I've seen this for a long time. Not every first over. Just because you're drafted first overall does not mean
No, I
it's the
understand.
same.
I understand.
Anthony Edwards, as a prospect coming out of Georgia, won the 2020 or was it 2020-2019 NBA draft? I believe it was.
19?
I think 19.
It was one of those. But that draft, no, it was a 2020 NBA draft. That
2020
draft,
draft, so I told you.
Anthony Edwards wasn't even the consensus number one overall pick. You know, nobody knew who Minnesota was going to draft. There were reports coming out the draft that he didn't even care about basketball. The discourse around Ant was not that good. And also at Georgia, he was labeled a shot chucker, a jock, inefficient.
I'll be honest, gang. He was either one or two.
Okay, but he wasn't a consensus number one overall pick. So saying that is crazy. Saying that just because people think he's a superstar, that's not a crazy take. I think it was definitely at a time because we don't see often that two guards play into that realm anymore. Like we don't. Like Devin Booker is a recent example, but the second guy to D-book is Donovan Mitchell, and Donovan Mitchell is not top 10. Like I think nowadays it's rare to see two guards elevate into that type of status. And what I meant about that tweet is that for a long time, for a while now, Timberwolves fans, myself with them talking, we knew Anthony Edwards had this type of gear.
You know,
and now everybody is coming to it. Like, yeah, now it's consensus that everybody believes now, oh yeah, he's the next superstar.
But you know what my counter is, and I like this is great conversation. You know what my counter is to that? It may not have been guys who have been top 10 as two guards, but there's always guys that are two guards that get that hype. That same hype like Donovan Mitchell is not, but he got that same type of hype after they beat OKC in the playoffs. After he had that first round, he got that same type. Like, yo, this is one of those guys that could potentially come into the top 10. You know, so I think the hype is warranted based off what because John Morant got the same hype after the 5 games against Utah. No, I'm saying just in general, he got that same height, averaged 30. He looked dominant against Utah and Rudy Gobert. They just lost. It's fair to that Ant's getting that same hype.
I mean, I've said this for a while, though. I mean, we've had segments on the podcast comparing Anthony Edwards to John Moran 2 years ago.
Do you want to hear it? That's why I've been quiet all this time, because I wanted to look at this video because, Joel is the Anthony Edwards vocal. He's very vocal about how much he loves him. But I want to play this clip because, of course, I'm very excellent transition, Joel. Thank you.
And I think he's going to be an all-NBA defender, too. Don't sleep on that.
Defensively, he's really good. Maybe.
Shout out to our brother
He's
JC.
going to be a more polished offensive version of Jimmy Butler. In the next 5 years, who will be the better player, Anthony Edwards or John Moran? I'll start with you.
John. Getting put on the spot like this sucks. I'm going to say Anthony Edwards. I'm going to say John Moran.
I think Anthony Edwards is going to be the better player.
Just saying.
Oh, you were trying to put your
All I'm saying is this
You
was
tried to add it?
2022. This was let me make sure I get the date correct. This was February 8th, 2022.
It was crazy.
I've been along for the ride.
It was crazy to be that high on Ant. But now
That was last year.
That was a year.
That was
Yeah,
last year. But now it's consensus, not just
Stop
I think
playing with me, bro.
we all think Anthony Edwards is going to be a top guy, but now I think everybody is seeing a similar thing. And that's what I meant by the tweet that I hate that now everybody's coming on the bandwagon. Kind of like how you might feel with SGA.
Bro, that's how I feel about Austin Reeves. I understand.
So, yeah,
Got
we're on the
it.
same.
SGA, yeah, because SGA is like people didn't watch him before this year. That's why I get so angry. About
I understand
it.
that.
Yeah, people and then they the problem is they put him in categories. I saw
That's
this
more
I
understandable.
saw this one guy say he was better than Steph and he was better than Luka, and I'm like, come on, like we don't.
I mean, he was
That's how you
below
ruin the
THT
discourse.
on a Bleacher Report list.
It's nuts, but like certain things we don't have to do.
That's
You know, we don't have to put him
I
in
mean,
these
the Lakers shit
conversations.
always
You
crazy.
know, so I'd be like,
That's
somebody,
why people were THT was the reason why people were not understanding why Lakers fans were so high on Austin Reeves. THT ruined that image because THT got so overrated so fast.
Kuz, too.
LeBron did
Say that
that.
one more time.
Said Kuz too.
Oh, Kuz?
They were saying better than Tatum.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, they was at one
They
point.
were.
Oh my God, that literally
Oh,
was never
facts!
the case.
I remember
Yeah.
those talks. Those were crazy, yo. That was good times. I'll be honest.
No, but
The hoops was funny.
THT definitely is the reason why people feel like Laker fans exaggerate about their players, when in reality, we were right about Caruso and we're 100% right about Austin Reeves.
So,
Yeah, I
so
mean-
we're on the. I'm sorry.
No,
Doug.
no,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
We're on the. Explain your tweet. We're on Ant Edwards and shit. You might as well explain your tweet.
Oh, dude, happily. So the topic was supposed to be in a redraft, where does Anthony Edwards go? I have him going 5th. I have Nikola Jokic number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo 2.
Excluding out the old guys, what you're saying. Yes.
Which absolutely, I don't have KD, LeBron. I don't
Jimmy
have
Butler.
Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi
you
Leonard.
gotta make that clear.
These are, of
Guys.
course, absolutely. These are guys that they
Anthony
are.
Davis is not in
And
here.
He didn't include him either,
I have my snubs are Anthony Davis and SGA. So I'll finish my list. Number 3, Jason Tatum. Number 4, Luka Doncic. I got a lot of pushback for that. They want Luka over Tatum. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the guy whose floor is an ECF, elite level scorer, elite two-way player. Someone that just does it every single season. Not that Luka doesn't, of course. He's a special player. But as of right now, he's number 4. That's not disrespect. Number 5, Anthony Edwards. Who I snubbed was Anthony Davis. At this point, I understand Anthony Davis was unbelievable last season. Really reminded everyone with his playoff performance how amazing, how elite of a player he is when he's healthy. But it's just that concern of whether he's going to be injured or on the court or not. Although he does play a lot more than other players that people feel he's more injury prone than, talking about a Kawhi, talking about a PG. He plays more than those guys, but regardless of that fact, I trust these guys to be on the court a little bit more. And then SGA, this is who Riv wants to have a conversation about, which I'm fine with. I just think that as of right now, I look at SGA, first team All-NBA. He was phenomenal. He put the Oklahoma City Thunder in a position that they were in a play-in game, excuse me. They overachieved. They were fantastic. I look at Anthony Edwards' skill set, and I just think all around, I would rather Anthony Edwards. We had this conversation earlier in the car about scoring. SGA made his mark this season, driving the ball to the basket. He wasn't a great three-point shooter this season at all. Still averaged 30. That's a testament how great SGA is, but I still look at as 3 levels. Anthony Edwards is a better 3-level scorer. Defensively, the statistics might tell you that SGA is better, but for the frame, for the size, I'm going with Anthony Edwards.
So, question: would you take Kyrie over Giannis?
No.
But Kyrie's a better 3-level scorer.
The two-way ability of Giannis
No, I'm
is
just talking about
crazy,
on offense.
but also 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP.
I think, and because I saw people give you like, kind of like not want to have a conversation with you about it. So I was like, I'll see him later. We can just talk about it and whatnot. The Luka over Tatum thing, I think, there's people are like, that's whatever. I don't really care about that. That's gonna be a conversation for 10 years, 15 years.
For sure.
Those are the two that's always gonna be heated. But with Ant being 5, I think the only part that got me was confused about when you was like he's an overall better player, because I think what SGA does on the court, especially as of right now, I think if you talk about potential, I think Ant Edwards' ceiling is higher than SGA. I think it's 100% higher. But I think if we talk about as of today, right now, SGA has been a 23 point per game scorer, 24 point.
Why do you think his ceiling's higher?
Because I think I don't think SGA will ever be the defender Ant is. I think Ant, if he can consistently lock in, can be an elite on-ball defender. I think SGA is a great team defender. I think that's really important. But I think Ant on defense has a higher ceiling. I think offensively they provide the same ceiling realistically. Ant just didn't get there yet. But I think as of today, I think SGA is a better off-ball defender. I think offensively, what he can provide to you in a vacuum, what he can do against defenses, he can split through the pick and roll, get to his spots at will. What he did with OKC was impressive. That's why that was the only thing I was upset about. You could say you would take Ant because of the potential, but to say he's overall better as of today, I don't know if you could say that.
I can understand being upset about that. I probably should have worded it a little bit better, but I feel like with potential, yes, all around, I'm just going with Anthony Edwards. That's really what it comes down to. This early in his career, yes, you mentioned it, SGA has accomplished these things in the past, but injury was a concern with him at one point in time as well. Anthony Edwards, where Karl Anthony Towns was supposed to be the best player on his team, we're already looking at it as this is Anthony Edwards' team. The Minnesota Timberwolves can move off of Karl Anthony Towns, and we're all okay with that because of how great Anthony Edwards is and how early on in his career he has shown this. And putting one of the best performances against the Denver Nuggets in the entire playoffs, that also is something that I'm weighing heavy into this as well. He put up a great performance last year against the Grizzlies also. He was great this entire regular season. When Karl Anthony Towns went down, he rallied the troops. He was the leader that the team needed, and he put them in a position to make the playoffs. I mean, he's a special talent, and I understand the argument for SGA. This is a very I give the edge to Anthony Edwards because I feel like his potential is higher, absolutely, but there's no ignoring the fact that SGA is a phenomenal basketball player himself. He's sixth on this list for me.
Yeah, I just think what's hurting him is probably the playoffs. You know, I think
the lack thereof being there.
The lack, like, because the last time he was in the playoffs, he was like a second, third option.
Yep.
You know, they had Chris Paul, they had Schroeder, so that's probably like and
He ain't played that well.
Yeah, he like had one or two good games. You know, nothing like crazy. So like it's and Ant just is coming off a 35-point per game playoff. So you know, it's kind of like he's great in the playoffs. It's kind of tough. So I think that's probably the thing that you would kind of stick over. But I think like this year, because I feel like people lose the sight of the basketball conversations nowadays. Like on Twitter, people are starting to, you know, because we're getting paid now on Twitter, so people are starting to just make out.
It's
tweets.
horrible.
Yeah, and people
Putting shit out there.
people are missing out on the actual view of a conversation to try to get better at. So I think like with Ant versus SGA this year, both of their teams are expected to do big things. You know, at least make the playoffs. So I think this is going to be like a big time year for both of them because this is SGA's first time really on the big stage. You know, being All NBA, being a superstar level player. So the attention is going to be on him at an enormous high. So I think this year is going to be definitely the separator.
They feel interchangeable, those two, Ant and SGA. The only reason I ever push back with Ant on Jason Tatum's level getting there is the consistent winning Jason Tatum does year in and year out. And of course, the team goes into that. Timberwolves
Huge.
don't have the team that the Celtics have. But now, like, this is basically the time. I need to see Ant. You got to get into the playoffs. You got to win a playoff series. And, of course, it's going to matter with matchup. If he's the 8 seed again going up against Denver, it's going to be a lot different than if they're the 3 seed going up against the Grizzlies or whatever. So I need to start seeing some winning from Ant before I could really put him in that, you know, I see the path to top 5 in the NBA.
I see it. It's obvious. He shows that every single time he steps on the court. Even against the Lakers where he struggled, he still did other things.
Yes.
None
So
of them
maybe it's more in the
None
Timberwolves.
of them are going to be better than Luka.
Maybe it's more in the Timberwolves.
None of them
than
as
the
in
player.
Like any young
SGA,
the new young guys.
Anthony Edwards. I agree with that.
Nah.
Neither is Tatum though.
Okay, he's better than him.
He's not better.
I was at the gym
Has
with
Tatum
Joe.
ever been a 13 seed, 12 seed? What was he?
His team is fucking
11?
great, bro. Yeah.
The Mavs were.
Listen, if his team was so great, then when Tatum got hurt against the Heat, they should have still won that game.
Which one?
I had the Mavs as like a 6 or 7
No,
seed.
the
last year.
Heat
Some
are a
people call
different
me
juggernaut.
crazy.
They ain't beat my
Juggernaut.
The Heat have Boston. The Heat know Boston like the back of their fucking head.
I won't say you're wrong.
They're not beating them unless they had like
Eric
Boston got
Spoelstra's
to be
a goat.
perfect.
We got to listen.
Wait, so we supposed to? So just because the team is great, that team is supposed to beat a finals team if Tatum goes down?
fraudulence.
Screaming.
I just don't like the revisionist history.
Jaylen Brown was horrendous.
He
Game
was so
7.
bad. I don't
Malcolm
like the revisionist
Brogdon
history
was
with the Mavs.
injured.
Yeah, no, I get you.
People had them as a lock top 4 or 5 seed
for
last
sure, for
year,
sure.
and all of a sudden they fall to 11. Like, oh, well, the team sucks. Well, no one was saying that coming into the year.
No one.
I think
Okay,
with Tatum though, for my fault, Joel, I'll let you go. I think, but before, like with Tatum and Luka, I think the only problem with them two is, of course, with people with Tatum, they're gonna look at the defense. You know, Tatum is a great defender. Nobody's
Wipes him.
disputing that.
Mhm.
But Tatum has never been as consistent as Luka on a night-to-night, playoff-to-playoff basis. He has missed the playoffs, but when they're both in the playoffs, Tatum, you know, has his lows. He has his highs. He does. He has his lows.
This
for sure.
postseason, Tatum
No,
was
it was just-
fucking
it's the finals.
amazing.
Yeah,
really
but he
just
still
the
had his
finals.
lows in the Philly series. He still
But
had
they
his lows.
closed-
He had
closed out with
3/4
50.
3/4.
You know,
Yeah, no,
thing,
for
though,
sure.
is
But
that-
Luka never. There's never. You can
That's a
never
fact.
point to a moment
When
where
you-
Luka's
when
had
you- Don't
low.
disagree there.
You could point
I
to a
don't
quarter, but not like
Well,
moments.
against the Warriors, he was overmatched, but he
still played well,
He
though.
put up good
Yeah.
numbers for sure. He was exhausted against
Luka played better against the Warriors than Tatum did.
Well, Tatum's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
And they
for
got
sure.
guarded the same way for the most part.
I think
Tatum-
Luka's a better offensive,
He is.
But here's the thing, though.
passing
Offensive engine,
separates.
yeah.
And this the thing though is that when it comes to Tatum, Tatum was great in the playoffs, but like even Tatum being great in the playoffs is not the level Luka hits in the playoffs from a production standpoint. Luka hits at an all-time level, which is just really phenomenally great. Like,
Hey, listen,
he
who
hit-
has the most points ever in a Game 7?
He hits a
Well,
different
Steph.
level.
It was.
2 weeks.
No,
And
the
I think
babyface assassin
Luka
came in.
on this list, I understand what Giannis has accomplished. I would put Luka second behind Jokic. Like I think Luka is that great. I think
know, it's
Luka is
crazy.
over
It's
I
Jokic.
don't even like Giannis,
No, it's just-
but woo!
I'll say this, and I know that I've been talking a lot this segment. You have to respect and acknowledge 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, 50 ball in a closeout in the Finals. I get it. Luka is a
It's
generational
Giannis'
talent.
limitations is the problem.
Fair. Yes, the mid-range shooting's an issue. Free throw
Just the
inconsistency. Yes, three-point shooting. But you and I spoke about it. His ability to drive into the paint, the gravity that he has, his ability to still find the open passer, his elite level defense. I get it. He's not an elite defender on the perimeter, no, but he's still one of the best rim protectors in the game. He's one of the great navigators on screens also. It's just you have to respect the resume. Luka has the potential to accomplish these things also. But where we stand right now, if you want to go on potential, I mean, again, I don't have much pushback understanding how great Luka is, but it's about acknowledgement and respect of what you've done for me already. I got to lean Giannis.
I think the problem with
But
me,
that's the thing, though, is that like in your list is I think the first two you have in terms of who you think is better.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is Tatum over Luka. Luka is a better player than Tatum, and then you have Ant over SGA because of potential.
But also at the same
No, he
time,
thinks Ant's
I
overall
think-
better player.
Correct. It's
Right
a
now,
two-way ability.
right now he's not though. SGA is a better player. I think Ant
But
could
a
be
lot
that, though.
of SGA's points, and this is where I don't want to sound like I'm being critical on SGA because it's amazing that he's so willing to drive to the basket. That takes toughness, resilience, but he's getting a good portion of his points at the free throw line. It's amazing that he's able to average 30. That's a testament to him at his size.
Did you
Criticize
James Harden? Absolutely.
But did you pull him down scales because of that?
Well, I never, in my opinion, again, I say the MVP of the league the year that he was MVP, my MVP was LeBron James. It's great. Of course, scoring is scoring. End of the day, you don't get knocked. I'm not knocking SGA
He's also
in terms of just comparing player to player.
He's an elite finisher. At the rim.
Elite. He's an elite finisher. Absolutely. You have to be to average 30 and then on top of it not be a great three-point shooter on top of it. It's just the two-way ability of Anthony Edwards. He's obviously he's not the same passer that SGA is. Still a solid passer in his own right. A great defender. Elite two-way player on potential. Probably potential. You don't want to say he's an elite two-way player yet, but he is right on the cusp of being that.
I just think that when it comes to players like Luka that are so generationally great on offense that the defense doesn't have to be there at that type of level.
Just be average
I
at
understand.
least.
It's just that Tatum's elite
But Tatum is,
defensively.
I think Tatum has his moments for sure when
He's
he
one
locks
of the
in.
premier wing
He
defenders.
is, but this is the argument that's disingenuous whenever people mention Jason Tatum and Luka. It's the team aspect of things. I think that it's ridiculous to mention.
But I'm with Joel here. Let's not do this.
No.
The Mavericks were supposed to be a playoff lock.
We can absolutely do this.
That's unfair.
Because we had the conversation at the gym when I told Drew, outside of 1 year, the Celtics have fallen below expectations. Rookie year when Tatum and those players came out and took them by storm.
Game 7,
okay,
Game 7
I understand
finals.
that. I understand that. But
Here we go.
second year with Kyrie, second year with Kyrie,
Woke Dehls up.
second year with Kyrie, you get smoked by the Bucks after winning the
failed
first
that
game.
That was a wild underachievement.
Remind me what year? Just so we
the second
could
year
keep it up.
after
That was
Tatum's
Tatum's
second
second
year.
year. This is all by Tatum.
Tatum's third
Kyrie's
year.
This is 2018.
Whatever Kyrie
No,
year
this is
2 was,
2019.
2019.
Tatum's third year, you guys go to the bubble and you lose to the Heat.
7 games.
You guys were favored in that game though. It
Was
doesn't matter.
that a failure for you?
I thought it was a failure. I mean, you
this
got
was
Kemba, you have Tatum, you have
at
Jaylen
22
Brown.
years old. Jimmy Butler.
Okay, I understand.
Losing
I
to the
understand
Heat
that.
though, I wouldn't call that the failure.
But then
It's not.
the
That's
year
not a
after
failure,
that,
bro.
the year after that, you go to the finals. Yes, but
losing 6.
you lose when you're favored
That
by
was-
a large amount.
But
Tatum failed.
I'll
not the
let
team.
you speak,
Tatum
Joel, because
failed.
I've spoken a lot.
because we are favored when ESPN's dumbass is putting 96% chance.
Them
but
numbers not coming from nothing though.
No, but if
Yeah, we're
you,
up 2-1.
the Vegas odds was not fucking minus 400 Celtics. It was a pretty much toss-up
was.
series, if I remember
Now
correctly.
when y'all were up
Maybe-
2-1.
Okay, but going into that series,
different.
maybe the
Going in.
Celtics are like minus 130.
Actually,
that was a
it
pretty
was-
toss-up series.
It was toss-up. Then you stole game 1.
Yes.
The odds went up Boston.
Yes.
Then you went up 2-1. Going back, it was in Boston for game 4.
4.
Didn't Tatum
shoot
have
up.
the most turnovers ever?
He did. Well, he
in a
played.
playoff
In a playoff
run?
run.
He
reason why-
played
the
8.
reason why it's
7-game
not-
series, 7-game series, 6-game
That don't
The
mean you
series.
gotta
reason
turn
why
the
it's
ball
not
over,
an
bro.
underachievement for me.
Has Ant ever gone to
Fair.
the second round?
Why
Nah,
the hell
don't
we
do
mention
that.
Ant?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
shit.
Don't do that.
What, since when? Like
Has-
Tatum,
has Harden?
No, here, make the argument
How
for
are we
why
in
it's
the
not
finals?
underachievement,
Jason
Joel.
Ta- Jason
Let me
Tatum.
finish this argument because it has in reference to the underachievement. It's not an underachievement that they lost in the finals because they weren't supposed to go there in the first place.
this
Tatum
past year,
underachieved, though.
They had one of the best turnarounds mid-season
Tatum
in the
underachieved.
history of the sport.
No, no.
It's on Tatum.
Tatum
correct.
still underachieved in the
He
finals
didn't.
In
though.
the finals, he did.
This past year, they
Ime
underachieved.
underachieved also. Ime failed the team
I don't.
in the finals, just in the finals. Ime
Because of the
failed
way that
team.
he refused
Defended
to
Curry.
correct the
This
drop
past
coverage.
year, the
was the dumbest
Celtics
shit I've ever
underachieved
seen
too.
in
It was
my
bad.
Yeah, we should have
This
beat
year
Miami.
was for sure.
This year was a failure.
We should have beat Miami. Also, if Tatum doesn't twist his ankle, we probably lose to Denver. But regardless.
So I'm just looking at it from like Jason Tatum got drafted to a 50-win team. Like we can't act like
And all he
The
did is go to
Celtics-
ECF in the finals every year. God
okay,
damn it, he
cool.
sucks.
We're not saying he sucks though.
What the
Like
fuck are we doing?
the Timberwolves had the first overall pick. Why? Because they were
Multiple.
trash.
No, multiple.
They were trash. The Celtics had the third overall pick because the
agree.
Nets gifted them
Can
a
you
pick.
can you
in that
remind
trade.
me all-time greats? How old was Curry when he won his first chip?
27.
How old was LeBron when he won
What
his
does that have
first
to do
chip?
with this
27.
argument?
It's when you go down the line of these
Question.
all-time greats, you don't win at
a good argument.
23,
But wait,
24, and
here's
then
my
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, hold
you
on.
don't.
No, please.
I had a counter.
If
a
you
good
don't,
argument, though.
if you don't win at that age, why the hell are you holding these 21, 22-year-olds to the standard of winning consistently?
About
doing
Luka and
that?
Ant. He does
Who
that as
is?
jokes, though. I think he does that as jokes.
You just said you can't see a ceiling with Anthony Edwards until he wins a playoff series. Tracy McGrady
I
did
said
not
he's
win a
the top
playoff series.
5.
Yeah, people put him in superstar conversation all the time.
How often do I tell you I think Ant's going to be great? I just need to see it maybe 1 or 2 years of consistently in the
I wanna hear
playoffs
what Riv
before
has
I'm
to
like,
say.
he could be top fucking 3 in the league.
I've been counting with your 20 because I thought it's a good argument. So you said how old was Curry? How old was LeBron? The counter question is how many of those guys got drafted into great situations back to back to
Neither.
back years?
Not many.
Neither.
Good point.
Well, neither
It's,
of them.
that's what I'm saying.
Neither.
It's different. Like unfortunately, Tatum got
Fortunately and
drafted.
unfortunately.
Yeah, both. Tatum got drafted to a great situation. Other guys didn't, which means his window to win is a little bit faster than the rest of those guys. And when you keep going, we ask you to,
But
to
I
get
think
one.
outside of this year, which we were heavy favorites to beat
No,
Miami.
the favorite thing, like I don't care about the betting odds and shit, but you went to the ECF twice, 3 times. You played Miami
Yes.
all those times. You went to the finals. You like at one point it's kind of be like, when are you gonna win? Because you've been there so many times. We look at the big 3 in Boston, the big 3 in Miami. They underachieved. Why? Not because they didn't win enough rings. So if we look at them and they underachieved by not winning a lot of rings, we're gonna
But
start
they're
looking
also in
at
their
them.
prime.
It's
That
finals
big
and
threes, Pierce,
course.
KG's in their prime.
For the
They're
last
on
2
out.
years,
Yeah.
for the last 2 years, it's been finals and bust for the Celtics.
This past season
past
was
season
the
last year.
only
I
time.
think last year,
Not
once I made
last
the
year.
turnaround, it was finals or bust.
Yeah, for sure.
But you guys had them losing to the Nets. You had
I
them
hate it.
losing to the Bucks.
Bucks
You
is
had
real.
them
Okay.
losing to the Heat. It's like they were
No,
not
I didn't.
favorites.
No, I didn't.
Either one of you guys, yes.
Okay,
I
but either
know.
or, they made the finals and it was
But
up
you had them
2-1.
winning all of those. So what's the difference?
Well, they won 3 of them and they choked it against
So what's
the
the difference?
Warriors.
If I have them losing all of them, you have them
But
winning.
I was in
You
the
must have thought they were
minority.
going to the finals.
I was in the
They did.
minority.
They don't look. The Celtics don't get the luxury of what you're stating.
Why?
Because
When your
the
best player's 22 and
listen,
23, bro, it just doesn't work
the
like
turnaround, The turnaround the Celtics had, they weren't
It was
supposed to even
historic.
have a turnaround in the first place, though. They were
a first-year
underachieving
head
like
coach.
hell. They were underachieving like hell to begin the season.
The beginning of the season, they were supposed to be a top 3, top 4.
He was a first-season head coach.
We talking about the Celtics that before last season, before they started off bad and had to turn around, this was a team that with their current core had been to the conference finals 2 times
and
already.
They lost in the first round the year before that.
Okay, but the Celtics, those Celtics, exactly. Jaylen Brown was hurt.
And how great it was Jason Tatum. He
Tristan
still
Thompson,
he
Evan
still
Fournier.
caught a game against the
Romeo
Nets.
Langford, Tristan Thompson, and Evan Fournier were on the court together. I need you to understand that is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
Yeah,
but
the
2 out of 3 years before they made the finals and faced Golden State, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. The expectation for the Celtics every year from there on out was going to the finals, bro. It was nothing short of that.
Okay, and every year we went to the ECF for the finals after that.
And what Riv just said about the situation is a great point. Steph Curry wasn't drafted into a situation where he was the bona fide guy, right? Am I not mistaken? In 2017, did the Celtics not make the Eastern Conference Finals with Isaiah Thomas?
Shit, I did.
Yeah. Do you not remember when they got smoked? It was like a 40 ball.
Okay, they got smoked, but
they never had a shot.
The Celtics were
East
still
was ash in 2017.
The Celtics had a great core. They had great structure. When they got drafted, that's not to take nothing away from Tatum.
First year, Jaylen Brown.
I want to say that's not to take nothing away from Jason Tatum, but we can't knock Anthony Edwards for not winning a playoff series.
Not doing that.
I don't think anyone
just
is.
because Tatum
you can knock him
won.
for not winning Memphis. Because he should have won against Memphis.
They should have.
Listen,
Agreed.
Good
point. They blew it.
Memphis for sure.
They blew it. I understand.
Team collective.
I understand that point.
Let me make that. This is not just the Ant-Man thing. The team as a whole,
no, listen,
Minnesota.
I don't even mind if you say Ant, because in Game 6, Anthony Edwards,
he wasn't good.
He went for that steal, and that led to the jaw layup.
No, the
so
jaw
wait,
layup.
is there an issue? Is there an issue with me having Tatum over Anthony Edwards with my list?
No.
Oh, okay,
No.
that's what I'm wondering.
I'm just saying the argument with Luka and Tatum, and then using Tatum's floor as the ACF. Basketball is a team game, bro. Like Dallas Mavericks with Luka in the Luka tenure. I look at one All-Star that he's had, and that was this past season with Kyrie Irving only. He's never had an All-Star teammate. Jason Tatum has had he wasn't an All-Star with Dallas.
But let's be real. He was still a very good
the last time Kristaps
player.
Porzingis was an All-Star was when the year he tore his ACL with the Knicks.
You told me he's an all-star player. That acquisition was meant to really enhance Dallas.
That wasn't a true all-star player.
And that year, the first year
against
that
the
KP,
Clippers, he was really good.
Kristaps was amazing.
And he got hurt.
Yeah, but then his defense fell off. His offense.
Yeah, he's hurt. It was and then also Luka and him just had a terrible chemistry.
They didn't play along together. Well, listen, I think part of that is Luka to blame. I don't think Luka has played the best with his former teammates in the past. But Kristaps Porzingis also was he was complaining a little bit too much. Kristaps Porzingis was trying to beat a man.
It was both. But I feel like as a point guard, you're supposed to be able to put your other guys in positions to succeed. But at the same time, Porzingis was bitching, and
Porzingis got to play his role. He didn't understand his role.
He wasn't doing the things that he needed to do. But it was both.
But I look at the Celtics. You've had an all-star in Kemba. You've had an all-star.
Oh my
that was
God.
not the Kemba we got. Was not the same Charlotte Kemba, bro.
The reach is
You're
crazy.
not calling Porzingis all-star.
That's what. Come on,
he averaged 20.
Kemba was a shell of himself.
Yeah,
Once we got into the bubble,
same.
he was a shell of himself.
Okay, but
Kemba
at least he had an all-star season.
mid.
Now the knees died
My
after.
God,
Kemba
bro.
was
The first year,
mid.
the first Kemba year, he wasn't.
The first year was good.
First year, facts.
So at least you got one.
Facts.
Okay.
Oh man, we got one great year.
Dallas got 1 year of
No, he got hurt against the
KP.
Clippers. Sadly,
Yeah, facts. You
in the
even get
bubble,
that.
he got hurt.
So I'm looking.
Amazing.
That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So exactly, he didn't even get that. Listen, Kemba was just a starter, but don't fixate on Kemba.
Brunson's better than Kemba.
Jaylen Brown, All-Star. Jaylen Brown, All-NBA.
Stud.
Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart. Defense.
You don't even like Marcus Smart.
But he's
Jalen Brunson.
said he was
Jalen
fraudulent.
Brunson's
Wait,
better
hold
than
on.
Kemba.
Is he not okay? Yeah.
And
Is he
Jalen
not-
Brunson's better than Marcus Smart.
Is Marcus Smart not an elite defender?
2 years ago, he
Okay.
was. Yes.
Was he elite defender last year?
No.
Nah,
Derek White, Marcus
Derek White
Smart,
was.
Rob Will, 3 all defensive players.
Derek White was great this year. He was not great last year. Rob
Facts.
Will was banged up last year.
How many?
Every year.
Name me one player that's been all defense with the Mavericks since Lucas got drafted there.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell me. Name me one
Wait,
player.
wait, don't do that though.
No, they had a top 5 defensive unit last 2
But they
seasons
have
ago.
but they haven't had elite defensive personnel.
But they had no.
That's not true.
They haven't had an all NBA level
Individually,
defenders.
no.
But as a team collectively, they've been a great defense. They were
Once.
a top 8 unit and they went to
No,
the
they were
WCF.
top
Yes.
5. They were a top 5
Hey,
unit
listen,
that
I said
season.
top eight to be
Top
safe.
8.
They
Okay,
had
but
really
the
good.
point is that
No, it's
the
not consistent.
Celtics on paper, and even if you want to compare accolades and just names,
the Celtics are
they've
better,
had
yes.
far more talent. So I think it's unfair to hold Luka to that
They've
type
had
of standard.
far more talent. They've succeeded way more
Again,
than Luka has.
it's a for me.
I don't
I
know.
understand that this is a close conversation, and I
I
understand
don't think it's close. I think Luka's better than Tatum.
Again,
Like, I don't think it's close for
if
me.
you think that that's fine, I take the elite two-way play of Tatum, the floor of the ECF. On top of it, he's one of the best scorers in the game.
The floor of the ECF is only because he's on the Celtics. If he was on the Mavericks, they're not doing
God.
shit, bro.
You're right. I honestly think that he at least makes the play-in, though.
Okay.
Can't be an 11
This past
seed.
year?
You can't be fucking top 2 in the world. If you think
Missing
he's
the
clear
playoffs?
Tatum,
Oh, and
he's top 2 in the league.
I've heard is that Luka is the next LeBron. He's offensively, he is LeBron light.
not like that,
LeBron in
though.
2018 with a worse team than what Luka had this past season.
Luka should not be
Made it
compared
to
to
the
LeBron.
finals.
That's insane.
You know, this is where people don't understand what happened with the Mavericks season because they just look at what happened and they don't dive into it at all. The Mavericks deliberately tanked down the season, bro. They deliberately
Why?
They
tanked.
traded for
They
Kyrie.
realized it was over.
They traded for Kyrie Irving.
Why did they
and that
tank?
did not work.
You wanna
because
know
they
why
were
they-
terrible.
You want to know why they tanked those? They tanked because
they
they
needed
had
that first
a
round pick.
protected
They
pick
needed
from the
their
Knicks.
first round pick.
If that pick went to the Knicks, then they wouldn't have had the flexibility that they just had to trade back in the draft, move off a horrible contract in Davis
They've had a
Bertans, and get
very
more
good-
assets.
they've had a very good offseason.
They thought long
But
term. They said
They
this
shouldn't
season.
have been in that situation to start
Facts.
with. You
He's
have
right.
Luka fucking
Don't
Doncic.
ignore that. That's a fact.
You shouldn't even be in the
Is that a fact or
conversation for a
not?
top
No.
10 pick.
Well, Joel, you're being hard-headed.
What other fucking
You're
top 2
being
player in the
hard-headed.
world is
I don't
there?
care.
How is that possible?
Because I don't
They
give
just
a damn.
went to the WCF the year before.
Because I don't give a damn that Luka just missed the play-in this year, missed the playoffs. I don't give a damn
that's
about
not what
that.
I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is simple. They went to the WCF the year before that. This year, you had expectations to at least make the playoffs. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Okay.
Did they fall below expectations?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but then now you realize towards midway of the season, which they still were a top 4, top 5 seed towards at this point in time. Then they acquire Kyrie Irving. They're terrible. They're not
Not
a
Kyrie's
good,
fault, by the way.
No,
They're
not
not
Kyrie at all.
terrible.
No, I'm exaggerating just for conversation purposes,
They're not
and
terrible.
I'm not.
It wasn't
They,
terrible.
they were not
Listen,
good.
bro.
They were an unbelievable offense. The defense was horrendous.
They
the
were worse than
biggest
the Pelicans
issue.
at that
The
point.
biggest
All right,
issue
let
with
me-
the
can I fin-
Mavericks.
Let me finish real quick. You acquire Kyrie Irving. This was supposed to lock you into the playoffs. It does the complete opposite of that. You missed the playoffs. Why are we ignoring the fact that you were a WCF? You made a WCF appearance the year before that. You were a 4 or 5 seed basically the entire season until right at the very end. You get Kyrie Irving right before the trade deadline, and you get worse. That's not an excuse.
Because getting Kyrie wasn't a half-year rental. To all of us, we know that Kyrie Irving is erratic in his decision-making, but the Mavericks had a strong belief that they can buy Kyrie Irving in long-term to their situation. The ultimate goal of that trade, yes, they knew they were trading their best wing defender. They knew they were trading a good player in Dinwiddie. The ultimate goal of that trade was to give Luka an all-star teammate for the next couple of years. They accomplished that goal. They lost a lot of close games. The Mavericks were one of the worst fourth quarter teams. They just didn't have any flow. They didn't have any motion, any rhythm in the fourth quarter. That's why they lost those fourth quarters.
It's still not an excuse
Okay,
for him
but
missing the playoffs.
This is my counter to that. What getting Kyrie Irving at the middle of the year doesn't and not making the playoffs does not define what the season was. I think the season was a play to set themselves up long term. If you come back to me after next season and the Mavericks miss the play-in or get a low seed and they get eliminated the first round, I'll sit here and I'll tell you it's been a failure.
It's possible.
And Luka it's possible. It's also possible that they do way better and they win multiple playoff series. It's also possible they do that as well.
Multiple?
Yes, multiple.
All right.
They'll play Denver.
So with me-
They'll play
so
Denver or Phoenix.
Denver, Phoenix, LA. They're not better than either of
So
them.
They're not
ultimately,
beating Steph on my mother.
this move, I'm not saying this.
know,
I'm
bro.
not saying it's a failure off of half a year, not even less than half a year. So I think it was like 30 games at
Missing
most,
the playoffs
and games
in
where
your
sometimes Luka and Kyrie did not play. So for me, this offseason, they focused on
They've had a
fixing
great
their
offseason.
deficiencies.
They've had a great
They're
one.
focused on their defense and improving that. This team was still an elite offense across the
Absolutely.
board. They were just horrendously bad at rebounding
God.
and defending. So they fixed those things this offseason.
They fixed the
now
defense?
for me, like I was telling Drew,
TBD.
if they fail again this upcoming season and Luka falls short of expectations, you want to give me that conversation 100%.
Okay.
But I'm not going to use this season as a reason to knock Luka just because it ended the way
The
it did.
worry is that
Because
he's
I've
not a
seen-
great team player. That's the worry.
Because I've seen 3 years before this where Luka was going toe to toe with healthy Clippers teams,
doubt.
taking them to 7. He ain't win. He ain't win,
Tatum
but
not go toe to toe with KD, with Giannis.
No, you
with-
swept KD.
Like
It
I
wasn't
mean,
toe-to-toe.
Like he's doing the same shit over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
in the
But
East, bro.
ultimately,
Shit
you
was
went
not
toe to
toe-to-toe.
toe.
Not just doing that though. Not going just toe to toe, but
Beating
winning.
them.
Went toe to toe with those players. Yes, at face
Went
value.
down 3-2 to Milwaukee. Goes into Milwaukee
45.
and outduels the best in the world.
Face value. You say
Come
this.
on,
Listen,
bro.
Best in the world is nuts, but yes, the
At
second
the
best
time,
in the world.
Giannis was the best in the world.
No, it's joke.
Reigning champ.
At the time, Giannis was the
Reigning
best in
champ.
the world.
Joker.
I'm not taking nothing away from Tatum. Tatum was great, and he's had a great playoff so far. He's a
my
great
God,
playoff
he
player.
is.
But ultimately, it's not just going toe to toe with these guys. Luka went toe to toe with the Clippers, but the Clippers had more star power and a better overall roster.
Luka
Was
moments
Luka
where-
the best player in that series?
Yeah, no, Kawhi.
Okay, all right. I'm just
I was
wondering.
The
about
second
to
time. The second time.
Yeah, the second time. Kawhi was the best.
The
Yeah,
first
first-
one was Luka.
Kawhi was right there, though. It was close.
And the bubble
Yeah.
was Luka.
I was about to explode.
Tatum, you saying he going toe to toe with KD? His teams was better.
But
Outside
Tatum
of the
was better
Bucks.
than
Pick the
KD
Nets.
in that series.
Oh, the first time around?
Yeah.
Listen, I picked the Nets, but ultimately, wait, that team was worse.
Got your
Was that
ass.
team not worse?
Yeah, but
we can look at
me and you
it.
picked
We
the
can look at
Nets.
it objectively in hindsight and say that team was worse.
No,
Still,
revisionist.
but to be fair, we still didn't believe they would get swept. Like,
No, we didn't.
Yeah, the
but those games
sweepers.
were close though. It wasn't like
Yeah,
it wasn't
sucks.
clearing.
4-0.
Well,
Doesn't matter if
Luka
we're
and
about 30
Tatum
or
lost to the
3.
best player in the world in the same year. So what the fuck does it matter?
Listen, you could say 4-0, but the Lakers just lost 4 close games to the Denver Nuggets and
Got swept.
listen, it's so
No one gives a fuck.
Well, Drew does a lot say that could have been 6, that could have been 5.
I don't do that.
Drew takes it.
Only off camera.
Drew takes it.
but of course
like
the
it?
Nets got
I take it
swept,
light.
no doubt. But the Nets also
Small?
Just like
the Nets were throwing out lineups with Goran Dragic, Seth Curry, and
Whose fault
Kyrie.
is that?
I mean, it's their fault, but I mean,
Sad
come
reality
on.
is I knew they would.
They didn't
But
have
still
they didn't have the personnel though. And I'm saying Luka is going toe to toe with rosters that are better from a star perspective and talent perspective.
And losing.
other than the
not
Sun
losing,
series,
the
the Sun
third-
series was unbelievable
Fucking
performance.
fraud.
Yeah,
I
the
hate
third
them
year he
frauds
went
so
to the
much.
conference finals. He didn't lose. He won 2 playoff series.
Good for him.
Luka did.
Tatum does that every single year, wins 2 playoff series.
Because he has the team
Did
to do
Luka
that.
win the Magic Johnson Award? I don't think so.
Did Luka win the Larry Bird award?
Unfortunately, he can't.
I'm just saying.
But ultimately, I'm not going to
Matters.
use this past season and knock
No,
Luka
this year's a big
when
indicator.
I've seen
No,
him the past 3 years.
Listen, I'm here to level.
I'm
I'm
taking
here to level
what I've
there.
seen the past 3 years and saying, listen, this year I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
That's fair.
This next season, if he underperforms,
So why doesn't
100%.
Tatum get any passes ever for you?
What do you mean? What passes does
Crying.
he?
What you get?
What do you mean?
Luka gets the benefit of the fucking doubt, but Tatum at 25 years old goes to ECF after ECF, goes to a finals, but it's not good enough.
I'm confused. What do you mean it's not good enough?
You're basically saying he's been a failure up to this point. No?
I never said he's been a failure.
It's kind
I
of
never
what
said
you're
that once.
insinuating.
If you're saying the Celtics were a failure, in due part because again,
No, Dallas not missing a play in is a fucking
It's a
failure.
fa-
I
No,
never
it's
said.
a-
I never said Tatum
That's
was
why
this
the
failure.
difference
This
is
is
like,
failure.
like, what's worse?
Missing the
What's
playoffs.
worse?
The only
Given-
Celtics is not going to
Of course,
the finals.
boss, yeah.
What's worse?
No,
given the
You-
fact
yeah,
that we
you guys losing to Miami was definitely a failure.
terrible. What's worse? Given the fact that we know the Celtics roster is amazing, the Celtics losing in the ECF and in the finals, however many years, or the Mavericks
Missing the
who
playoffs
just
will always
made
be
the
worse.
WC.
Easy to Mavs. Easy to Mavs.
All right, so then
but
what's
no,
the
I'm still on
criticism?
Dehls. What do you mean?
Because you're
What
saying
am I
you
saying
give
about
Luka the
Tatum?
benefit of the doubt, but when we're having these Tatum debates, it's like, why haven't you won a finals?
What?
That's basically what it is.
That's
no, no, no.
That's
Why
the-
haven't you
that
won
is
a-
it, though.
I've never
Why
ever
haven't you
said.
won a
I've never
finals?
ever said.
But that's what you
No,
insinuate.
it's,
That
no, it's
is an
not.
ins- that's
I've
what I-
never
that's
said,
what I get from
Why
you,
have
Joel.
you not won the finals? That's not what I've said.
What do you get at about Tatum
Jimmy
then?
Butler won
It's not.
finals?
It's not about winning or losing the NBA Finals. It's about how
better than
you
Boston.
performed in the finals.
No.
Jason Tatum did not perform well in the finals.
Okay.
He
I
underachieved
agree.
in
At
that moment.
24.
Okay, I understand.
I mean,
he
Luka's
didn't,
like
he
23.
didn't play well.
They both
They're the
young as
same
shit.
age.
I understand he's young and he didn't play well. It is what it is. But what do you mean I'm not giving Tatum the benefit of the doubt in this conversation? All I think is
just in
that
terms of
Luka's
Luka.
better than Tatum. That's
Yeah.
all I think. I never said Tatum's not remarkably
You know what it
great.
is,
I
though?
think
He
Tatum
also
is
has
Where
great.
you rank Tatum in the league? Fuck all that.
Jason
right?
Tatum is a top 8 player in the league.
Top
Who's the 7
eight?
ahead of him?
Top. Joel Embiid or him?
Tatum.
Thank
Okay,
God.
so then
We're
he's
here.
top. He's all right. Kawhi Leonard or him?
I mean, if we're taking everything into account, it's Tatum.
Okay, I agree.
I was about to
I
dab
agree.
you. I thought you was
I
gonna
agree.
be-
All right, so right
That's
now
wrong.
it's seeming. All right, Steph Curry or him. Probably lean Steph.
Stop,
Yeah, of
stop.
course.
Stop asking dumb
Jokic,
questions.
Giannis, you're taking both those
I mean,
guys.
for me, it's
LeBron or
Jokic.
Tatum right now. LeBron's still tough. LeBron or Tatum right now.
It's LeBron, bro.
Okay.
It's LeBron.
LeBron's tough. LeBron's
Yeah,
still
it's,
got it.
it's LeBron. Listen, my top 5 would be Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Luka, and whether it's KD or LeBron.
Is that in order?
It's not in exact order.
Thank God, I hated that.
Because I
word.
said Giannis first, right? So if,
No, you said Giannis second. I don't like
okay.
that.
So my order would
Yes,
be
too.
Jokic, Curry, Giannis, Luka's 4. Then number 5 and 6 is KD or LeBron.
So and then Tatum comes up.
Then Tatum.
I like
probably
that.
the next
I like
one.
that.
Fraud KD, man.
I'll be honest. You
Bro,
good.
always-
Tatum
You
over
just win
KD.
that.
Is that crazy?
You know me. I put fucking Paul George over KD. You know how I feel.
Listen, I don't think that's crazy either. I just really think that Jokic, Giannis,
Those are the
Luka,
top
Curry,
three.
that I feel like that's a top 4, and then everything else is a tier after that for me when it comes to the superstars.
I
in the
think
league.
Tatum will probably surpass KD by the end of the year. Maybe LeBron. Maybe.
You got a
He
bunch
can.
of guys to go to the playoffs, and you got someone who's an 11 seed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Kawhi is still top 10 in the world. I don't care what nobody says.
Oh, top 10, yeah.
When he's healthy,
Oh,
he
yeah.
just,
If you told me Kawhi is healthy, I mean, damn.
When he-
He rises. He's
as long as he
3
tells
probably.
me he's playing, he starts the game, I'm just like,
Nah, he's probably 4.
he had 30 on a torn meniscus, bro.
Kawhi's healthy, he's 4.
Fuck is wrong with him? 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Jokic,
here.
Giannis, Steph.
He's better than Giannis and Steph. I'll be honest, if Kawhi's healthy. He's
Give
the
me
best player in the
Tatum.
league. You Tatum or who? Healthy Kawhi?
Yes.
You're not smart. And I hate that for you.
Sorry.
God, Jesus Christ.
Don't feel bad about it at all, actually.
Remember, first game in Phoenix. Never forget. Legendary
Fire.
moment.
Nah, no doubt.
Outscored Kevin Durant and Devin
Go
Booker,
Chip.
Chris Paul, Aiden.
Go
On the
Chip.
torn meniscus.
He's an all-time great.
Yeah.
He
A lot
is.
of people can't do that. Even
No.
though it's our grapes, right?
No.
Can't do that.
No.
yeah, short
Tatum
list
did
of people
it.
can do
Tatum
that.
did it against KD, Harden, and Kyrie, but
50.
thank you. Thank you.
He actually won that game.
Yo, it's
too.
been a minute,
Yeah.
bro.
We needed one.
No, you did. You did.
Got
I
one.
hate when.
That's
know,
it.
I hate
listen,
when. I hate when
the
people.
fact that 2018 Bron didn't get one against the
Hates that for
Warriors
you.
will always
DeMar
kill
got
me. Against who?
your guy 40. Don't ever forget. Don't ever clutch time.
Forgot about that.
Lay me.
He did.
Yeah, don't ever forget
He
that.
did.
He fucking
did.
destroyed
Yo,
Giannis. like
Fire
that.
show we had today. Fire show we had.
Greatest moment in the last 10
3
years.
hours and 30 minutes.
Was it? I bet it was, man. That first hour of the show
First
was.
hour was no topic. It was just
No, it was the
talking
Trey Lance shit. And then
it was Trey Lance, but then it was Purdy. It was I don't know.
Trey Lance news coming out
but then
before
it was
the show was
Burrow.
held.
We had Burrow and Hurts. There was just a whole bunch of
Great
quarterback
conversations.
talk.
I'm not mad about
luck
it.
stamping this shit.
This guy's got. I don't know what the fuck we talked about for the first hour.
I don't know what happened where. Good luck, though.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast, episode 304. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.